My stomach is a bottomless pit that can never be filled. When my parents found out, they specifically opened a crematorium just for me, because there's an unwritten rule in this line of work. The demon beast corpses sent here will always have some residual essence left in them. Decades ago, the world was suddenly invaded by countless demon beasts. Humanity paid a bloody price before learning to drink their essence blood and swallow their demon cores to grow stronger. But as for the leftover demon beast corpses, whether eaten raw or cooked, anyone who ate them kicked the bucket without exception. However, since tens of thousands of demon beasts are slain every year, their corpses would become sources of pollution if not processed in time. Thus, demon beast crematoriums were born. But as I grew older, the residual essence blood on the corpses became less and less enough to keep me alive, starving to the point I couldn't take it anymore. While my dad, Jiang Wanli, and I were moving a corpse, I asked him, "Dad, I'm so hungry. I really want to take a bite of that demon meat." Hearing my words, he snapped, "Boy, how many times have I told you? Demon corpses cannot be eaten. They cannot be eaten. If you dare get any ideas about this meat again, I'll break your legs right now." My face was full of pity. Such good meat. It would definitely fill me up if I ate it. Why can't I eat it? Hearing my muttering, Jiang Wanli knew this kid was acting up again. He had to teach him a lesson today. He immediately pointed at the large characters on the wall, shouting word by word, "Read it with me. What does it say on the wall? Demon beasts cannot be eaten. Eating them will turn your eyes red and turn you into a polluted monster." I looked in the direction my dad was pointing and played dumb. "What does it say on the wall?" Hearing my completely irrelevant response, my dad instantly flew into a rage. But looking into my innocent eyes, the anger in his heart was instantly extinguished. "Son, I've never been able to let you eat a full meal since you were little. You've really suffered. But you really can't eat this demon beast meat. I'm going to see if dinner is ready. Handle these corpses yourself for now." With that, Jiang Wanli's figure gradually walked away. I looked at the demon beast corpse in front of me and gulped. An iron-tail eagle. Judging by the texture of its skin, it must be at the third heaven, right? As I spoke, I reluctantly dragged the iron-tail eagle to the incinerator. Suddenly, a burning sensation in my pocket made me stop what I was doing. In an instant, a book shot up into the sky. "Isn't this the comic book I brought for my friend? How did it turn into this?" Before I could react much, a burst of golden light suddenly flashed before my eyes. When I opened my eyes again, the entire golden book had merged into my mind. I subconsciously shook my head, and several large golden characters immediately appeared in my vision. My God, what the hell is this? Could it be that even God couldn't stand watching me starve? But is this thing legit or not? After pondering for a moment, I secretly made up my mind. Wealth and honor are up to heaven, and life and death are determined by fate. I can die in battle, but I absolutely refuse to starve to death. And right at that moment, my parents suddenly ran over, shouting anxiously at me, "Son, your dad and I have to go out of town for a while. Your great uncle in the next city is about to pass away." I, who was just worrying about finding an excuse to eat the demon beast, was instantly overjoyed. Without thinking, I blurted out, "Good that he's dying." In an instant, the air seemed to freeze. My mom's face darkened as she said, "Son, what did you just say?" Realizing I misspoke, I immediately tried to cover it up. I said dying so early. I meant to say, how could great uncle die so early? 80 years old is the prime time to go out and explore the world. How could he leave us at such a young age? My mom gritted her teeth and coldly snorted, "You just stay home and behave these next few days. I've already asked for a leave of absence from your school while we're gone. If anyone delivers demon corpses, just receive them according to the standard procedure." Hearing this, my heart practically bloomed with joy. I couldn't even get enough to eat, and I couldn't learn the cultivation methods at school at all, especially since I'm destined to be the crematorium manager in the future. From the moment I entered this trade, I lost the opportunity for further studies. Thinking of this, I suppressed the joy in my heart and replied, "All right, Mom, have a safe trip." Jiang Wanli looked at my sensible appearance and sighed. "We left some money for you in the cabinet. If you're too hungry to bear it, go buy a bottle of demon beast essence blood. Don't make your mom angry again." "Don't worry, Dad. I know." In the blink of an eye. An hour after my parents left, I went to gather ingredients to cook the iron-tail eagle, arriving at the traditional medicine shop. "Uncle John, why are your goods getting faker and faker? Believe it or not, I'll report you later." Hearing this, old John laughed and cursed. "What the hell do you know? Fake medicine sells the best." After bantering for a bit, I handed over my list of needed items. Old John glanced at the list and clicked his tongue. "These are all worthless trinkets. Go grab them yourself." Hearing that, I grabbed the herbs I needed, settled the bill with old John, and hurried back home. On the way home, a familiar figure made my whole body tense up. "Little Bottle, get your ass over here." Little Bottle was the nickname I got at school. From childhood to adulthood, I could only barely survive by drinking demon beast essence blood. But essence blood was incredibly expensive, and my family wasn't wealthy. When I was at school, I often licked the leftover essence blood the school provided for students to build their foundations, the bottom of the bottles. Even though most classmates looked down on the tiny bit of essence blood left at the bottom, over time, Little Bottle or Brother Bottle became their teasing nicknames for me. Pulling my thoughts back to the present, I turned around and flattered the principal. "If it isn't my dear principal, What brings you here? Cut the crap with me. I came here specifically looking for you. From now on, you better stop using Lanlin to scam food and drinks. I used to be the pride of the cultivation world, and now I'm fast becoming the disgrace of the education world. For the next 5 minutes, the principal's mouth didn't stop for a single second, ruthlessly chewing me out. The Lanlin he was talking about was Dongfang Lan. After her father died in battle against demon beasts, she transferred to my school. Everyone knew Dongfang Lan and I were childhood sweethearts, but my appetite kept growing. Dongfang Lan became more and more outstanding, and her suitors multiplied. So, I made a decision that went against Dongfang Lan's wishes. Anyone who wanted me to leave Dongfang Lan alone had to pay a starting price of at least 5 bottles of demon beast essence blood. Just like that, I collected hundreds of bottles of essence blood. Ending the flashback, the principal's daily greetings to me were just about finished. He looked at my usual unbothered expression and helplessly added, "Right, don't mess with Lee Muzi from our school anymore. That kid has a pretty big background. Be careful he doesn't come looking to settle the score with you." Saying that, the principal handed me a few more bottles of essence blood. I don't even know how your stomach is built. My own grandson hasn't even consumed this much. Yet look at you. You can stomach no matter how much you're given. After the principal finished speaking, he walked away cursing. Without even looking back, the scene shifted. I hurried back to the incineration room, set up an iron pot, chopped the iron-tail eagle into small pieces, and threw them into the pot. After slow stewing it for a solid half hour, the air was filled with an incredibly tempting aroma. As time passed, I found it harder and harder to resist this delicacy. Finally, I couldn't help but pick up a piece of dried mushroom. The moment it entered my mouth, mind-blowingly delicious. Those words exploded in my mind. At the same time, as the mushroom settled in my stomach, I actually felt the same sensation as drinking demon beast essence blood. Even though the feeling wasn't very strong, I could still feel it clearly. So, I decided to let loose and eat my fill. Who cares if I die from it? Even if I die, I'm gonna die with a full stomach. Besides, without me dragging them down, Mom and Dad can just make a new kid. Thinking of this, I ate even more recklessly. In just half an hour, I even sucked the bones clean 5 times over. My God, after all these years. This is the first time I've experienced true satisfaction. This is what it means to be full. What a feeling. What did all those years of starving and suffering even amount to? Just as I was still marveling at being full for the first time, a sudden wave of discomfort came from my stomach. Immediately after, every cell in my body became unusually active. Before I could even start wondering why, a surge of chi suddenly flowed through my limbs and bones. Is this the chi they teach at school? Damn it. Before, I was starving every day, my belly touching my spine, completely unable to mobilize a single trace of energy in my body to become a cultivator. Now that I'm full, I suddenly awakened. Could it be that this body had just never been satisfied before? Thinking of this, my heart was instantly filled with wild joy. However, my transformation wasn't over yet. Suddenly, a golden light appeared before my eyes. Right after, a detailed diagram appeared in my mind. My eyes were full of disbelief. Didn't they say, you only have a chance to gain skills by swallowing demon cores? How did I get one just by eating a demon beast corpse? No time to overthink it. I quickly mobilized my body, guiding the chi in my limbs and bones to circulate according to the cultivation method provided by the school. Half an hour later, I felt incredibly refreshed all over. I snapped my eyes open and said, "Finally, I've reached the first heaven of cultivation. Ha ha." The scene shifted. The time came to 2 o'clock the next day. The truck for processing demon beast corpses arrived at the door on time. Jang Wanli, hurry up and come out to receive the demon beast corpses. Hearing this, I quickly went to the door. Uncle Niu, my parents aren't home. They went back to attend a funeral. Is that so? Then I'll just send these corpses to another crematorium to be processed. Uncle Niu, don't. I've trained with my dad for so many years. I've always helped with the burning. I know perfectly well how to burn these corpses. Just help me bring them inside. Are you sure? This is an 8th heaven howling moon dog that was just killed last night. Are you sure you can handle it? Uncle Niu, just trust me. All right, you kid, be careful. After saying that, Uncle Niu ordered the young men behind him to start unloading the cargo. Then, seeing that no one was paying attention, Uncle Niu whispered to me, "Bottle. These corpses were accidentally killed by the higher-ups. They weren't very thorough when extracting the essence blood." "Thanks, Uncle. I know what's up." Uncle Niu saw my expression and smiled. "Right? The city hasn't been very peaceful lately. Occasionally, demon beasts sneak in. Don't wander around at night if you don't have to." "Got it, I know. Also, someone will come to inspect in 3 days. Don't slack off, kid. 3 days is the time limit before pollution sets in. You can rest easy on that. I guarantee it'll be processed within 3 days. The scene shifted. Uncle Niu and the others had already left. I looked at that 8th heaven howling moon dog, and drool shamelessly leaked from the corner of my mouth. Just as I approached the howling moon dog, the little yellow pewee, no, the little golden book in my mind, flipped to a brand new page again. 8th heaven howling moon dog. Minor demon. Meat quality. Average. Tough meat. Lots of bones. Eating it can replenish chi and strength. Taste. Average. Recommended. Cook with secret aged broth, and a little chili for the soup base. Slice thinly and swish for 20 seconds. Tastes better with a secret dipping sauce. Secret dipping sauce recipe note. Slightly increases strength, slightly enhances kidney function, and increases satiety. Review. Dogs wouldn't even eat this. I strategically ignored the review. This book is pretty arrogant. It's an 8th heaven beast and it still can't catch its eye. Dog meat hot pot. I heard that back in the old harmonious society, normal people didn't dare eat dog meat. They get beaten up by animal rights activists. Glad I didn't live in that era. Getting beaten up just for eating meat? That's truly terrifying. I placed the corpse on the steel pipe rack, rubbed my stomach, and felt hungry again. Put it in the pot, boil the water, toss in some tangerine peel. The aroma of meat overflowed, so satisfying. I spent noon and night annihilating the iron-tailed eagles. When the last one was finished off, the whole world became a more beautiful place. Feeling the changes in my internal chi, I gasped. I'm actually at the 2nd heaven, and I only ate 3 of them. What shocked me the most was the change in my sharp claw skill. Before, I could only leave marks on cobblestones. Now, my claws can pierce through them like tofu. It's at least reached the minor mastery level. According to the books, a normal person has to swallow at least 10 demon cores and practice diligently to reach this realm. But I just ate 3 iron-tailed eagles and reached this level. At this moment, I felt like my future was incredibly bright. For 7 days straight, my days passed just like this. Ordinary, yet happy. Being able to eat my fill is happiness. My parents still hadn't come home. Over these past few days, the level of the demon corpses I ate gradually increased. In just 7 short days, my cultivation actually reached a terrifying 7th heaven. Sharp Claw had already reached Great Mastery. It completely exceeded the average level. A skill at the Great Mastery stage can already deal damage to demon beasts. Below the Spirit Realm, even though my cultivation hasn't stepped into the Spirit Realm yet. That night, I finished eating the demon corpses as usual. While cultivating, I suddenly heard a noise at the front gate. I frowned. Who would come this late? It was exactly midnight. I walked into the living room and took out a steel blade from the cabinet. This was my dad's treasure. Normal people wouldn't come to a crematorium this late. I put on my shoes and observed the main gate. My nose twitched slightly. I took a hard sniff, and my expression changed. A demon beast. There's actually a demon beast inside the city walls. This is too unusual. Even though it's the suburbs, it's still inside the walls. A demon beast suddenly appearing just doesn't make sense no matter how you look at it. Thinking about what Uncle New said a few days ago, I seemed to realize something. Could there be a spatial rift near the crematorium? I was startled by my own thought. City 13 has extremely strict controls on spatial rifts, especially wild ones. I sniffed again. There was one demon beast outside the door. Its cultivation was around the 5th heaven. This was the ability I gained from eating the howling moon dog. Great mastery level sense of smell. It can detect threats within a 100-meter radius, and even estimate their cultivation level. My eyes flickered, feeling very conflicted inside. Should I report it to the city defense guard? Or, if it were before, my first thought would definitely be to report it to the guards. But now, I hesitated a bit. When you carry a sharp weapon, the intent to kill arises. I'm currently at the 7th heaven with great mastery and sharp claw. The hot blood of youth was burning in me. Why not pull off a heist? What if I get some good stuff? The spirit realm. That's the spirit realm. Instantly, I made my decision. Who would ever complain about being too strong? Let's do it. I'll test the waters with this demon beast outside first. I sniffed my nose, gripped the steel blade, and violently threw open the main gate. However, the moment I saw this demon beast, I gave up on using the steel blade to fight it. A rat. A giant rat. It wasn't the slightest bit smaller than me. Bearing its fangs, it was as savage as a wild boar. It looked at me with bloodshot eyes, the drool dripping from its mouth clearly visible. It was obviously starving and desperate. I took a deep breath and beckoned the rat with my finger. A smirk appeared on my lips. Come and get it. Whether provoked or just truly hungry, the rat lunged at me. I stared dead at it. The textbooks taught us, when facing a demon beast, you can't be afraid. If it's fierce, you have to be even fiercer to survive. Not to mention, my cultivation level suppresses it. The moment it pounced, a golden light flashed in my eyes. Seizing the opportunity, I channeled my chi into sharp claw, mobilized my strength, dodged, and viciously smashed down with my right hand. In just a single pass, the rat's entire body convulsed. I saw the 5-finger holes on its spine, and laughed. I laughed out loud. A mere rat dares to challenge your grandpa Jiang Ping. This is what you get. I sounded like a total edgelord. But immediately after, my legs went soft. Damn, I used too much force. It took me a full minute to recover. I dragged the corpse into the incineration room to dismember it first and see if it had a demon core. As expected, a green demon core the size of a mung bean appeared. It still carried a foul stench. I really didn't want to eat it. I tossed it into a bottle for storage, saving it to exchange for money to pay off debts. I bottled the essence blood. We had plenty of empty bottles at home. Only then did I throw the corpse into the incinerator. The flames ignited. I shoveled in some fuel, closed the door, and headed outside to search for the spatial rift. On the way, I ran into quite a few earth-pulling rats. My control over Sharp Claw became increasingly profound, and I gained a better feel for how much force to use. None of these earth-pulling rats exceeded the 6th heaven, which made me very excited. The level of the demon beasts coming out of a rift represents its danger level. The ones running out now are all 5th or 6th heaven, which means the rift's maximum level probably doesn't exceed the 9th heaven. People have researched this. Behind the rifts are fragmented territories. They could be continents, lakes, or oceans. The strength of the demon beast is limited, but the treasures are not. Some people have obtained high-level treasures from low-level rifts, leaping to become geniuses overnight. This is more thrilling than winning the lottery, sprinting all the way. Less than a kilometer from home, I found a rift shimmering with fluorescent light. It looked like a vertically growing eye. I didn't hesitate, and charged right in. After I charged in, the rift's light suddenly dimmed. Meanwhile, the South City Defense Guard triggered an alarm. Energy fluctuation detected in the South City suburbs. Nearby squads, please proceed to handle it immediately. Note, the energy level is not high. Squads above the spirit realm, continue executing your hunting missions. Rookie squads proceed to provide support. After a flash of light, my feet touched solid ground again. I opened my eyes and looked around. The steel blade on my back glowed faintly in the gloom. So this is inside the rift. 2 deep, dark paths, split to the left and right. They looked identical on the outside, both densely covered in jungle, but I sensed danger from them. I sniffed. On the left, there were at least a dozen earth-pulling rats, with cultivation above the 5th heaven. On the right, there were fewer, about 7 or 8, with similar cultivation. It went without saying which path to take. At this moment, I was incredibly grateful for the sense of smell the howling moon dog gave me. Otherwise, I really wouldn't have known how to choose. I took a step into the right path. As soon as I entered, 7 or 8 earth-pulling rats charged at me with red eyes. I didn't panic in the slightest. After fighting all the way here, I was no longer a rookie. I knew exactly how to fight. Sharp claw. Using my palm as a blade, I shifted my stance, dodged, and counterattacked. The earth-pulling rats couldn't even last a single round. Within a dozen seconds, they all fell to the ground. Every single one had 5 finger holes in its head. I kind of feel like I'm bullying them. With my 7th heaven cultivation and great mastery in sharp claw, this is an absolute slaughter. Mastery level skills are usually standard for high tiers, but I actually got one just by eating. What's even crazier is that I have a mastery level sense of smell. I can anticipate the enemy's moves before they even make them. These ground-burrowing rats can't even pull off a sneak attack. Isn't this just bullying them? I bend down, grab the loot, and keep moving. After walking for 20 minutes, I finally make it out of the trail. The sight before me makes me freeze. I frown. A temple? I carefully take a sniff. No danger, but this peaceful mobilize in front of me. What's with this temple bathed in Buddha's light? Bong. The distant sound of a bell rings out. A young novice monk walks out from the empty temple gates. Wearing a magnificent monk's robe, he walks toward me with a beaming smile. This humble monk greets you, almsgiver. I am Liaochin. A pleasure to meet you. The abbot invites you inside for a chat. This is my first time entering a spatial rift. I have absolutely no idea what's going on. I thought I'd be fighting monsters and killing enemies. What the hell is this? And I really don't smell any danger from this monk. Mimicking his polite manner, I test the waters. I was just passing by. How did the abbot know I was coming? There is an array formation around Thousand Buddha Mountain. We knew the moment you stepped foot inside. It's just that demonic beasts are rampaging outside the gates. The mountain has been sealed for days. There is nothing we can do. Fortunately, you are blessed by the heavens' almsgiver and managed to survive this ordeal. My heart skips a beat. That badass? If Thousand Buddha Mountain is so powerful, why not just wipe out the demonic beasts at the foot of the mountain? There's another question I keep to myself. If the array is so strong, how are you guys still trapped? Right now, I'm really not sure what kind of entity this monk is. We wish we could, but the array is incomplete. It can only barely maintain enough power to protect the temple grounds. Please, come inside, almsgiver. I nod. Since I'm already here, there's no reason to chicken out. Whatever is going on, I have to go in. But the moment I step through the gates, my brows furrow sharply. The stench of blood. Why is the smell of blood so strong here? They tried to hide it, but in front of my mastery-level sense of smell, it's as clear as day. In the courtyard, a group of young men in monk robes are sitting on futons, chanting sutras. They look so compassionate and merciful. It's highly infectious, but I remain on high alert. The stench of blood is coming right off of them. Liaochin makes a welcoming gesture, revealing his pearly white teeth. I nearly jump out of my skin. It was too dim outside earlier, so I didn't get a good look. But just now, when Liaochin smiled, what did I just see? Shreds of meat. And the smell of blood is overwhelmingly strong. I follow behind him, keeping my head down. Before long, I'm led to a meditation room. Liaochin smiles and says, "The abbot has spoken." Visitors are guests, especially someone who managed to reach Thousand Buddha Mountain at a time like this. It is truly no easy feat. Please, rest here for now, almsgiver. When he has the time, the abbot will receive you personally. Oh, right. Since you are a man of the secular world, almsgiver, you must enjoy eating meat. As it happens, a wild pheasant wandered into the temple last night. It fell to its death. Let me make some soup for you. I instantly go on high alert. Something is very wrong with this place. A monk with shreds of meat stuck in his teeth, breaking his vows is the least of it. The real question is, where did the meat come from? Liaochin said the outside is swarming with demonic beasts. A thought flashes through my mind. They're eating demonic beasts, sitting cross-legged on the futon. I force myself to stay calm. A short while later, Liaochin returns, carrying a bowl of mouth-watering meat. Smiling warmly, he says, "Almsgiver, hurry and eat it while it's hot. We monks cannot consume meat. There's still more in the pot. It's all yours. It's rare for Thousand Buddha Mountain to have a guest. I stare at the bowl of meat. My heart is pounding out of my chest. Motherfucker. These bald bastards are trying to screw me over. How the hell is this pheasant meat? This is clearly iron-tail eagle meat. I'm way too familiar with it. If I eat this, I'll be corrupted into a monster within 3 days. Suddenly, it all makes sense. Could those meat shreds have been demonic beast meat? These monks are eating demonic beasts. Fuck. They're insane. How long have they been eating this stuff? Once they lose control, they'll become a horde of walking disasters. Liao Chen watches me sit there motionless. He says slowly, "Why aren't you eating almsgiver? Is it not to your liking?" His smile looks completely twisted to me now, but I don't dare show it. I let out a chuckle. It's not that it doesn't suit my taste. It's just, your cooking method is all wrong. His expression stiffens. What do you mean, almsgiver? You don't want to eat it. The air suddenly turns freezing cold. This guy is at least at the 9th heaven stage. I suppress my fear. You guys are monks. What do you know about cooking meat? Where's the kitchen? Let me show you how it's done. I take the meat soup and walk out. He freezes in surprise. The dangerous aura slowly dissipates. Oh, then I look forward to seeing your culinary skills, almsgiver. In the kitchen, a pot of iron-tail eagle is boiling away. I curse them 800 times in my head. You're really trying to get me killed. Master Liao Chen, this involves a secret family recipe. Could you please step outside? He smiles. Very well. The door closes, and I sneer. I take out my medicinal herbs and throw them into the pot to recook it. Holy crap. Didn't see that coming, did you? Your boy's got tricks up his sleeve. A rich aroma soon wafts outside. I open the door and test the waters. Master Liao Chen, want some? No. No. Monks cannot consume meat. Please, enjoy it yourself. Almsgiver, don't mind if I do. I start devouring it on the spot like I'm starving, gorging myself right under his nose. Half an hour later, the entire iron-tail eagle, soup, bones, and all, is in my stomach. When Liao Chen escorts me back, he has a satisfied smile on his face. Early the next morning, I open my door. Liao Chen is holding an iron-tail eagle in his hand. His face is full of smiles. Almsgiver, what a coincidence. Another wild pheasant happened to fall to its death in the temple. It seems you're in for a treat. My pupils shrink. An iron-tail eagle falling to its death. Do you think I'm blind? Wow, how lucky. Master Liao Chen. Then, according to the old rules, I'll go cook it myself. He smiles and nods, but that smile sends shivers down my spine. From the kitchen comes the sound of meat being chopped. The monks are chanting sutras. They all smile. The Buddha said, if I do not enter hell, who will? During the day, I eat the recooked iron-tail eagle again. A 3rd heaven demonic beast. Its cultivation isn't high. This temple is way too bizarre. I want to leave, but just as I'm about to speak, Liao Chen arrives. His tone leaves no room for argument. Almsgiver, the abbot, is free now. He heard a handsome young man arrived at the temple, and he wishes to speak with you. I have no choice but to swallow my words of farewell. I force a smile. Sure. I've admired Buddhist teachings for a long time anyway. These monks are at least at the 7th or 8th heaven stage. Dozens of them. I can't fight them head on. I've discovered a rule here. As long as I don't cross their bottom line, I'm safe. For example, refusing to eat the demonic beast meat is a dead end. Every time I try to decline, Liao Chen's eyes change, surging with killing intent. I learn about spatial rifts in school. Some are alternate dimensions, some are fragmented spaces, and some are infinite time loops. This place is very likely the latter. These monks might be ghosts from 1,000 years ago, or projections of space and time. Taking a deep breath, I knock on the meditation room door. The sound of the wooden fish stops. An old monk with pure white hair. Looking old and frail, he smiles at me. Are you the young man who arrived last night, almsgiver? I nod, feigning composure. Yes. He gestures for me to sit. The moment he opens his mouth, my pupils shrink. Fuck. He has meat shreds in his teeth, too. Everyone in Thousand Buddha Mountain has completely lost their minds. The stench of blood assaults my nose. I fight the urge to vomit. He asks, what do you think of our Thousand Buddha Mountain almsgiver? I flash a wide, 8-tooth smile. It's great. The food and drinks are excellent, and the environment is beautiful compared to the rampaging demonic beasts outside. It's undoubtedly a utopia. A hint of surprise flashes in his eyes. A utopia? He chuckles. That is quite a novel comparison, since you like it so much. Why not just stay here at Thousand Buddha Mountain, almsgiver? Though our Thousand Buddha Mountain has declined, our legacy is ancient. We have no shortage of supreme martial arts. Which one would you like to learn? My eyes nearly pop out of my head. The real show is starting. I read about this in my textbooks. These kinds of riffs always pull this exact stunt. These seductive sons of bitches. If you were really that badass, you wouldn't have been wiped out by demonic beasts and stuck playing in this endless loop. These people might actually be alive, but they could also be dead. Hard to say. But in order to kill this old monk, I pretend to think for a moment, then agree. Besides, I might be able to pinpoint the coordinates here. Once I get the coordinates, whether I report it or keep it for myself, it's a massive fortune. I have no objections to staying. It's just that, since I've only just arrived, I don't know much about Thousand Buddha Mountain. If the abbot could let me visit the scripture pavilion to learn about the history of Thousand Buddha Mountain, That would be great. The old monk is completely dumbfounded. In all these years, this is the first time anyone has made such a request. Usually, people either refuse and get beaten to death on the spot, or their eyes light up at the mention of supreme martial arts. But this is the first one who wants to evaluate them. For a moment, his brain just short-circuits. Meanwhile, I continue to secretly observe his expression. Knowing I haven't crossed his bottom line, I speak even more freely. Of course, two-way selection is all the rage these days, right? What do you think, Abbott? He thinks for a long time, then nods. Very well. However, this old monk can only give you 2 days. Almsgiver. How does that sound? His brain, which hasn't worked in years, actually went along with my logic, because what I said makes perfect sense. I sigh in relief internally. Thank you, Abbott. Oh, by the way, can I take a look at the supreme martial arts first? After all, I need to gauge the true strength of Thousand Buddha Mountain. The old monk freezes again. According to the script, if they agree, he sends them to the scripture pavilion. If they refuse and anger him, he just kills them. Now, even he is confused. Should I be angry? Seeing him stay silent, I quickly persuade him. Abbott, if you don't let me see the supreme martial arts, how will I know how strong Thousand Buddha Mountain is? And without knowing your strength, how can I make up my mind to stay? He nods subconsciously. Let Liao Chen take you. He needs time to process what the hell just happened. I snicker inwardly. This old monk is a joke. His IQ is seriously lacking. He's incredibly hypocritical. Even now, as some half-human, half-ghost monster, he still clings to his hypocrisy. First, the demonic beast meat. If I hadn't eaten it, I probably wouldn't have even met him. Liao Chen would have just killed me. I could handle Liao Chen, but there's no need to. Second, pretending to be all high and mighty while recruiting people to Thousand Buddha Mountain, when in reality, they just want to screw me over. At this moment, a lot of things make sense. If I join, I might just turn into one of those chanting monks in the courtyard. I even suspect. This is exactly how Thousand Buddha Mountain salvages people. Join, and you get benefits. But there's a paradox. Once you join, the price of leaving is massive. I found a loophole. I can join, but I need to evaluate your strength first. Makes perfect sense, right? Following behind Liao Chen, I arrive at a 3-story building. Almsgiver, this is where the supreme martial arts are kept. There are 2 rules. In his mind, I'm already one of them. His tone is much friendlier now. First, you may only choose one supreme martial art. They are on the 3rd floor. Do not be greedy. I nod. Second, you must come out within 2 hours. The heavy doors are pushed open. I walk inside. Scrolls and books line the shelves. I didn't expect Thousand Buddha Mountain to have so many cultivation methods. Honestly, I don't care about their supreme martial arts. The guiding techniques taught in the schools of the 13 cities were compiled by numerous top-tier experts. Compared to this measly Thousand Buddha Mountain in a spatial rift, they're countless times stronger. Even if it is a supreme martial art, it's useless to me. The 13 cities follow the path of devouring demonic cores. It's the simplest and the strongest method. You gain skills directly. Cultivation methods require actual studying and training, but demonic cores just hand you the abilities. Most importantly, the guiding techniques have a clear, structured lineage. Why would I ignore a proven system? To practice some ghost technique? Am I crazy? If something goes wrong, who would I even ask? Why do I know so much? School taught me. Back in school, my favorite thing to read was Cultivator Tales. It was full of bizarre stories and anecdotes, like how a genius entered a spatial rift, obtained a peerless cultivation method, and skyrocketed from the bottom of his class to the college entrance exams, staying in the top 3 the whole time, basking in endless glory, slapping the faces of countless prodigies. But later, when he went to college and had to pick a mentor, he was screwed. No one would take him, because no one understood his weird technique. In the end, he had to figure it all out by himself. While others improved at lightning speed, he was stuck in place. This negative example is still used as propaganda in the 13 cities today. To warn the brats, don't think you're smarter than everyone else. That's why I have zero interest in the supreme martial arts on the 3rd floor. It was just an excuse to stall for time. Opening a scroll, I start reading. The 1st floor is mostly filled with strange tales and anecdotes. Exactly my favorite kind of stuff. About 2 hours later, I've read through 2 books. Suddenly my nose twitches. What is that sweet scent? Ordinary people wouldn't be able to smell it, but with the Howling Moon Dog's mastery-level sense of smell, I can faintly catch it. This scent is addictive. It makes you crave more. I put down the book and start searching for the source. My body moves mechanically, like a walking corpse. Panic strikes my heart. What the fuck is going on? I desperately try to regain control, but I can only watch as my body moves on its own. I walk up to a bookshelf. I watch my own hand press down on a candlestick. Fuck. Am I crazy? Immediately after, a soft click echoes. A flight of stairs appears before me. Deep and pitch black. There's a secret room down there. Grabbing the candle, I slowly walk down. My mind is screaming in refusal, but I can't control myself. After walking for who knows how long, creak, the path behind me disappears. I finally regain control of my body. I look around in terror. Who's there? Who's messing with me? I shout into the dark. The wind howls like a whimpering cry, rustling softly. Bullshit. Where would wind come from in a basement? A mournful, resentful voice echoes out. A woman's voice, incredibly seductive. Jiang Lang, hurry and save me. I jump in fright. I hold up the candle. My pupils shrink. My heart pounds wildly. There's no woman standing there. Instead, there's a crystal coffin right in front of me. Bracing myself, I lean in closer. Since things have already come to this, fear won't solve the problem. I have to find a way out. As I get a clearer look, my shock deepens. Gasp. There's a woman lying inside the crystal coffin. She is breathtakingly beautiful, wearing a bright red bridal gown, tied at the waist. Her waist is incredibly slender, but her chest, even lying down, you can tell it's quite impressive. Her lips are as red as blood. Her eyes are like the twilight of a sunset. I can't help but rub my eyes. For a second there, I actually thought her gaze was hazy, and that she was making eyes at me. Just then, the voice echoes again, weeping and pleading. Jiang Lang. Wipe away that Buddhist seal. Save me. I want to be with you. Oh crap. My body loses control again. I reach out to wipe away the golden Buddhist seal on the crystal coffin. Stop. Stop. I resist with all my might internally. I don't want to do this. This is definitely some terrifying, ominous entity. Anyone with eyes can see that. She's way too much for me to handle. Taking a step back. This is Thousand Buddha Mountain, a Buddhist sanctuary. If a corpse is sealed here, and I let her out, I'm definitely a dead man. Scrape. Scrape. The sound of friction makes my heart race. I swear, next time I will never be this reckless. Spatial rifts are no place for humans anyway. Suddenly, my vision goes black. I lose consciousness. When I wake up, I'm already back in my room. Liaochen looks at me with a worried face. Almsgiver? What happened to you? Hearing his voice, I actually feel a sense of relief. I ask, tentatively, what happened to me? Liaochen smiles and says, perhaps you are lacking nutrition. After 2 hours passed in the scripture pavilion, you wouldn't come out no matter how much I called. I went inside and found you unconscious. But don't worry. Eat some more wild pheasant soup. You'll be fine. I curse furiously in my head. Wild pheasant my ass. If I were a normal person, you would have killed me by now. Suppressing the heavy thoughts in my mind, I ask cautiously, was there anything else? Liaochen looks at me in confusion. What else did you expect? Almsgiver. I stay silent. I take a sniff of the chicken soup. It's the batch I cook myself. I can eat this pot safely. I really am hungry. Putting aside my heavy thoughts, I eat it bite by bite, and the smile on Liaochen's face grows wider and wider, perhaps because I've fainted. The old monk hasn't asked for me again, and Liaochen hasn't brought up the supreme martial arts either. They actually just let me stay here like this. It's just that, every day, Liaochen feeds me more and more demonic beasts. On the second day, it was his 7th, Heaven Iron-Tail Eagle, which instantly pushed my rending claw skill to the perfection level. On the third day, it was actually a 9th Heaven Iron-Tail Eagle, granting me yet another skill. Eagle Eye. A support ability, the ultimate technique Iron-Tail Eagles use to hunt for food. And my cultivation has also climbed from the 7th heaven, all the way to the 9th heaven. 3 Iron-Tail Eagles a day. It'd be hard not to improve, but my heart grows heavier by the day, because the more Iron-Tail Eagles I eat, the more visibly, a bizarre atmosphere permeates the entire temple. Restless and agitated. Even the way Liaochen looks at me has changed. At night, I hone my skills in my room, sensing the danger. Breaking through to the next realm is the only way to strengthen myself. However, the highest level in this rift won't exceed the realm of proximity, which gives me a lot of peace of mind. At the 9th heaven stage, worst comes to worst, I'll just slaughter my way out. Inside the old monk's room, the lights are dim. The candlelight flickers as a hoarse voice rings out. He still hasn't demonized. Liaochen kneels on the ground. Abbot, I watched him eat the demonic beast corpses with my own eyes, but for some reason, he shows absolutely no signs of demonization. Flicker. The candlelight dances. Impossible. Without Thousand Buddha Mountain's secret recipe, how could he possibly resist the demonization? Are you lying to me? Suddenly, Liaochen was hoisted up by brute force, his neck locked in a tight grip. Liaochen stared into those eyes full of pure tyranny and cried out in despair. Abbot, I wouldn't dare. I would never dare lie to you. This disciple, May truly saw him eat it with my own eyes. As the abbot scrutinized him closely, prepare a 9th-tier iron-tailed eagle for tomorrow. Take your junior brother with you, and keep an eye on him yourself. Those who haven't demonized cannot be purified. This is the rule of the Thousand Buddha Mountain, and it is the rule here. Chen gasped heavily for air after being released, his face full of terror. Yes, it's just that the iron-tailed eagles have gotten smarter lately. They've started staying far away from our Thousand Buddha Mountain. We can only supply those vile iron-tailed eagles for 2 more days at most. You don't need to worry about that. I'll handle it. Over the past few days, the iron-tailed eagles around Thousand Buddha Mountain had suffered a catastrophe. Hunted continuously for 10 days, they were nearly driven to extinction. Meanwhile, the old monk grew increasingly irritable. This caused the rest of the temple to grow restless as well. They looked at me like they couldn't wait to eat me alive. Master Chen, you're here again. Are we having chicken again today? I smiled and greeted Liao Chen. After eating so many demonic beasts over these past few days, I had finally broken through to the Lin realm. Reaching the Lin realm put my mind at ease. I was already in an invincible position. No matter what the old monk was plotting, I could handle it. The Lin realm was already the limit of this space. I could feel it. Otherwise, my cultivation would have kept rising. I never expected that this disaster would actually be a blessing in disguise. Someone delivering demonic corpses for me to eat every day? This is pure bliss. But right after I said that, the old monk appeared. Today, this old monk has brought an extra dish for the benefactor. These are some pills refined by this old monk. Seeing how weak the benefactor's body is, I have specially brought them for you. I was dumbfounded, looking at the things in front of me. My heart bloomed with joy. Pills? These are freaking demonic cores. What kind of regular pills are these? I kept a straight face and said, then I thanked the abbot. I took the demonic cores, thinking I wouldn't need to use them myself. I could get skills just by eating demonic corpses. I could totally just sell these for cash. This is a massive fortune. Kids from poor families gotta hustle early, right? But the old monk's triangular eyes were locked dead onto me. Benefactor, these pills were refined by this old monk. You should swallow them under my guidance. Please eat them right now. The medicinal effect will be at its peak. I froze for a second. This old monk is up to no good. But I wasn't scared in the slightest. Did the difficulty level just go up? I figured it out over the past few days. This old monk is trying every trick in the book to get me corrupted. Probably because I haven't been corrupted yet. He can't make a move on me. Now that demonic corpses aren't working, he's resorting to demonic cores, but I'm not afraid at all. When it comes to swallowing demonic cores, the people of the 13th city are never afraid. We rely mainly on the guiding technique. The guiding technique is different from ordinary cultivation methods. It's the foundation of the 13th city's cultivation system. It was developed by the top experts, giving us a way to safely consume demonic cores. Even the essence blood distributed by schools since we were kids is part of that process. I smiled and said, sure, sorry to trouble the abbot again. I took the box containing the demonic cores, picked one that looked good, and prepared to swallow it. This was my first time eating one of these. I used to fantasize about it, wondering when I'd finally get to eat a demonic core. Now it's happening and I have more than just one. I boldly swallowed the demonic core and activated the guiding technique. The old monk stared intently at my every move. The moment I swallowed it, a hint of joy flashed across his face. He even sensed a trace of demonization. But immediately after, that trace vanished without a warning. I savored the taste of the demonic core, wondering to myself, others get skills from swallowing demonic cores, but I get them just from eating demonic corpses. So what can a demonic core give me? I was really looking forward to it. The moment I absorbed the demonic core, the book in my mind began to flip its pages. 8th tier iron-tailed eagle. Adult demonic beast core. Contains a trace of demonic bloodline memory. Consumption method. Pair with bitter chrysanthemum and camellia seeds. Can fully utilize the demonic bloodline. Enhances corresponding physical strength. Evaluation. Bloodline is too thin. Better than nothing. Enhances corresponding physical strength. I almost laughed out loud. This is way too awesome. So swallowing demonic cores works for me too. If I follow the recipe in the book, I can even strengthen my body. What's the strongest part of an iron-tailed eagle? Its claws, eyes, and wings. But I'm human. I don't have wings, so skip that. Claws correspond to hands. Eyes go without saying. In other words, by devouring the iron-tailed eagle's demonic core, I can strengthen my hands and my eyes. This will make my sharp claws skill much stronger than anyone else's. It's just too little, and I didn't follow the recipe this time. What a pity. The old monk stared at me in absolute shock. He could actually see a hint of unsatisfied craving on my face. He was furious. Benefactor, you're not right. The old monk made a decision. No matter what, he had to capture this freak. Yes, a freak. After eating so many demonic corpses, and now a demonic core, yet showing zero signs of demonization. If that's not a freak, what is? A surge of excitement even welled up in his heart. If he could study me. Could Thousand Buddha Mountain possess this kind of method in the future? Thousand Buddha Mountain had relied on a recipe that delayed demonization, just to survive. That was the only reason they hadn't starved to death. Looking at me, it was as if he were looking at a priceless treasure. The old monk was thrilled, but just as he was tempted to make his move, a sudden sense of warning flared in his mind. Instead of being afraid, he grew even more excited. The warning only confirmed his suspicions. That night, I felt I had been here long enough. It was time to leave. But after all these days, I still hadn't figured out how to get out. The path up the mountain had vanished. Tossing and turning in bed, I couldn't sleep. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps approached. Liao Chen's voice rang out. Benefactor, the abbot invites you. My heart sank. I had a feeling the old monk's expression was off today. Liao Chen, coming over in the dead of night, definitely wasn't to invite me to dinner. I twitched my right hand slightly, feeling the power of my Grandmaster level sharp claws. My mind settled a bit. A Grandmaster level skill in the Lin realm. This was my trump card. Coming. But the moment I opened the door, a staff came crashing down at my head. A sneak attack. Sharp claws. Activate. I grabbed the staff barehanded, completely unfazed. Liao Chen was horrified. I looked at him with a smile. Master Liao Chen, what's the meaning of this? His face flushed red. Junior brothers, attack. In an instant, a swarm of bald monks rushed out. Their faces were twisted in malice, their pupils wild with madness. The stench of blood hit my face. It was exactly like the corruption from eating demonic corpses. Liao Chen laughed maniacally. Get him. Capture him alive. The abbot will reward us. Everyone gets medicinal soup. Kill. 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 You really think I'm a pushover? I scoffed coldly and blurred into motion. My index fingers turned pale white. Sharp claws, strike. At the Lin realm, dealing with these novice monks was a piece of cake. 30 seconds later, the vicious shouts abruptly stopped. Liao Chen's manic laughter turned into sheer terror. Impossible. How can you be this strong? Surprised? I have you all to thank for this. I felt the blood dripping from my fingernails, and the corners of my mouth curled up. Villains usually die from talking too much. I plunged my hand straight into his head. 5 bloody holes gushed crimson. Looking outside, I said softly, Abbot, aren't you going to show yourself? Vile spawn. A furious roar echoed. I stood with my hands behind my back, calmly watching him approach. I sneered. Anyone can curse. You don't dare attack me yourself, do you? Otherwise, why send them to their deaths? There was something wrong with their eyes. That's the price, isn't it? The old monk's triangular eyes glowed red, burning with rage. I laughed even harder. I was right. You're at the Lin realm. So am I. How about a trade? Tell me the way out, and I'll spare your life. He burst into laughter. Ha 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 ha. If I could get out, would I still be stuck in this shithole? Naive. But you're right about one thing. I really can't touch you. You haven't been demonized. But don't even think about leaving. Just stay here and keep me company. I will dig out all your secrets. He laughed wildly. I felt a surge of annoyance. Is there really no way out? The Thousand Buddha Mountain's Grand Guardian Array only allows entry, not exit. Humans and beasts alike. Those ground-pulling rats and iron-tailed eagles, where do you think they came from? I raised them. My disciples couldn't leave either. To survive, they had to eat demonic beasts. And to eat demonic beasts, they had to rely on a secret recipe to resist demonization. He figured I couldn't escape, so he just spilled everything. I understood now. It was pretty much what I had guessed, except for the part about the medicinal recipe. Then why keep me around? He stared at the corpses with a bizarre, eerie smile. The secret recipe must be brewed using the flesh of the youngest disciple. 1 spoonful a day keeps the madness away. Thousand Buddha Mountain claims to have 1,000 Buddhas. Bet you didn't see that coming, did you? Goosebumps erupted all over my body. Are you saying, out of 3,814 people, only these few are left? He looked smug. Smart boy. My stomach churned. This wasn't a Buddhist temple. It was purgatory. So you're never getting out. I glared at his arrogant, twisted face, burning with rage. Now that all your disciples are dead, what are you going to use to brew your medicine? I'm not afraid of eating demonic beasts. Let's drag this out. We'll see who dies first. He laughed until tears came out. I'm the only one left. These corpses are enough to keep me going for over a decade. And you? Once you're dead, your physique will be mine. His eyes were brimming with greed. I spat. Eat me. Do you even have what it takes? Suddenly, I let out a dark chuckle. It sent shivers down his spine. What are you laughing at? I didn't answer. Just walked over to a corner of the room, ripped down the curtains, and set them on fire. Flames roared into the air. I said faintly, if I burn all these corpses to ashes, how many days can you last? He blew his top and roared, don't you dare. With a furious shout, my hand slipped and the lighter dropped to the floor. Oops, the bed curtains and candles caught fire, and the blaze spread rapidly. He went completely insane. These were his provisions. The old monk's twisted face softened in the firelight, as if Buddhist chants were echoing around him. But all that came out was a furious roar. Brat, you're courting death. How dare you? I threw my hands up, looking completely innocent. Old monk, you yelled too loud, and my hand slipped. He exploded with rage and lunged at me in a single stride. His fingers turned bone white, his nails gleaming sharply. My heart skipped a beat. Perfected eagle claws. I gasped. Just how many demonic cores did he have to eat for that? But I wasn't scared. I'm Jiang Ping, Brother Ping, a Lin realm expert. The old monk struck viciously, but I dodged his palm strike in a flash. I shifted one step to the left, noting his weakness. He lacked a speed skill. I slashed out with all my might. The texture felt a bit soft. I looked up and met his eyes, and almost threw up. The skin on his arm had been ripped off, revealing countless writhing tentacles. Damn it, are you playing Resident Evil or something? He sneered, blood vessels bursting like blooming flowers. Ha 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 ha, you don't understand. To hunt demonic beasts, you must first become one. This hand has slaughtered countless iron-tailed eagles. Today, you're in for a treat. Me? A treat? To hell with your monk's treat. He chanted a Buddhist mantra loudly. The Buddha said, if I do not enter hell, who will? Give me your life. His arm transformed into a flurry of heavy claws, an airtight barrage flowing like water. I could only block it head-on with my eagle claws. Luckily, he only had one mutated arm. In that twisted moment, my eyes lit up. I did a slide tackle, dodging the old monk's massive frame. This old monk wants you dead, just as I thought. I guessed right. This old monk is a defective product. He lost his balance, and I immediately pounced, smashing a heavy blow into his left leg. His left leg snapped. His eyes went blank, as if he couldn't believe that the iron body he had cultivated for years was this fragile. I chopped off his right leg too. I put my hands on my hips and laughed out loud. I'm a freaking genius. Old monk, weren't you acting all tough? Come on then. He looked completely lost, forgetting even the pain. How? But before he could finish, his eyes closed forever. My hand had already descended, leaving 5 bloody holes, deeply embedded in his skull. Finally, I breathed a sigh of relief. The old ghost was dead. I looked calm on the outside, but my heart was pounding like a drum. After all, this was my first time killing someone. Only after the fight did I realize this old monk's Lin realm cultivation was ridiculously unbalanced. During the fight, he didn't use chi at all. Was it because I didn't know how, or did he not know either? Couldn't figure it out, and couldn't be bothered to. The temple was burning, flames lighting up the sky. I felt a bit of regret. Coming into this rift this time, I didn't score any good loot at all. It wasn't like in the stories where you stumble upon heavenly treasures. I sighed. I'm still too young and naive. If the old monk knew, he'd probably cough up blood. He mobilized the entire temple to hunt iron-tailed eagles, all just to feed me. raising me all the way to the Lin realm, and I still thought it wasn't enough. I blew on my singed hair, confirmed my handsome face was unharmed, and reluctantly looked back. Farewell, Thousand Buddha Mountain. Farewell, old monk. I actually felt a tinge of sadness. I headed back the way I came. All the demonic beasts had vanished. It was strange, but I was too lazy to dig into it. This world is absurd enough as it is. I finally found the entrance to the rift. It was glowing. I flashed out of it. Copy that, copy that. Rookie squad has arrived at the designated location. Repeat. Rookie squad has arrived. My heart skipped a beat, and I immediately dove into the bushes. The city defense force had arrived in their standard gear. The 13th city truly is the hope of humanity. They move so fast, but the timeline doesn't match up. This was a time rift. The textbooks say time rifts are incredibly dangerous. No matter how long you stay inside, you exit at the exact same time you entered. 10 years of cultivation inside is just 1 second in the outside world. A rift like this could sell for 80 million, enough to let someone jump social classes. Major families buy them to stabilize the space, accelerate time, and let their geniuses get twice the results with half the effort. The more I thought about it, the more my heart ached. I just missed out on $1 billion bucks. But what could I do? This pie was too big for me to swallow. I watched helplessly as the rookie squad approached the rift. 1 step, 2 steps, they raised their feet and stepped in. Whoa, they stepped on thin air. Damn, I almost cried out. The light of the rift suddenly went out. That group of Lin Realm experts almost ate dirt. The whole squad was dumbfounded. A female member asked the captain, "Did we go in?" Probably. Maybe not. The captain was just as confused. No one said a word. They had memorized the rulebooks, but for the first time, they doubted themselves. How could a rift just disappear on its own? It was like it was playing hide and seek. Should we report this? The captain nodded. Hiding in the bushes, I almost died laughing. I clamped my hands over my mouth. This was too freaking hilarious. Just a minute ago, I was depressed over losing $1 billion bucks. Now, seeing that no one else could take it either, I felt amazing. Like eating a popsicle in the dead of summer. It was immoral, but damn, it felt good. A few minutes later, the squad retreated. I waited a bit longer before quietly crawling out, dusting off my pants, and heading home. I slept like a baby that night. No matter how chaotic the outside world was, as long as I was home, it was a completely different world. Ordinary people would never know that there are always people carrying the weight in the dark. When morning came, I stretched lazily, feeling completely refreshed. I headed straight for the incinerator room. There was still some 8th tier howling moon dog meat left, perfect for breakfast. I fired up the steamer and heated the oil. Time to eat. Patting my round, full belly, I felt incredibly satisfied. Now this is what I call living. Being full is pure happiness. But before I could get too sentimental, I quickly washed the pots and bowls, putting everything back exactly as it was. My parents were coming back. The 1-week period was up. It was also time for me to head back to school and catch up on my cultivation classes. I used to sleep through them because I couldn't understand a thing. But things are different now. I can't afford a private tutor, but I've got thick skin. From the principal to the janitor, everyone knows me. Asking a few questions is no big deal. While washing up, I frowned. When did this happen? Who did this to me? There was a new red dot on my left wrist, about the size of a teardrop mole. I touched it, it didn't hurt or itch. It definitely wasn't there before. Was it a side effect of that book? Or did I catch some disease? I heard guys with messy private lives catch a certain kind of disease, but the location is all wrong. I stared at it for a long time without a clue, and finally just gave up. Just as I finished cleaning up, the door lock clicked. Oh, Dad. Mom. My dearest mother. I missed you so much. I dashed out like a little sports car. My mother, Yao Yujing, scolded, "You little brat. Your skin's been itching for a beating these past few days, hasn't it?" Jiang Wanli looked at me in surprise. "Son, you're looking pretty energetic. In the past, I never had enough to eat, so how could I look good? But these past 7 days, I've been stuffing my face, so naturally, I'm glowing with health." But I was scared. Scared they wouldn't be able to handle the truth. I haven't changed much, right? Yao Yujing eyed me suspiciously. I couldn't withstand that gaze. An honest young man like me doesn't know how to lie. I grabbed my backpack and bolted. As I ran out the door, I yelled, "I'm going to school to study. I've skipped too many classes." Jiang Wanli was stunned. "Honey, is that really our son? He's actually worried about skipping class?" I took the long way around to avoid the street where Dongfang Lan lived. When I got to the school gates, I rubbed my eyes. A childish voice called out, "Brother Ping, you broke your promise. Where's the book you promised me? It's been 7 days. Do you know how I've survived these past 7 days?" I slapped my forehead. Crap, I forgot. My reputation for never cheating kids is about to be ruined. The one I stood up was that little bro from the 3rd elementary school. The book had long since turned into a recipe book. I was screwed. A stroke of genius hit me. I pretended not to hear him. I'll make it up to him after school. I quickened my pace and walked into the school. Behind me, the little munchkin was on the verge of tears. "Brother Ping, look at me." He hopped and chased after me, only to be stopped by the security guard. "Hold on, kid. What are you doing? You don't belong here," he sniffled. "I'm Milele from the 3rd elementary school. It's just a cultivator academy, isn't it? What's the big deal? I'll be coming here sooner or later anyway," the guard chuckled. "Little student, I believe you." Milele rolled his eyes. "Who are you? Do I need you to believe me?" "Why, Brother Bottle, The security guard was speechless. I hid in the corner and let out a long sigh. Suddenly, someone patted my shoulder. Jiang Ping, chased all the way to school by an elementary schooler. You're really something, aren't you? My body stiffened. I immediately grinned, showing all 8 teeth. Lanlin, look, am I about to lose another tooth? My teeth have been hurting lately. She stood in the wind, dressed in a black martial arts suit, with her ponytail tied high, stunningly beautiful, holding a saber in her left hand, its sheath made of demonic beast skin. Ching! She pulled it out halfway. Jiang Ping, believe it or not, I'll cut you down. It wasn't my first time scamming him for essence blood. I quickly grabbed her wrist and laughed awkwardly. Lanlin, you really can't blame me. That guy is just too stupid. If I don't show him the sinister side of society, how is he going to survive after graduation? She was still trying to draw her saber, but then looked surprised. Your grip is stronger than mine today. She probably wondered if she hadn't eaten enough. Then aren't you afraid I won't be able to hold the hilt? Before I could answer, my savior arrived. A furious roar came from behind. Jiang Ping, let go of Lanlin's hand. Take your filthy paws off her. I turned around and almost burst out laughing. Li Zimu, who usually had a smiling face. Classmate Li Zimu, didn't your teachers teach you any manners? He was furious. The dignified heir of the Li family was scammed out of his essence blood by me, and even took a solid beating from his older sister. He had been holding in his anger for a whole week. He originally thought he could get his revenge the very next day. After all, I was just a piece of trash who couldn't cultivate. He probably even fantasized about me kneeling and begging for mercy. But the next day, I took a leave of absence for a full 7 days. If it weren't for his pride as a young master, he would have shown up at my door to collect his debt. Martial world matters are settled in the martial world. That was the only reason he held back. Now, seeing me holding his crush's hand first thing in the morning, how could he hold it in? He roared, Jiang Ping, if you have the guts, put away your little tricks. Let's duel one-on-one. The surrounding students all gathered around. Brother Ping, the genius young master. This lineup was enough to shoot a 30-episode soap opera. Seeing the crowd, he got even more smug. The more witnesses, the better it felt. Just as he thought victory was in his grasp, a cold female voice rang out. Classmate Li Zimu, whose hand did you just call a filthy paw? Ah. The crowd exploded. Senior Lanlin is pissed. Is the new young master an idiot? Who doesn't know that Lanlin beating Brother Ping is real? But their bond is just as real? Last time, some street thugs bullied Brother Ping. Lanlin beat them so hard they were looking for their teeth all over the floor. She's probably close to the spirit realm by now. How could a spirit realm expert be so furious? On what grounds? But looking at the person in front of him, he suppressed his anger. Lanlin, step aside. This is between me and Jiang Ping. Her eyes turned cold. She pulled me behind her in one swift motion, drew her saber, and pointed it straight at Li Zimu. Jiang Ping's business is my business. You want your essence blood back? In your dreams. Who can you blame for being so gullible? Boom. He looked as if he'd been struck by lightning. He couldn't believe his crush was standing up for a piece of trash like me. Blood rushed to his head, and he roared. Why? He turned to me and spat. Jiang Ping, are you even a man? Hiding behind a woman. What kind of man are you? I chuckled. I couldn't even be bothered to explain. I casually pointed at Xiao Huang. You explain it to young Master Li. He swallowed his burrito in 2 or 3 bites, stepped forward, and cupped his hands to the crowd. Ignoring the crowd's boos, he said smugly, Young Master Li, you must be new here. You don't know the rules of Nancheng. Li Zimu blurted out. What rules? Xiao Huang drawled. Brother Ping belongs to everyone. He must be protected. Today, I don't care if you're a young master or some big shot. In Nancheng, you don't touch Brother Ping. If you dare touch a single hair on his head, I, Xiao Huang, will lead the whole school to beat you up. Believe it? Boom. Li Zimu was completely flustered. Over 100 people suddenly stood behind Dongfang Lan. Some held weapons, some grabbed whatever hard objects they could find. They all stood in unison between Li Zimu and me. The sheer scale of it scared Li Zimu into backing up repeatedly. Only one thought remained in his mind. Impossible. What makes him so special? I asked around. He's just a piece of trash who can't cultivate. Why are you all helping him? And you, Dongfang Lan? What's wrong with me? Why do you look down on me? You're all blind. Xiao Huang laughed so hard he couldn't stand straight. Young Master Li, who exactly did you get your intel from? Li Zimu's eyes widened in shock. You all teamed up to trick me. I'm not an idiot. Of course I understood. Li Zimu had paid students for information. But if I, Jiang Ping, was always protected by everyone, what could he possibly find out? Watching this scene, I felt both smug and touched, but I couldn't let it go on any longer. While I was still spacing out, she knew it was time to wrap things up. But just as she was about to step forward, a sinister voice rang out. Not doing your morning exercises bright and early, and gathering here to cause trouble instead? Jiang Ping, get your ass out here. Xiao Huang was the first to bolt. The others shouted in unison. Brother Ping, sorry about this. We can block enemies, but we can't block our own people. The black-faced god is here. Run! The teenagers who were at each other's throats just a moment ago scattered instantly. Li Zimu hadn't even processed what was happening. I grabbed Dongfang Lan's hand. What are you spacing out for? Run! In the blink of an eye, only Li Zimu was left standing there. Hey! The black-faced god was furious. You're Li Zimu, right? Speak. Was it you and Jiang Ping causing trouble? I thought. Yeah, that's right. It was him. but I can't say that. If the dignified heir of the Lee family snitches to a teacher, how am I supposed to show my face around here? I kept my head down and stayed silent. The black-faced god looked at Lee Zimu with a hint of admiration. Just tell me who it was, and I won't punish you. Lee Zimu remained silent. He was even more satisfied, gathering a crowd to cause trouble. 50 laps? Plus 100 sword swings. In the classroom, Dongfang Lan shook her hand and complained. What's the point of running? The black-faced god knows it was you at first glance. I shrugged sheepishly. Is getting caught red-handed the same as him just knowing? She rubbed her wrist, staring at me suspiciously. Pingsy, did you get stronger? I played dumb. I guess I finally had a full meal. That essence blood I borrowed from you really filled me up. She frowned. Is that so? She didn't buy it. Not far away in the teaching building, his older sister, Li Ziqin, bowed slightly. Old principal, I'll leave Zimu's education in your hands. The old principal sighed. Ziqin, you're actually the most suitable one to inherit the Li family. Why must you go to the front lines? Some things just have to be done by someone. I can't run away. The old principal remained silent for a long time, hitting him this hard. Aren't you afraid he won't be able to take it? Jiang Ping is a top-tier whetstone. What if the blade shatters? Li Ziqing smirked. Then my parents can just have another one. The old principal was shocked, speechless. All right, let's give it a try. Meanwhile, Li Zimu was running laps on the field. 50 laps. Every step felt like his flesh was being sliced off. If he slowed down even a little, the black-faced god would flick a glass marble at his leg. It hurt like hell, but didn't break any bones. Rumor had it that this was how he became the dean of students. By the window on the third floor, Xiao Huang leaned in. Brother Ping, look. Young Master Li got caught, and he actually didn't snitch on us. Dongfang Lan and I exchanged a glance, surprised. I thought I'd be dragged back to take the fall, but I didn't expect him to shoulder it all by himself. I narrowed my eyes watching him. Dongfang Lan said softly, looks like Li Zimu is somewhat of a man after all. The class bell rang. Mr. Bai walked in. Burly, with a scar on his face, he looked incredibly fierce. No one dared to skip his class. I sat up perfectly straight, listening attentively. Dongfang Lan looked at me silently. You're acting weird. This is the first time I've seen you pay attention in class since elementary school. I waved her off. Don't bother me. Annoyed, she jabbed me hard with the tip of her pen. I let out a yelp. The whole class snickered. Mr. Bai's gaze swept over. Classmate Jiang Ping, answer this question. He automatically ignored her. How could a good kid like Dongfang Lan ever harm me? It was obviously me causing trouble again. I was speechless, my teeth aching. Habitual thinking really kills. I stared at the question on the blackboard. The application of qi. I instantly deflated. If I knew how to use qi, back when I fought that old monk, would I have relied solely on physical strength? I also knew explaining was useless. Just look at everyone's expressions. Mr. Bai, just give it to me straight. How do you want to punish me? Ha ha! The whole class burst into laughter. Even Mr. Bai's face twitched a little. This kid was just too honest. Mr. Bai pointed to the back row. I understood immediately and quickly scurried over. The usual routine, but this time, I brought my notebook and pen. Mr. Bai continued his lecture. He had seen plenty of these little interruptions. Pay attention, class. This year is your period of rapid development. Most of you will attempt to break through. Whether you can then break through to the spirit realm is the stepping stone to other academies. Take this seriously. To ignite your fighting spirit, I'll make an exception and talk about the application of qi in the spirit realm. With that, he wrote on the blackboard, then looked at Dongfang Lan with an encouraging gaze. Everyone instantly understood. Dongfang Lan was about to break through. Some were envious, some were surprised, but no one found it strange. That's just how geniuses are. The application of qi is the most important weapon in the spirit realm. A spirit realm cultivator who can't use qi is like a child wielding a sword. Intimidating, but easily defeated. Today, we'll start with skill structures. How to apply qi while exerting force. Let's start with the Kang Yuan Wolf's wind-chasing slash. Dongfang Lan listened, completely mesmerized. She was currently digesting a Kang Yuan Wolf's inner core. Mr. Bai obviously knew this. Even those who couldn't understand had their horizons broadened. Mr. Bai was fully engrossed in his lecture, and Dongfang Lan took pages of notes. Just as the class was about to end, I couldn't help but raise my hand, looking at Mr. Bai eagerly. Teacher, I have a question. How do you use the iron-tailed eagle's sharp claws? The whole class turned to look at me. Mr. Bai teased. Oh ho, even Pingsy has a day where he's eager to learn. This stuff is way beyond your reach. You should focus on figuring out how to stay out of trouble first. This was how we interacted. Like dealing with a disabled person, the more you tiptoe around it, the worse they feel. True friends will drag you out to play soccer, make you the goalie, and won't treat you like a cripple, or even treat you like a human, for that matter. So no one avoided the topic of my inability to cultivate. Everyone was very open about it. The classmates joined in the teasing. Yeah, Brother Ping, you should just research how to get a full meal. The spirit realm is too far away for you. Hee hee, Brother Ping, stop messing around. We're not used to you acting like this. Haha. We agreed to be slackers together. You can't just betray the team. In the past, I would have fired back. But right now, I didn't have the time. I snapped. Get lost, all of you. I'm having a serious discussion with Mr. Bai. Why are you joining in? This one word, serious, actually made the whole class burst into hysterical laughter. Xiao Huang clutched his stomach and banged on the desk, giving me a thumbs up. Brother Ping, you're the best. That was hilarious. I was getting anxious. These brats really looked down on me. Not being able to cultivate for so long, how could I possibly feel good about it? Who wouldn't want to slap their faces just once? But I knew talking was useless. It was better to let the facts speak for themselves. I decided to make my move. I suddenly thrust out my right hand, unleashing a Grandmaster-level claw strike at the blackboard in the back. As my 5 fingers swiped across, a faint, murky light flowed. In an instant, 5 deep holes were gouged into the blackboard. The entire class fell silent. Time seemed to stand still. Dongfang Lan covered her mouth. Xiao Huang's eyes widened. Mr. Bai stood frozen in place. That aura just now, that red chi. Spirit realm, he exclaimed in his mind. The moment I raised my hand, it clearly announced, I, Jiang Ping, have reached the spirit realm. Seeing everyone's shock, the corners of my mouth curled up slightly. I clasped my hands behind my back and swept my gaze across the class. The blackboard is too fragile. Would any of you care to lend me your heads for practice? My Chunabu energy was off the charts. Tears welled up in Dongfang Lan's eyes. She stood up, thrilled. Pingzi, you can cultivate now? Xiao Huang and the others instantly reacted. He rushed over like a madman and threw his arms around me. Oh my god, Brother Ping. You can cultivate. The whole class erupted. Forgetting they were still in class, they swarmed around me like crazy. Holy crap, my Brother Ping can cultivate. Heaven rewards the faithful. Brother Ping can cultivate. They surrounded me completely, happier than if they had broken through themselves. Being tossed into the air, I suddenly felt a wave of dullness. Wait, weren't they supposed to doubt me first, then question me, then get completely crushed by me in a duel, and finally, I'd make my grand return under everyone's awestruck gaze. All this enthusiasm was making me really uncomfortable. I don't know who suddenly rushed into the hallway and roared, "Great news! Brother Ping can cultivate. Everyone, come quick and see." In an instant, the entire floor was shocked. Heads popped out from every classroom. Jiang Ping? Brother Ping can cultivate. The place went wild. Countless people gathered outside the classroom, watching me being tossed up and down, clicking their tongues in amazement. Even the teachers were watching. I wanted to wipe away my past humiliation, but instead, I became the object of everyone's amusement. Looking at all those faces treating me like a circus monkey, I silently covered my face, up and down, until Mr. Bai finally spoke up. What are you all looking at? Get back to class. Class isn't over yet. Mr. Lee, is this how you teach your class? Why are they all running over to our class? The students were terrified and immediately stood at attention. Thud. I was still in the air. You sons of bitches. I'm still up here. I wanted to cry but had no tears. How did a perfectly good flex turn into an acrobatic performance? Dongfang Lan hurried over to help me up, tears in her eyes. Pingzi, you're cured? When did you get better? Everyone's eyes were fixed on me. I steadied myself with her help. I remember it was a dark and stormy night. I ran into an old man. He said, "Young man, I see you are a once-in-a-millennium genius." The whole crowd scoffed. T.H. Mr. Bai tapped the blackboard. Shut up, all of you. Those from other classes get back to your lesson. The crowd dispersed. I breathed a sigh of relief. Mr. Bai looked at me. Pingzi, come with me. The rest of you self-study. Whoever talks, I'll drill them to death tomorrow. The whole class fell dead silent. I knew you would ask about this. I couldn't hide it. I wanted to enter the academy. I needed resources, and I wanted to cultivate openly. I had to live up to the name Brother Ping. We walked in silence. Mr. Bai suddenly smiled. To the principal's office. He didn't believe I was just cured. Knock, knock, knock. Come in. The old principal, with his white hair, was reading the frontline battle reports. Causing trouble again? He glared at me, but I didn't flinch. I nodded in greeting. Mr. Bai said, Jiang Ping can cultivate now. Spirit realm. I can't get a read on him. Take a look. The principal abruptly stood up. His chair scraped loudly against the floor. What? Mr. Bai pursed his lips at me. You tell him. Meeting the principal's burning gaze, I said, last week, I saw you, drank the essence blood you gave me, slept, and then I was fine. So, where did that essence blood come from? What was so special about it? The principal's jaw dropped. That's it? I threw my hands up. That's it. I didn't dare tell the truth. No one would believe that eating demonic beast meat could make me stronger. But having an unexplainable secret was far more dangerous than not being able to cultivate. The principal fell into deep thought. He picked up the phone, his voice serious. Darceto, that demonic beast. Essence blood you gave me last time, where exactly did it come from? On the other end of the line was his son from the Special Ops Squad. He was a bit confused when he got the call. Dad? The old principal hung up the phone and suddenly laughed. He pointed at me. You little bastard. You really lucked out. That essence blood was procured by my son in a certain department. He gave it to me out of filial piety. I didn't expect it to end up with you. I heard it was the essence blood of a beast king. I only just found out myself. If I had known it was a beast king's essence blood, I definitely wouldn't have been willing to give it to you. My eyes went wide. I was fucking making it up. With my tongue that had tasted countless types of essence blood, that blood wasn't special at all. Mr. Bai was also shocked. What? You were willing to give away beast king essence blood? Didn't the kid just say I didn't know at the time? The old principal didn't seem to care. Who would have thought it was Beast King Essence blood? It's my son's fault for not explaining it clearly. He just said it was to nourish my body. This kid got a huge bargain. He turned to Mr. Bai. Little Bai, you handled this matter very well. Since we know what happened, go back to class. You said this kid poked 5 holes in the blackboard? Make him pay for it. I stared at him intently. Principal, stop joking. Our school is huge and wealthy. Do you really care about this little bit of money? Besides, I didn't do it on purpose. It was only because everyone didn't believe me and mocked me. The old principal scoffed. Didn't believe you? I believe the mocking part. Who doesn't know you, brother Ping? Otherwise, how do you think I got the title of the disgrace of Nanqing's education circle? Where do you think that came from? I immediately wilted. I really couldn't argue with that. Who told me to take his stuff? My hands were tied. I quietly followed behind Mr. Bai. Only when we got outside did I whisper, Mr. Bai, you wouldn't be that petty, right? The corners of Mr. Bai's mouth curled up. That depends on your performance, kid. Let's go to the training room. Let me see what your spirit realm is all about. Is it Beast King's essence blood really that miraculous? A Beast King. A high-tier demonic beast. Its essence blood would never fall into the hands of ordinary cultivators. Now someone had consumed it and entered the spirit realm overnight. Mr. Bai couldn't help but lick his lips. Should I find my old brothers and go hunt a Beast King too? He touched the scar by his eye. After we left, the smile on the old principal's face vanished. He dialed a secure line. Hello? This is Mo Jiangqi. Xiao Wang, I don't care what method you use. Lock down the file of a student in our school. No one can access it without Class A clearance. The person on the other end was shocked. Ha 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 ha. Teacher, stop joking. You're asking me to commit a violation. Don't you fucking talk to me about violations. The old principal roared. Did you commit few violations back in the day? If I hadn't wiped your ass for you, would you be where you are today? Now you're acting all high and mighty with me. Ha 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 ha. Teacher, I yield. Tell me, how do you want to handle this? You're the boss. Worst case scenario, I lose this job and head to the front lines. The old principal finally smiled. That's more like it. Classic clearance activated, because there was an issue with my elementary school records. My physical exam had 4 words written on it. Absolute null physique. It completely prevents any chi from entering the body, meaning I could never cultivate for the rest of my life. But I remember that people with the absolute null physique have brilliant minds. The current chi guidance system was created by someone with the absolute null physique. That person was a god. That's why the old principal favored me. A moment later, the person on the other end replied, Ah, teacher. All right, if you ever make me do this again, I'm going to jump off a building. The old principal hung up immediately. If you won't do it, there are plenty of students who will. The phone rang again. Hello. His son, wearing a black uniform, looked completely bewildered. Dad, on the phone just now. What the heck is that Beast King essence blood you were talking about? The old principal immediately cursed. Damn it. Come back when you have time. We'll talk then. He hung up. This old man really is getting old. Combat training room. Mr. Bai watched me take the test. I swung my arm excitedly. The blood chi on my 5 fingers was as thick as meridians. It shot straight at the testing stone 10 meters away. The stone let out a muffled thud. A number popped up. Mr. Bai, is this chi externalization? Is this how it works? Mr. Bai's mouth was wide open. What a freak. You couldn't even use chi just a moment ago. And now you can actually use it for a physical attack. 2,000 units of chi infusion. That's 3 times higher than a normal spirit entry realm. Teacher, do you think I'm a genius? How long did it take you to master this trick back then? Mr. Bai's mouth twitched. He really wanted to slap him to death, but to maintain his image as a master teacher, he cleared his throat. Jiang Ping, this speed of yours shows pretty good comprehension among your peers, but compared to me, you're still lacking a bit, especially the principal's son. He figured it out all on his own back then. I stared wide-eyed. I believed him. All right then, I'll keep working hard. Teacher, I read in a book that the color of chi is related to its attribute. Yellow is the earth attribute. Red is the fire attribute. Is mine the fire attribute? Teacher Bai rubbed his face. Fire my ass. This is blood red. It has absolutely nothing to do with fire. I fell silent. Then what exactly is mine? It can't be that just because I drank a lot of essence blood growing up, I ended up with a blood attribute, right? The textbooks never even mentioned this. Teacher Bai thought about it and actually found it reasonable. You might actually be right. I can't make sense of this either. Maybe someone will understand it once you get into the academy. We stayed in the training room for a long time. I learned the spirit realm guidance technique and how to use sharp claws. Blood red, armor-like claws materialized on the back of my hands. They could be used for close combat or launched as projectiles. I stared at them in a daze. Why does this thing look more and more wicked the longer I look at it? I didn't take it too seriously. As for the Shaola dog's ability, I didn't dare mention it. I wouldn't be able to explain where the demon core came from. I could only develop it slowly on my own, but I was confident that mastering one would lead to mastering them all. I'd figure out the iron-tailed eagle's sharp claws first. It wouldn't be too late to study the elimination dog's power later. Patting my stomach, I said goodbye to Teacher Bai and headed back to class. Cheers and endless questions immediately bombarded me. I got annoyed. Shut the hell up. Keep nagging and I'll jump out the window. Outside the door, Li Zimu was drenched in sweat. He stared daggers at me. Good, very good. So you were just playing the pig to eat the tiger with me. Jiang Ping? It's just the spirit realm, isn't it? Give me 20 days. I will definitely catch up to you. Being defeated by me made him feel awful, but also thrilled. Good boy. What excuse do you have to refuse this time? As long as I openly and fairly defeat you, everything will go back to how it was. After school, I slipped away early. I was afraid of being interrogated, and I had something else to do. I couldn't delay getting those comic books for the little kids at Sang Shao anymore, but they were sold out. It was almost 8 p.m. by the time I got home in the dark. I never dared to come home this late before. Now that I was in the spirit realm, I had more guts. I hitched up my backpack. Suddenly, I slapped my forehead. I'm so stupid. I've got cultivation base now. If I channel my chi to my feet, this little low wall will be a piece of cake. I spat into my palms and rubbed them together vigorously. Chi swirled around my legs. I was thrilled. It actually works. I pushed off hard, launching off the ground like a cannonball. I landed steadily inside the courtyard wall. I did it. I really did it this time. This chi is too much fun. I tiptoed, getting ready to sneak into my room. Then I heard Yao Yujing cough. All right, son, where are you sneaking off to? I looked up. Mom looked as kind and amiable as ever, but her eyes were red. She had clearly been crying. Mom, have you eaten? Yao Yujing laughed out of exasperation. Looking at her sensible son, she couldn't hold it in anymore. Son, are you really cured? I pretended not to care. I'm cured. Really cured. Did the principal tell you? She swatted me lightly. You brat. You didn't even tell us you were better. If the old principal hadn't told me, how long were you going to hide it? I chuckled sheepishly. I was just afraid of getting your hopes up for nothing. But it's all good now. Our family won't have to live so tightly anymore. Oh right, Mom. I passed by a cosmetics store today. They said this is the newest product. Give it a try. I dug a small bottle out of my bag. She really wanted to cry, but she held it back. Her son was just too sensible. Just a bit too mischievous. Under the summer flowers, mother and son chatted in the courtyard. My father smoked silently, listening to us. The atmosphere today was joyful. Their son was cured. They could finally live like a normal family. But suddenly, looking toward the crematorium, he frowned slightly. Pingzi, now that you're cured, what are your plans? Jiang Wanli asked cautiously, terrified of striking a nerve. I was smart enough. I understood immediately. I finally remembered my status. The descendant of a crematorium director. In a harmonious society, taking the college entrance exam would be the standard advice. But here, it required complicated procedures. There was also an unwritten rule. Once you took this job, your family had to do it for 3 generations. You volunteered for it because it damaged the body and carried the risk of pollution. It was a job people loved and hated. Loved it for the extra perks and bribes, hated it because it severely limited your future and affected your descendants. I had been so dizzy with joy that I completely forgot about this. Everyone was envisioning a bright future for me, subconsciously ignoring my background. Dad, what do you mean? He hesitated. How about I keep doing the job for now, and I'll pull some strings to get you into the academy. We just won't go through the normal college entrance exam route, okay? I didn't want to make things hard for him. I flashed a wide, 8-tooth smile. I have no objections. Whatever works. Yao Yujing felt uncomfortable. Her son had finally recovered, yet he still couldn't go to school normally. It was all because they were dragging him down. Why don't we ask the old principal? Maybe he has a way. Jiang Wanli's eyes lit up. You're right. He hurriedly dialed the number. When he explained the situation, the old principal cursed him out. Jiang Wanli, you little punk. You think you're a big shot now? I should have beaten you to death back then. It's one thing for you to be a good-for-nothing, but you want to drag Pingzi down with you. Don't even think about it. What's wrong with the crematorium anyway? It's still contributing to City 13. What you're talking about is just an unwritten rule. Who would dare say it out loud? You don't need to worry about this. I have my own arrangements. You bastard. Where's Xiaojing? Put her on the phone. He was scolded so badly he couldn't even lift his head. Yao Yujing nervously took the phone. She had heard her husband getting chewed out. Bracing herself, she called out, Teacher, it's Xiaojing. How has your health been lately? Seeing him look like a schoolboy who just got in trouble, I couldn't help but snicker. The old principal's attitude softened significantly. Humph, I haven't been angered to death by you two yet. Don't worry about Pingzi's situation. I have my own arrangements. Your senior sister had a similar case before. That kid went to the front lines to join the army, and eventually, the military recommended him to the academy. Rest assured, with me here, Pingzi's future won't be delayed. I'll have a word with your senior sister later. He was deeply moved, tears almost falling from his eyes. The old principal snorted. Stop crying. I'm too old to watch that. Hold it in. He really just let the tears well up, not daring to let them fall. They chatted for a good while before ending the call. The family looked at each other and smiled. He rubbed my head. Pingzi, a person must have a conscience. Your life was given to you by the folks of the South City. No matter what happens, you must always remember that. I hummed in agreement. As long as the kid is healthy. The 3 of us had a huge feast. For once, Jiang Wanli even let me have a little wine. We didn't go to sleep until 10 p.m. From today on, this family had truly come alive. I lay in bed, feeling a bit tipsy. Even though I hadn't eaten any demon beast meat all day, I wasn't starving like I used to be. I guess I just overate the past few days. Skipping a meal occasionally was fine. Just like in a harmonious society. When people had plenty of fat in their diet, skipping a meal or two didn't affect them. But there was one problem. I needed to find a secret base from now on. And when I was working at home, I'd have to secretly embezzle some demon beast corpses. Otherwise, how was I supposed to fill my stomach? Thinking about all this nonsense, I drifted off to sleep. In my hazy state, it felt like I had returned to Thousand Buddha Mountain. The temple had completely collapsed. Only the scripture pavilion was still standing. I wandered through the dreamscape. This feels pretty real. The dream is even evolving on its own. Is this what they mean by what you think about by day, you dream of by night? Following my memory, I decided to have some fun in the dream. The bizarre tales I was reading last time. I was dragged out by the old monk before I could finish them. I had regretted it for a long time. I wonder if I can pick up where I left off in this dream. I casually walked over to where I was before. Just as I opened the book, I heard that strange sound again. A smirk crept onto my face. Humph, this is crazy. It even has this detail. Didn't I go into the cave last time and see that stunningly beautiful woman? I didn't expect her to be in the dream too. Thinking of this, I put down the book and chuckled mischievously. I familiarly made my way down into the cave. Arriving at the underground cavern once again, I saw the crystal coffin again. Inside, it was exactly the same as what I saw at Thousand Buddha Mountain. That woman was still there. Only, the seal on her forehead was gone. There was only a breathtakingly beautiful woman, dressed in a red bridal gown, lying quietly in the crystal coffin. I could faintly see the corners of her mouth twitch upward. It startled me. Then I realized, damn it, trying to scare me in a dream? I might be afraid of you in reality, but you think I'd be scared of you in a dream? I boldly leaned in, crouching down to observe her closely. So real. It's too real. She even has peach fuzz. Are dreams really this badass nowadays? I was utterly blown away. Leaning in even closer to look, I couldn't help but marvel at the creator's magic. To think such a beautiful woman existed in this world. Every single feature was absolutely perfect. Absolutely stunning. Suddenly, just as I wanted to get a better look, my vision went black. When I woke up, it was because I was starving. I stared blankly at the ceiling in a daze. Wasn't I just dreaming? How did I suddenly wake up starving? I checked the clock. It was already 7 a.m. Damn it. What kind of dream was that? What about the rest of it? I rubbed my stomach. Seeing that the furnace was already fired up, I knew Jiang Wanli was up and had started working. I quickly got dressed and ran into the incineration room. Dad, go take a break. I'll handle this. A new idea popped into my head. I planned to steal some meat and secretly stash it away. I'd take it out and stew it later. I just didn't know what kind of demon beast it was today. Jiang Wanli looked at his sensible son and sighed, realizing I had grown up. He didn't force himself to stay. All right, you know the procedure. I'll head out and buy some breakfast. He handed me the professional boning knife. Oh right, son. Are you still drinking essence blood? I shook my head. Not anymore. Don't worry, Dad. I'll extract it. Once we gather a full bottle, we can sell it. Jiang Wanli burst into laughter. True enough. With that, he walked out. I looked at the corpse in front of me and carefully inspected it. I was a bit disappointed. It's an iron-tailed eagle again. The yield on these things is a bit too high. My stomach growled. I needed to hurry and extract the essence blood first. After making sure no one was around, I quickly skinned it and chopped it into pieces. I couldn't take off my gloves. With my parents home, I carved out the tenderest 2 pounds of meat, wrapped it in oilcloth, and hid it. Suddenly, I remembered the rift from that night. I smacked my lips. If only I had a time rift too. That would be amazing. Then I wouldn't have to sneak around hiding meat like this. I'd even have a place to cook it. Thinking about the sheer size of Thousand Buddha Mountain, I started drooling. Suddenly, my vision went black. What the? Where's my meat? Where did my giant chunk of meat go? The meat had vanished. I panicked. It wasn't on the table, it wasn't on the floor. I was sweating profusely. As I crouched down, I vaguely saw the teardrop mole on my wrist twitch. My heart skipped a beat. Good heavens, could that teardrop mole dot be exactly like the one on the woman in red inside the crystal coffin? If I hadn't dreamed of her last night, I wouldn't have realized that the woman in red yesterday seemed to be missing her teardrop mole. I used to be obsessed with Cultivator Story magazine. Every monthly issue talked about miraculous encounters, secret realms, and time rifts. There was one story. 10 years ago, a man accidentally entered a secret realm, obtained a token, and took control of a time rift. He eventually became a top-tier powerhouse. It was only after he fell that the truth was unearthed. That's gotta be fake, right? But could I be a lucky one too? I cut another piece of meat and stared at it. Whoosh! The meat vanished. I clamped my hands over my mouth, barely stopping myself from screaming. I might be about to strike it rich. I was just thinking about a time rift, and now I actually have one. God really favors me. I closed my eyes and stroked the teardrop mole. Whoosh! I vanished from the crematorium. When I opened my eyes again, I was standing among the ruins of Thousand Buddha Mountain. The scripture pavilion was still standing. My heart ached so much I couldn't breathe. I slapped myself twice. You deserve it. You really deserve it. If I had known this would become my property, why the hell did I burn it down? Back then, I burned the mountain just to piss off the old monk. It wasn't my house anyway. But now, it was mine. As satisfying as it felt back then, that's exactly how much it hurt now. I wanted to cry but had no tears left. Mother of God, all those buildings were mine. Phew. I let out a sigh. To gain it is my fortune. To lose it is my fate. Worst case scenario, I just rebuild it. Even that powerhouse's time rift was developed little by little. The teardrop mole twitched, and my heart skipped a beat with it. Looking at the scripture pavilion, I felt an inexplicable fear, because last night's dream was far too real. Otherwise, I wouldn't have discovered the secret of the teardrop mole. Doesn't that mean that yesterday, I probably wasn't dreaming at all? Wait, what did that woman call me again? Jiang Lang? What kind of weird nickname is that? I couldn't figure it out. I decided it was best not to go into the scripture pavilion for now. Anyway, all I needed was a place to start a fire and cook. A man should be content with what he has. Never be too greedy. I turned around and walked toward the ruins. After searching for a long time, I found an intact room. I went into the kitchen, grabbed some pots and pans, and started building a stove, but I kept feeling like someone was watching me from behind. I looked back. It was actually a Buddha statue. Humph. 1000 Buddha Mountain is gone, and you're still staring at me? Shark claws. Strike. 5 bloody lines slashed straight toward the Buddha statue. The statue shattered into pieces. Now that feels better. Before long, a small stove was built. I threw the iron-tailed eagle meat in and started stewing it. There used to be demon beasts on 1000 Buddha Mountain. Why didn't I see any this time? 1000 Buddha Mountain wasn't small, and I was starving. I could only suppress my doubts and focus on stewing the meat. After a hearty meal, my whole body felt incredibly refreshed. My sharp claws had gotten stronger too. Heh, the power of my sharp claws has increased again. Moving my wrists, the control felt much steadier. Now that I had this treasure trove, I had to put it to good use. And as for the demon beast corpses, how should I embezzle them? Out, I muttered silently. I reappeared in the incineration room. I looked up at the wall clock. 7:50. I remembered going in at 7:30. 1 hour inside was 20 minutes outside. A 1-to-3 ratio. As for the remaining iron-tailed eagle, I didn't embezzle it. I just threw it straight into the furnace. For the next few days, I kept thinking about how to get my hands on more demon beast corpses. I was sick of eating iron-tailed eagles, and their potential had maxed out. Fortunately, my chi was still growing. At first it was 1 gram. Now it had slowly reached 3 grams. Accumulating to 9 grams is the peak of the spirit realm. Mastering one main skill would allow me to break through to the next realm. This was the watershed moment. The gap between kids from ordinary families and those from wealthy clans started widening right here. A natal skill was engraved into your bones and stayed with you for life. Kids from wealthy clans could spend a fortune to get high-tier demon cores, extracting fragmented but highly compatible skill frameworks. The larger the operating capacity, the higher their future achievements would be. Ordinary people could only try their luck at the academy. City 13 mandated that high schoolers were not allowed to break through to the fusion realm. The government got first pick of all the good demon cores. Only the leftovers flowed into the market. If you wanted the good stuff, you had to get into a good academy. But the academies didn't just give things away for free. You had to make contributions or show exceptional talent. There was no such thing as a free lunch in this world. I had crammed all this knowledge over the past few days. I finally understood why the old principal was so dead set on getting me into the academy. There were no resources on the outside. No matter how talented you were, it was useless without them. The best resources were in the academies. The military had them too, but they were too hard to get into. Pushing aside my stray thoughts, I started pondering over this time rift. I'll call it the heaven-swallowing secret realm. With a 1-to-3 time ratio, there was a lot of room to maneuver. But then I scratched my head. I wasn't an ordinary person. I didn't need to rely on time to grind my skills. I relied on eating. As long as I had enough demon beast corpses, my chi would grow and my skills would get stronger. Hey! My eyes lit up. I suddenly discovered another use for the heaven-swallowing secret realm. Guess what? I snickered secretly. If this idea actually works, that would be awesome. But whether I'd be feeling awesome or not was unknown. The old principal, however, was very unawesome right now. He was furious on the phone. Jung Shu, you can't even handle this little thing. He's not just my grand disciple. He's also your junior sister's child. Why is it that everyone else gets to just go pad their resumes, take a stroll, and then qualify for the academy exams, but our kid has to do it for real? On the other end of the line, Jung Shu smiled bitterly. Teacher, I didn't make the rules. This year, all of City 13 has to do it this way. It's an absolute order from the higher-ups. Her status as a senior sister placed a heavy burden on Jinshu's shoulders. City 13 didn't belong to anyone. It is a home for everyone. Jinshu sat behind his desk. He was dressed in a sharp, tailored suit. His long hair was slightly wavy. He couldn't help but rub his forehead as he dealt with his teacher's tantrum. Bullshit. You just think I'm getting old. Jinshu, you know me. I haven't asked you for anything in all these years, and now you're acting like this over such a small matter? Are you trying to break your teacher's heart? The old principal sighed and groaned. Jingshu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Teacher, you're doing it again. I have a headache too, you know? It was hard to just order the girl around given the past favors, but his heartstrings were pulled. He still remembered how the teacher had humbled himself to help Jingshu get a core back then. Jingshu never forgot that. The teacher never asked for anything for himself. He only bowed his head for his students. This debt of gratitude was heavy. Could Jingshu really turn his back on it? Jingshu gritted his teeth. As if making a life or death decision, he said, Teacher, actually, there is another way I can make this work. The old man finally smiled. Tell me, my good student. Jingshu stroked the newly arrived documents. His words were heavy. Are you familiar with the Spark competition? The Spark competition? He almost jumped out of his seat. Jingshu, I really wasted my affection on you. What kind of nonsense are you talking? Is that something Jiang Ping can actually participate in? He'd be better off just hunting monsters. Jungsu smiled bitterly. The spark competition was as cruel as a blade. Geniuses from all major factions fought to the death. Only the survivors were considered sparks. Jiang Ping wouldn't even qualify as cannon fodder. Teacher, you've got it wrong. As long as he makes it into the top 16 of the 13 cities, and gets the reserve spark qualification. But he can take the academy entrance exam. Once he has the slot, I'll arrange for him to be eliminated immediately. He'll take his exam, and the others can keep fighting. This is the best solution I can think of. The old man fell silent. Compared to going to the real battlefield, this path was much safer. Is it difficult? Junshu wanted to laugh and curse at the same time, but looking at his mentor, he could only nod. It's not difficult. The old man smiled. Good. This is a well-chosen path. I think it'll work. All right, teacher, since it's decided. Then have Jiang Ping come over. The selection is in the third realm. Time is tight, so I'll issue the official order. Bring the boy here. He frowned. 10 starfishers have appeared in the third realm. That's the front line. Jungshu nodded. The higher-ups say a spark must be prepared to burn everything. The front line is the most suitable place. He looked deeply at Jungshu. Jungshu, your teacher has no other skills. I can only rely on students like you. Jungshu nodded firmly. Don't worry. Teacher, I'll arrange everything. Nothing will go wrong with this kid. I was buried in my notes, desperately trying to catch up on the cultivation knowledge I'd missed. Teacher Bai arrived. Jiang Ping, step outside for a moment. The whole class stared. Ping, did you get into trouble again? I rolled my eyes. Get lost. They all laughed together, thinking I'd messed up again. But the next day, I didn't show up for class. Xiao Huang frowned. What's up with Ping? He couldn't have been beaten so badly he can't walk, right? Everyone was confused. Is Ping done with cultivation? Dongfang Lenjian stood up. He spoke calmly. Don't worry about him. He has his own path to walk. He won't be back for a while. He told me to tell everyone to keep training hard. We'll meet at the academy. The class erupted. What? Ping's dropping out? Lan, what's going on? What happened to Ping? A student with glasses shouted. Quiet down. Let Lan speak. Everyone stared at him. He said calmly, Ping's family runs a crematorium. You all know that. If he wants to get into the academy, he has to find another way. Silence filled the room. Someone whispered so Lan. Does this mean we won't be able to hang out with Ping anymore? Dongfang Lan rolled her eyes at the speaker. Didn't I say it? We'll meet at the academy. You all need to work hard. Jiang Ping has gone to fight for his future. We can't fall behind either. Jiang Ping said he'll definitely make it to the academy. He'll be waiting for you. He told you not to fall behind. Xiao Huang scoffed. That bottom feeder actually dares to mock us. Exactly. Ping's been getting cocky lately. He just got on his feet and already looks down on people. Just wait and see which academy he goes to. We'll definitely get in there too. I have a natural leadership quality. I can get along with anyone. Whether it's a fight or an argument, I can settle it. That's why they tolerate me. I carried my bag and followed the old principal. I waved goodbye to my parents. Yao Yujin was teary-eyed. Teacher, there won't really be any danger, right? The old principal kicked Jiang Wanli. His voice was stern. Danger? All you think about is danger. Is there any safe place in this world? The boy has his own path to walk. Don't hold him back. Yao Yujin didn't dare speak. Only Jiang Wanli muttered, Teacher, that she's the one who said it. Why did you kick me? The old principal kicked him again. She's your wife. If I don't kick you, who am I supposed to kick? I almost burst out laughing. He glared at me. He whispered a warning. Kid, don't go looking for trouble out there. The outside world isn't Nanxing. You might be a big shot there, but there's always someone better. There's always a higher heaven. Keep a low profile. Yao Yujin also held on to me, repeating her warnings. The old principal curled his lip. Low profile? He made a name for himself in Nanchang without even cultivating. You think he can stay low-key now? A sharp cry pierced the sky. A 10-meter-long giant bird descended from above. Its beak was like a sword, and the wind it stirred was like a tornado. A man in black saluted. Hello. I am Team Leader Chen's subordinate. I've been sent to pick up the Spark competition contestant. Who is Jiang Ping? He looked at me. The old principal smiled. Good, the brat has grown up. Are you working under Jiangshu? The man scratched his head. Principal, I graduated a few years ago. I had no resources, but Team Leader Chen thought well of me. He let me pilot this black-winged eagle. The old principal patted his shoulder. Do a good job. I remember your major was exactly this. It seems you found the right place for your skills. The man was excited. Ha ha ha, principal. I definitely won't let you down. I was shocked. At this moment, I realized how powerful the old principal really was. Having students everywhere wasn't just a saying. Jiang Wanli nudged me. Learn well. The teacher is very capable. Don't upset him so much in the future. I nodded seriously. I'll try. Seeing his murderous gaze, I immediately changed my tune. I promise. The old principal shouted at me. Stop dawdling. Go with your senior brother. I gave him a mental thumbs up. Just like that, he got me a senior brother. Impressive. My principal grandpa. I said goodbye to my parents. I ran over. Hello, senior brother. My name is Jiang Ping. My nickname is Ping. The man smiled. We're all family. Don't be so formal. I said to the old principal. Then I'm off. He nodded silently. Just as I was about to step onto the black-winged eagle, he suddenly shouted, Wait! He walked over and pulled a hidebound notebook from his robe. He searched for a moment. He licked his finger and tore out a page. He handed it to me solemnly. Keep this safe. If you run into trouble you can't solve out there, call these people. Jiang Wanli's eyes almost popped out. Teacher, you! The old principal barked. Shut up. Is it your turn to speak? He was in disbelief. Yao Yujing pulled him back. She knew what that list meant. She had her own selfish desires, but she knew better than to speak up. I took the paper, glanced at it, and memorized it. The black-winged eagle took flight. The ride was smooth. I looked at the man beside me. Senior brother, this air shield of yours is awesome. How do you do it? Can you teach me? By the way, how should I address you? He smiled. My name is Jiang Nan. I'm Team Leader Chen's backup driver. This is called an air shield. It's basic stuff once you enter the academy, but you need to be at the fusion realm to practice it. Don't think about it for now. I clicked my tongue in admiration. You really have to get out to see the world. Senior brother, you're so strong, yet you're only a backup driver? Jiang Nan laughed. It was like he was seeing his younger self. Of course, I'm just a backup. Do you know what Team Leader Chen's official driver's mount is? My eyes widened. What? He sighed. A twin-winged Jiao, supposedly a descendant of the king grade. My jaw dropped in shock. A king grade as a mount? Good heavens. Even if I didn't know much about cultivation, I knew what that meant. Monsters can be killed or tamed, but high-level ones usually have to be raised from birth, and you need secret methods. That's how you get mounts. They can go anywhere. All sorts of strange creatures. But those were exclusive to the elite. Something like an iron-tailed eagle doesn't even compare to a black-winged eagle. The books mentioned it. An adult fusion realm combatant is only a backup. Linglong, Xuan, Wang, each rank is a massive chasm. How strong would a king-grade descendant be once it reached adulthood? For the first time, I felt my horizons were too narrow. I stared at Jiang Nan. I want one too. Just thinking about it is badass. Jiang Nan smiled. Then you'll have to work hard. But the old principal thinks highly of you. That notebook is a legend at Nanchang High. How so? They say no one knows whose numbers are in there. When I got into the flight academy, the old principal just dialed a number. He asked someone to look after me. At the time, I felt slighted. Only when I got there did I realize that person was in charge of mount selection. That's how I managed to snag this black-winged eagle. His expression was nostalgic. He sighed with emotion. Without that call, he wouldn't even have gotten through the door. Now you know the weight of that piece of paper, right? I really didn't expect it to be so powerful. I pressed my hand against my chest. It felt warm. I can't let the old principal down. The flight was incredibly fast, yet it still took a day and a night to arrive. The black-winged eagle passed through a barrier. My eyes widened. The realm? Senior brother, is this it? Another hour and we'll be at the third realm command center. That's where your selection takes place. After landing, I followed behind Jiang Nan. Once he settled the black-winged eagle and fed it plenty of meat. We navigated through the streets and alleys. We stopped in front of a 5-story building. He swiped his card, went through security, and entered the lobby elevator. Jiang Nan was surprised. You even know about elevators? Technology from the Harmonious Society. Not many people know about it. I chuckled. I've seen it in books. I looked around like a curious child. The elevator started. It went down 23 floors before stopping. It was filled with busy people. Rare large screens flashed with data. I couldn't understand any of it. Phones were ringing constantly. Men and women in black uniforms hurried back and forth, reporting in. A mature female voice came through. Jiang Nan gave a formal report. Team Leader Chen. Jiang Ping has arrived. Chen Jingshu lifted her elegant face. She sized me up. So you're little Ping. She looked familiar, but I couldn't place her. She seemed to read my mind. She waved her hand for Jiang Nan to leave. She stood up with a smile. Forgotten me? You had such a sweet tongue as a kid. Memories came flooding back. My eyes widened. You're Auntie Shang Shang. Auntie Shang Shang? She laughed loudly. I remembered now. She had visited when I was starving to death. She brought 3 bottles of surprise fragrance. It was so fragrant. Those 3 bottles kept me a third full for a month. A rare, beautiful memory. I'm glad you remember. Little Ping, you're not an outsider. Let's keep it brief. In 3 days, geniuses from all over will gather to compete for 16 slots. The competition is dangerous. If you're afraid, I can arrange for you to be fast-tracked into the top 16. But if I do that, you'll always just be a child to me. Do you understand? I pondered. I understood. I looked up with determination. Auntie, what do you want me to do? The Nanxing bully had a high IQ. I might lack experience, but I wasn't stupid. If she said that, she definitely didn't want me taking shortcuts. Besides, I wasn't a child anymore. Her eyes held a hint of a smile. It's not about what I want. It's about what you want. Do you want to grow up under someone's wing? Or carve out your own path? You choose. She originally intended to follow the teacher's plan, but the moment she saw me, she changed her mind. This kid shouldn't be coddled like that. The teacher wanted to keep me safe. But, can a greenhouse ever produce a true powerhouse? I could be fast-tracked into the top 16. Relying on connections could even get me a good future in the academy, but that would ruin me. She saw a certain spirit in me. It had been a long time. She sensed my cultivation foundation was solid. My physique was excellent. She heard I only practiced basic skills, and my sharp claw was already at its peak. To reach this level, the effort required far exceeded that of ordinary people. For a child like this, making things too easy would actually destroy him. So she changed her mind. She'd let me try, and she'd be my safety net. 7th level of the mortal realm. Far beyond the entry level of the mortal realm What did this mean? Among his peers, he was no less than the children of great clans. His talent and perseverance stirred her desire to nurture him. One more step, and he might even reach the fusion realm. If his exam results were good, and he had a fusion realm foundation, it was entirely possible for him to get an excellent core. That would be much better than just struggling in the academy. He didn't need to be at the very top. As long as he made the top 8, she would have a reason to help him. To get a suitable natal core, the starting point would be completely different. But this all depended on one key thing, how I would choose. Fortunately, I didn't disappoint her. Good. Since you've made your choice, embrace the challenge. Auntie believes in you. Give it your all. She stood up and patted my shoulder. I nodded heavily. Just you watch. I don't believe I'm inferior to anyone else, although I accepted the arrangement. I was never content to be just a nepotism hire. Everyone has a bit of a competitive streak. I heard these people are all my age. I want to see who's really stronger. She saw the fighting spirit in my eyes. She was even more satisfied. I went down to wait for the first round of eliminations in 3 days. For those 3 days, I waited patiently. When I got hungry, I went to the Devouring Heaven's secret realm to stew some iron-tailed eagles. My sharp claw skill improved again. It was nearly a perfection, but a problem arose. Eating iron-tailed eagles, besides filling my stomach and slightly increasing skill proficiency, could no longer effectively temper my energy. It wasn't completely useless, it was just too slow. Before, eating 2 would give me 1 gram of progress. Now, even 10 weren't enough. The gains were negligible. I was worried. What should I eat next? I just made a big boast. I can't lose face immediately. Jiang Nan got me a monster encyclopedia for the 3rd realm. I studied the white-feathered chicken. Mortal realm skill. Golden rooster stand. Why would I practice that? Fluffy duck. Mortal realm skill. Snowfall everywhere. Isn't that just plucking feathers? Do I even have that many feathers? Looking at these weird options, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Finally, I settled on one. The wind-chasing wolf. Mortal realm's signature skill. Once blood trigger is activated, speed increases by 30%. I chose it because this skill provides a continuous buff. Although it's hard to make it a natal skill, it can serve as a powerful support. A 30% boost is quite significant. But there was still a small problem for me. I heard the wind-chasing wolf's inner core could grant me a new ability. So I went to ask Auntie Chen Jungshu. She brushed back a strand of hair and smiled. Little Ping. The wind-chasing wolf is a good choice. The first round will be in a fissure controlled by the military. They have them there. I chuckled. Auntie, how exactly is the elimination round going to work? She waved her hand dismissively. All right, if there's nothing else, you can go. Don't stay in the private room anymore. Go and interact more with the other contestants. I was stunned. The private room was so nice. Fine. The corners of her mouth curled up slightly. She waved me away impatiently. She turned back to her documents. To maintain secrecy. The testing site hadn't been finalized yet, but I knew the fissure she mentioned was perfect for me. As long as I didn't wander off, it wouldn't be a big deal. Getting the wind-chasing wolf skill depends on luck. Some people eat a dozen cores before getting it. It's a mysterious process. She circled a name. Hills. A woman in a black uniform entered. Team leader Chen. It's sealed. Send it to the assessment team for arrangements. The woman nodded. I immediately understood that this was the testing. The entire assessment team sprang into action. They began setting up the wild wolf fissure. Meanwhile, I carried my bedroll and slunk back to a dilapidated school building on the surface. The dormitory. Just as I reached the door, I heard voices. Young Master Lu, the ones coming this time are all elites from the 13 cities. All the geniuses below the fusion realm are here. Right, there are 300 of them. But young Master Lu is the top genius of Chongming City. He'll definitely sweep the competition. I smiled. The classic villain trope is here. Just as I was about to push the door open, a roar suddenly erupted. Jiang Ping, it really is a small world. I turned around, amused. Well, young Master Li, what a coincidence. Li Zimu was trembling with excitement. He couldn't cut it at school, and was banished to Nanchang. It was all because of his sister, keeping him in check that he didn't rebel. Now he'd use his connections to get in here. He fantasized about becoming a spark, and showing off his prowess on TV. Seeing my face turn sour. Just the thought of it felt great. But now, it felt even better, because he'd spotted me. There's a path to heaven, but you won't take it, and you barge into hell when there's no door. This isn't Nanchang. You don't have Dongfang land to back you up here. Jiang Ping, you're a dead man. He made a throat-slitting gesture. I scoffed. A dead man? You actually dare to threaten someone? Young Master Li, don't talk so big. Be careful not to trip over your own tongue. He snorted. Don't worry. I won't use my family's power to crush you. I will defeat you fair and square. If you get eliminated, you won't even be worthy of being beaten by me. He was brimming with arrogance. People around them poked their heads out. Isn't that the Li family's young master? Why is he so angry? Who's the guy opposite him? He seems pretty confident. Lu Baichuan also looked out and sneered. Just a piece of trash. Li Zimu's gaze sharpened. Lu Baichuan, you're here too? Enemies meeting face to face. He had fought Lu Baichuan before. It blew up, and both were punished. Lu Baichuan walked out. So what if I am? You're just a loser I've already beaten. Why are you acting so tough? He turned to me. Hey classmate, don't be afraid. I'll look after you. What can he possibly do to you? I looked at these two. They were suffering from a serious case of main character syndrome. Thanks, but no thanks. Li Zimu is nothing. I don't care about him. Lu Baichuan's face darkened. He wanted to use me to needle Li Zimu, but I brushed him off so casually. He was unhappy. He thought I was just posing. Young Master Lu is a top expert at the 5th level of the mortal realm. You're being way too arrogant. The crowd buzzed. 5th level of the mortal realm at his age. His talent was indeed impressive. But some were unimpressed. A short-haired girl turned and left. A boy in white clothes twitched his lips. Don't go yet. Guzi is being overbearing again. I think the kid has potential. But you can't just force people to join. It's not like just anyone can crawl their way into our circle. The lackey's fawning smile is giving me a headache. These guys are even bigger posers than I am. Forget it. Thanks for the offer though. I'm here to compete, not to play house or join a clique. It's better if we just stay out of each other's way. As I move to open the door, Lu Baichuan reaches out to stop me. I don't budge, and his eyes narrow sharply. He gives a faint, combative smile. Fight didn't break out, but the cameras caught everything. Chen Zhengshu watches the feed, wondering if I'm the real deal. The kid's got some skill. He has the strength, yet he knows how to restrain himself. His temperament isn't bad either. Character is more important than raw talent. He's starting to value me even more. The old man speaks of filial piety. Zhengshu, who are you interested in? Oh, come on, sir. It's too early to tell right now. We'll have to see how they perform. The old man remains non-committal. Throughout the evening, Lu Beichuan's lackeys keep trying to test me, but all I can think about is how to catch those wind-chasing wolves, and how to do it without the proctors noticing. I just brush them off with a laugh. Lu Beichuan thinks I'm intentionally being difficult. Jiang Ping, talent isn't everything. Resources are vital too. I hope, thanks, but no thanks. Seeing that I'm completely unmoved by his words, he huffs. With a personality like that, you're bound to suffer sooner or later. The world is a cruel place. He feels slighted. He tried to recruit me only because he realized my cultivation wasn't low. That's how these big families operate. But I didn't give him the time of day. Well, that's just who I am. I'm Jiang Ping. There's nothing to eat right now. That fire seed thing has nothing to do with me. Nothing Lu Baichuan said holds any appeal. The first round of the elimination tournament has begun. A crowd follows the black uniformed officials into the rift space. You have 1 day. Kill the beasts. Their right ears will be your proof. Points are awarded by rank. Do not attempt to cheat. Anyone caught will be permanently banned. 1 motorcycle per person. With that, the official departs. The chosen ones stand there in stunned silence. This is way too casual. But I know there are cameras hidden everywhere. My heart sinks a little. Cameras make things difficult to pull off. But whatever. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I'm the first to charge into the wasteland. The wild wolf rift, overgrown with thick brush. Wind-chasing wolves lurk within. I hop on the bike and blast off. 300 people scatter in an instant. 15 minutes later, I arrive at a dense patch of shrubs. My nose twitches. There's a dangerous aura inside. I hide the motorcycle well, long blade in hand. I crouch down low. A glint of sunlight catches my eye. I spot a camera. No wonder they're so relaxed. It's because everything is being monitored. Inside the command room, Chen Jingshu and a group of officials are observing, recording every move. Not bad. He can sense danger. The evaluation of the prize rises. Updating files. Suspected to have an olfactory type skill. Even. A tiny movement earns praise from the old man. The fire seed competition is also a war of information. Junshu, this kid is quite interesting. Chen Jingshu smiles. It's all thanks to your guidance, sir. I'm in no rush to enter the brush. First, I count the cameras. 86. There are no more than 10 wind-chasing wolves in this patch, yet they installed 86 cameras. My lip twitches. This is overkill. It's a headache. How am I supposed to pull this off with so many eyes on me? I'm confident I can kill them. I'm nearly at the peak of the near entry stage. With my claws, I don't fear a pack. But killing them, just for their ears, is such a waste of good meat. I frown, lost in thought. I hesitate, standing still. Is he afraid, or is he planning a strategy? 10 minutes later, I have an idea. I pick up a stone and nick it with my blade. I hurl it violently into the shrubs. I infuse it with my chi. Using the technique of the sharp claws, a howl echoes from the distance. A wind-chasing wolf suddenly lunges out right in front of me. I let out a burst of laughter. Facing a 3-meter-tall wolf, I beat a hasty retreat. I'm not here to lure them out and kill them one by one. I keep running. I kick the motorcycle up, hop on, and gun the throttle. Vroom. I charge straight into the thick of the bushes. The wind-chasing wolf is completely dazed. The command center is stunned too. Is he suicidal? But I don't stop. Instead, I stop and beckon the wolf over provocatively. It pounces. I quickly twist the throttle. It flies into the bushes and crashes into another one, waking it up. In an instant, 2 of them are chasing me. I give a sly, dark grin. Time to keep teasing them. After a few more maneuvers, I've got about a dozen wolves trailing behind me. I'm not using my ability to wipe out these moon-howling dogs yet. I'm just scouting the pack's location. Following the same pattern, an hour later, there are over 50 wind-chasing wolves behind me. Everyone watching is speechless. What the hell is this kid trying to do? Is he waiting to run out of gas and die? He's insane. The recorder can't make heads or tails of my actions. Chen Zhu, send someone to stop this. He's going to get himself killed. There are blind spots in the camera coverage. Chen Jingshu knows that cameras are scarce outside the exam area. If something really goes wrong, we won't be able to save him. He ponders for a long time. Leave him be, Jiangnan. Take the Black Eagle and go check on him. Jiang Nan sets off immediately. He's also getting a bit anxious. Don't actually go and get yourself killed, kid. I look back at the 70 or 80 wind chasing wolves. My face is beaming with excitement. I'm practically drooling. There are basically no cameras around here now. Time to get bold. I start closing the distance. The fastest wolf is about to catch up to me. I look at it and chuckle. Come on, little baby. I touch the red mole on my wrist. The red mole glows. Whoosh. The wolf is gone. Incredible. The rest of the pack is bewildered. My huge companion, where did it go? I chose this spot specifically. The nearest camera is 800 meters away, and it's pointed in the wrong direction. That's why I dare to make my move. I seize the chance while the two wolves are confused. Whoosh. Whoosh. They vanished too. The lead group just disappeared into thin air. I pant heavily, watching the dust cloud kicked up by the pack. I lick my lips. It might look easy, but it's actually quite difficult. I have to make physical contact to pull them inside. The swallowing heaven realm isn't omnipotent. If I accidentally provoke something I can't handle, I won't dare go back in there for a long time. But regardless, the meat is already in the pot. Once they enter the swallowing heaven's secret realm, they're halfway to being my dinner. It's only a matter of time before I eat them. After taking 6 in a row, I quickly pick up my bike and keep moving. I can't stay in one place for too long. It's too dangerous. I'll get caught easily. I need to go provoke another batch, and then collect them. That's the plan. If I kill them one by one, I'll always be under the camera's gaze. I'd run out of food in a few days. To get a high yield, I have to take the risk of baiting a whole pack. Who's going to notice a few missing wolves? Half a day has passed. The tank still has 300 kilometers left. I've only used 2/3 of it. Now I have 50 or 60 wolves trailing me. That's enough. I'll dash out of the surveillance zone and grab 7 or 8. Jiang Nan rushes over, frantic to find me. I spot his eagle too. Now that he's here, I stop collecting wolves. Instead, I start fighting them for real. A few slashes take down the first one. I cut off the ear and toss the carcass aside. Then I hop on the bike and bolt. Watching from above, Jiang Nan is dumbfounded. He mutters to himself, "Wait, you can actually play it like that?" He can see it clearly. I'm powerful, yes, but the wolves are also reaching their limit. Their speed is 40% slower than when they were fresh. This method looks dangerous, but the payoff is huge. Riding a motorcycle doesn't drain my stamina, but the wolves run until they're out of breath. When they collapse, I move in for the harvest. Then I bail immediately, repeating this cycle. Damn, it's practically a cheat code. Jiang Nan is stunned. But what happens when he runs out of gas? I head toward a patch of shrubs. I stop the bike and shout, "Hey classmate, come on out. Want to trade bikes?" A student crawls out, trembling. He's on the verge of tears. "Big brother, don't mess with me. Get those wolves away from here. I've been causing a ruckus in this area for ages. Who could miss that massive cloud of dust? It's literally a man flying in front, with a pack of souls chasing behind. Everyone is avoiding me like I'm a lunatic. I just want to pass the exam. Why does it have to be this hard?" I grin. My bike can still go 20 kilometers. You take mine and go that way. I'll take yours and head this way. I won't cause you any trouble, okay? The student is practically crying. "Big brother, how am I supposed to compete without a bike? At my level, I can't exactly sprint across the wasteland." I smile. "If you don't trade, I'm not leaving. What are you gonna do?" His face turns beet red. "If you push me, I'll fight you first, and then I'll ride away. You can run, and so can I." But I just give him a mysterious smile. Is that so? I flick my wrist, activating my claws. A burst of martial blood chi erupts. A wolf hiding in the brush to ambush us is instantly crushed. Damn. A million curses run through his mind. He cries out, "Big brother, you could have just robbed me." True. With that kind of strength, robbing him would be normal. And yet, I'm actually negotiating with him. I'm surprisingly reasonable. I wave him off. "No way. We're classmates. We'll have to fight side by side in the future. Robbing you would be bad form." He finally gives in. The dust cloud behind us grows thicker. A massive wave is coming. If I don't leave now, I can still run. But he might not be able to. He tearfully tosses me the keys. We swap vehicles. "Big shot, you better keep your word. I'll go left, you go right." I smile with satisfaction. "No problem. By the way, take that ear as compensation." With that, I speed off on the bike. Looking at the full tank of gas, I feel much more secure. Others won't be running around aimlessly like me. I'll leave enough for them. That student touches the white cocoon's ear and actually feels a bit moved. Aboard the Black Eagle, Jiang Nan watches me and picks up the radio. "Chenzu, do I still need to follow him?" In the command center, Chen Jungshu, the old man, and the recorder are all silent. "This kid is way too mischievous. I crushed a wolf with a 5-gram spirit core in one move. Everyone saw it. With that kind of strength, why? Can't he just kill them normally? Why does he have to protect these sons? Is he just doing it for the thrill?" Chen Jungshu rubs his temples. "Pull back. Let him play his games until he's done. For the first time, he can't read me." Pack is under his breath. "Troublemaker." The old man laughs. "Jungshu, this kid is the one old Mo asked us to look after." He nods helplessly. The teacher also put in a word for him. The old man laughs heartily. "Of course. He even said this kid is very well behaved. But looking at this performance, ha ha ha." Chen Jungshu's face turns slightly red. He knows he's being teased. But what can you do when it's one of your own? What can an elder do? Just clean up the mess, I guess. Let's look at the other contestants. He changes the subject. The recorder silently writes, "Outstanding strength, but a troublesome personality." Someone else writes directly, He's out of his mind. Damn it, what are you even trying to achieve? Jiang Nan leaves. The attention on me fades. I've completely cut loose now. Not to mention, Li Zimu isn't doing too badly over there either. Coming from a prestigious family, he heads straight for the brush. His first step is like mine, luring a single wolf, but what follows isn't nearly as flashy as my antics. His eyes glow with a golden light. Little wolf, you're going to help me boost my score. He's brimming with confidence. Every move, every stance, is steady and powerful. He has the air of a great family scion. Anyone would call him a fine prospect. His technique is solid. Combined with his skill assists, he quickly takes one down. He cuts the ear with a smirk and checks his watch. 10 minutes. He's improved. He's encountered beasts before, but that was under the protection of 10 bodyguards, so he's not afraid. In fact, he treats them like old friends. This is what you call a solid foundation. A normal person seeing a 3-meter-long wolf for the first time, something taller than a horse, with flashing silver teeth and sharp claws, who wouldn't be terrified? He follows the procedure step by step. He figures at this rate, his score will be excellent, at least better than mine. Thinking about how I'll be eliminated, Li Zimu smiles. But maybe he got too cocky. He makes a mistake in his maneuvers. One lure brings out 3 wolves at once. He momentarily loses his footing. Fortunately, he's seen the world. He steadies himself and counterattacks. This is seen in the command room. Not bad. A good prospect, Chen Wen notes, but he's too conventional. To achieve greatness, he needs to let go. The group continues recording. Lu Baichuan, on the other hand, is quite eye-catching. He looks like a spoiled rich kid, but his strength is no joke. He goes to the brush and directly provokes one. 2 aren't enough. Make it 3. 4 still isn't enough. He keeps taunting them. He only stops when he hits 5, feeling he's reached his limit. Lu Baichuan has the skill, and he's got guts, but he's too impulsive. 5 is manageable. But what about 6? Sure enough, the prediction comes true. A small wolf joins the fray. Lu Baichuan's pressure doubles instantly. Among the others, one girl stands out. She carries a 2-meter-long blade on her back, one hand on the hilt, the other slightly hunched. What a massive sword. Impressive. Her great strength has already reached the entry stage. Her skills are also focused on physical enhancement. The synergy is excellent. Someone probably knows her name. Xu Tianzhao. Watching her take on a pack of wolves alone and actually suppressing them, she truly lives up to the name Heavenly Talent. Then there's a boy with black-rimmed glasses. Despite having a near-entry 7-gram cultivation, he fights with extreme caution. Every move is minimized to cause maximum damage. Juga Gengi. So he's from the Juga family. That explains it. The Juga family is famous for their calculations and complex traps. He's a natural-born mathematician. A true variety of talents. 100 schools of thought contending. The elders nod in approval. The overall strength is good. They're worth cultivating. If it weren't for an anomaly like me, the assessment would have ended perfectly. I'm leading a pack of followers across the wasteland. Behind me are wolves, bears, and 3-legged golden roosters. The group is getting bigger and bigger, and it's slowly spiraling out of control. I haven't stopped to restock for half an hour. The wind-chasing wolves are getting faster. They're almost keeping up with my motorcycle. The sky is growing dark. Lights flicker. I have no idea where I've run to. Night is better for making a move. I kill a few here and there. I try to grab a few leopard bears, but I don't dare touch them. They feel like more than I can handle. I can only stick to the wolves. For a near-entry cultivator, night is like day. Others don't dare to sleep. They're afraid of being eliminated. I'm just wandering around, and I've managed to piss off every beast in the area. At dawn, I hide in the Swallowing Heaven realm to stew some meat. Near-entry 3-gram wind-chasing wolf. Low-level beast bait. The meat is a bit tough. Too much bone, not enough meat. The bones can be used for broth. The soup slightly increases chi concentration. The meat provides a minor sense of fullness. 80 grams of strong liquor. 200 grams of dried chili pepper. 10 grams of bay leaves. Simmer over low heat. Helps the wind-chasing wolf meat retain a hint of wind element insight. Can be absorbed randomly. Review. Hard to swallow. But if you're starving, you can have a taste. The review is still snarky, but it's much better than before. It went from not fit for dogs to hard to swallow. The fire is actually improving. I heat the oil in the pot. In goes the wolf meat. In go the spices. Outside, the beasts are going crazy. Wolves howling, tigers roaring, bears bellowing. They're all looking for me after being toyed with all day. They're holding a grudge. They all want to eat me to vent their rage. But the human has vanished. How could they not be furious? Trees are being knocked over. They're scouring the area. The other contestants are having a miserable time. They wanted to outwork everyone during the night, but instead, they ran into a beast riot. High-level beasts have appeared. Their terrifying auras make people tremble. They hide in the brush, not daring to move or kill. They wail in their hearts. Their scores were already bad enough. Now they're completely screwed. The command room is at a loss. Elder Chen, where did that kid go? The beasts are wild. Who knows how many cameras have been destroyed? Chen Jungshu's expression is strained. What? Are we so broke we can't afford a few cameras? This is an assessment accident. It's because the contingency plan was poor. How can you blame the contestant? Everyone turns red with embarrassment. We didn't know there would be a contestant like him. Jiang Nan thinks to himself. Elder Chen is as protective as ever. I'm lucky I was born into this faction. Finally, the sun comes up. The beasts have calmed down since they couldn't find me. I've eaten my fill. I take a quick nap in the hidden treasure pavilion before sitting up. Time to count the loot. 35 right ears in total. This score should be enough, right? At the very least, I won't be eliminated. But then again, you never know. Since Auntie believes in me, I can't let her down. I catch 5 more wind-chasing wolves. That makes 40. Now I'm set. I just need to eat the wolf meat quickly. Otherwise, it'll go bad. The troubles of the fortunate. I wash my clothes. The smell on them is too delicious. I let out a satisfied burp. I cautiously step out of the swallowing heaven realm. The pursuers are gone. I chuckle to myself. I pick a direction and floor it. Around 10 a.m. The contestants start trickling back. None of them look happy. Lu Baichuan is no exception. This is so freaking annoying. I got absolutely nothing all night. I didn't even dare to move. I didn't even dare to sleep. I was terrified of being ambushed. This night was the biggest welcome to the real world slap I've ever had. How'd you do? Terrible. I'm probably at the bottom. What about you? Sigh. I'm no better. Just what I got during the day. I'm doomed this time. My dad's gonna kill me when I get back. Getting knocked out in the first round is embarrassing. Don't even get me started. I don't know what got into those beasts. Howling all night instead of sleeping. Me too. Amidst the chatter, Lu Baichuan and Li Zimu's expressions softened slightly. If everyone struggled, the rankings might not change that much. They look toward Zhuge Zhengyi and Shu Tianzhao. They wonder how much their true rivals harvested. Looks like almost everyone is here. The assessment team has arrived. Checking the watch. 3 minutes left. Anyone who isn't back on time will be disqualified. Everyone is looking around for someone. Li Zimu is looking for me. A cold smirk on his face. He hasn't returned yet. He's probably not coming back. Lu Baichuan looked puzzled too. His raw strength isn't bad. How could he not make it back? 1 minute remaining. Just as they were about to make the announcement, a loud roar echoed through the air. A young man came charging in on a sputtering motorcycle. He drifted to a sharp stop and leaped off the bike. Li Zimu's pupils constricted in shock. I caught him staring. I picked up my backpack and asked with a grin, "Surprised to see me back?" Li Zimu just huffed. He didn't respond, but I didn't care. I took my place in the crowd. In the middle of the group, the guy I borrowed the motorcycle from was crying inside. Good grief. How is this menace still alive? Others might not know what caused that riot, but surely he does. He looked absolutely resentful. Still, they didn't dare say anything. I'm not someone they want to cross. A few guys eventually shuffled over behind me. They whispered, "Hey boss, how about we roll with you from now on?" Before I could even answer, the head examiner spoke up. "Time's up. We're tallying the results now." The staff blocked the entrance. "Anyone returning after this will receive no score." Only then did I realize I had cut it incredibly close. I felt a bit lucky. If I'd overslept, I would have been screwed. I also heard the 3 guys talking behind me, since they technically donated a bike to me. It felt wrong to ignore them. "What were you guys saying?" They looked at each other and let out a sigh of relief. Turns out, they'd all been robbed by me. The kid with acne in the front repeated, "Boss, let us follow you." I stopped smiling. "Follow me? This is a selection trial. We're all competitors here." They shook their heads. "We mean after we get out of here." "Which academy are you heading to?" "Boss, we heard academies allow students to form combat teams." I finally caught on and chuckled. "Let's focus on getting out first. I don't take weaklings. Now shut it." I was feeling pretty good about myself. Suddenly, the examiner barked at us, making me jump. They were glaring at me, looking absolutely livid. I must have given them a massive amount of extra paperwork, and here I was, still whispering. "One more word and you're disqualified." The area went dead silent. I felt helpless. I could practically feel the waves of anger coming off them, but I didn't even do anything. A few days ago, they were all smiles with me. This guy in front even used his meal card to buy me dinner once. How did the ship of our friendship sink in just 1 day? The results took half an hour to tally. The outcome was shocking. The top spot wasn't mine. It wasn't Shu Tianzhao's. It wasn't Zhuge Zhengyi's. It wasn't Lu Baichuan's either. It wasn't even Li Zimu. It was someone no one had noticed. Shao Qi. 53 kills. First place. The crowd immediately erupted. Who the hell is Shao Qi? Never heard of him. Damn. Is there even a major Shao family in the 13 cities? The assessment team ignored the chatter. They looked toward a dark-skinned, lanky boy in the crowd and said, "Congratulations. Shao Qi, you are ranked first in the initial round. 53 points. Instantly, many people were indignant, especially Lu Baichuan. He was so sure he'd take the top spot, to lose by that much. But no one dared claim it was rigged. That's impossible. When Shao Qi stepped forward, someone gasped, "Crap, it's the mute kid." The mute label immediately piqued everyone's curiosity. Even the examiners had a slight smirk on their faces. This kid is much more impressive than I am. He never stopped for a second in the Forbidden Forest. He hunted beasts one step at a time. Even at night, he was out there hunting bravely. Not just brave, but cautious too. Others were afraid of being surrounded, especially those from good families. The worst that could happen to them was a lower rank. Safety came first for them. If they didn't make the cut, they had other options. But for Shao Qi, this is a rare, life-changing opportunity. He's the top commoner genius of our city. He deserves first place. I'll give it to him. The guy's a total grind lord. The whispers continued. For someone that hardworking, this result seemed fair. Then the second place name was announced. It was actually Su Tianzhao, 48 kills. Third place went to Zhuge Zhengyi with 45. Lu Baichuan's face grew darker by the second. He only had 38. He was already out of the top 3. Once I heard the scores for second and third, I stopped paying attention. I knew my 40 kills would definitely get me in. It was just a matter of where I'd land. This was exactly what I wanted. I didn't want my performance to be too flashy. Little did I know. I was even more flashy than the first place winner, but I didn't expect to be fourth. Man, this score is actually pretty good. Liu Baichuan's face got even darker. Li Zimu looked miserable too. He had one less kill than me. He was far behind. What surprised me, though, was that the 3 guys standing behind me also made it into the top 16. Seeing my skeptical look, they said helplessly, "Boss, we're just a bit weaker than you. We're not actually trash." I didn't expect to be called out like that. I gave an embarrassed laugh. "Stop calling me boss. I'm just an ordinary guy. Just call me Jiang Ping." The 3 of them didn't care about formalities. They immediately started calling me Brother Ping. Liu Beichuan and Li Zimu were green with envy. That son of a bitch already has lackeys. I worked so hard and couldn't get any, so how did he manage it? They were gnashing their teeth in frustration. Those in the top 16, stay behind. I was itching to go home. I was curious. The intensity of this Spark competition seemed a bit low. What kind of talent could they really select this way? The next day, I changed my mind. The top 16 was where the real test began. According to the strategic department's projections, a beast tide will hit the 3rd domain tomorrow. You will be split up and integrated into the 13th city's military. This is where you'll be putting your lives on the line. If you're scared, you can leave now, the examiner said sternly. The 16 of us were in an uproar. We're only in the mortal realm, and we're already facing a beast tide. Liu Baichuan voiced the question everyone had. The examiner remained stern. These are the rules. Stay if you want to participate. Go home if you're afraid. He repeated the same ultimatum. No one could argue with the rules. Make your choice now. Those staying, take one step forward. The group hesitated. Zhao Qi was the first to step out. Su Tianzhao and the others followed immediately. I obviously wasn't going to back down. What did I come here for? Anyway, the assessment team wouldn't just send us to our deaths. Feeling no pressure, I stepped out. Seeing their boss step forward, the 3 lackeys naturally followed. Not a single person out of the 16 withdrew. The examiner finally smiled. This was just the first test. Courage. Someone who dares not face a beast tide has no right to represent the 13th city in battle. Fortunately, you all passed. This step was crucial. The 16 of us realized then that the difficulty of the competition had just skyrocketed. The psychological pressure was immense. Good. Very good. Since you're all staying, then let's continue. The assessment team knows you're all geniuses. Your cultivation is nearly at the peak of the mortal realm. To be safe, we've prepared Spirit Realm Beast Cores for you. Everyone froze. Spirit Realm Cores? No one looked happy. There was only confusion. They all looked toward the assessment team. I was the only one looking confusedly at my new followers. One of them explained, Brother Ping. We all came here for the Spirit Realm, but not for some random, low-grade core like this. We're here for the final reward. Breaking through with an ordinary beast core limits your potential. You'd have to put in massive effort to advance later on. That's why the first high-grade core is so critical, giving us a core of unknown quality now. Isn't that just ruining our future? It finally clicked for me, except for a wild cultivator like me. Everyone else had been preparing for this for a long time, but what I didn't get was why the assessment team was doing this so late. I know what you're worried about, but which is more important, your future or your life? Even if these cores are only profound grade, they're enough to bridge the gap. I agree with the first half of what he said, but the second half? Who would want a profound grade core? We came here for one thing, to be the best, but I didn't really care. If I break through, I'll just eat more to make up for it. Xiao Qi, however, carefully tucked his away. To him, this was a dream he could never have reached on his own. Lu Baichuan and the others looked disdainful. Even Shu Tianzhao and Zhuge Zhengyi didn't hide their contempt. In the command center, the old man pointed at the screen. This kid has a good mindset. Chen Jungshu laughed. He just doesn't know any better. He'd never even heard of this before. The old man shook his head. He heard the explanation, and his expression didn't even change. He's got a strong heart. I'm actually looking forward to his performance. Is the beast tide stable? Not entirely, but we can carve out a testing ground. I'll personally oversee it. We'll let some suitable beasts through, then get to it. We were carried by black-winged eagles and airdropped. This was the front line of the third domain's defense. Our home. Giant trees towered into the sky, blocking out the sun. I ran my hand along a tree trunk. I remembered a grim fact. These trees grew from the corpses of humans and beasts. Beasts are killed only for their essence, blood, and cores. No one cares about the bodies. Frontline soldiers have high resistance to pollution. They don't need protection. It's different inside the city. Ordinary people can't handle it. Any beasts that escape the rift must be incinerated. There are remains everywhere. 99% of them are monster bones. Human comrades are brought back whenever possible. Every soul deserves to return to its roots. I shake off these distracting thoughts. I pull out the map and trace the path from start to finish. The first phase of the mission is simple. Reach the marked point and join a combat squad. Then, take on the second phase. But this time, things feel a bit different. Contestant Jiang Ping, do you copy? Please respond. The transmitter is tilted. I straighten it and respond helplessly. I'm here. I'm here. I can't lose this thing. Losing it means disqualification. It's going to be a headache trying to pull off some side business now. How do I get around this? My eyes dart around as a thought strikes me. There's always a way if you look hard enough. Hee hee. I take a few steps forward and then come to a halt. Damn, there are way too many monsters here. My sense of smell is almost overloaded. The monster tide certainly lives up to its reputation, but I'm actually getting excited. The opportunity is finally here. I slowly draw the long blade from my back. I grip it tight, shifting into a combat stance. 1 step, 2 steps. Suddenly, it's like I've tripped a wire. Howls and wails erupt from up ahead. Over a dozen old friends come charging out. My eyes light up. Smiling moon dogs. I'm practically drooling. I have 3 skills. Sharp Claws, Scent, and a 30% speed boost. Scent and speed are up by 30%. Sharp Claws comes from the iron-tailed eagle's bloodlust. With that empowerment, the power is doubled. Even if I'm only nearing the perfection stage, I can manifest phantom strikes to kill enemies from a distance. Rongjing is something I barely dare to dream of. My scent skill comes from the smiling moon dogs. Too bad I've only ever eaten one. The proficiency is stuck at the mastery stage. Don't even get me started. Skills are divided into 5 stages. Entry, Minor, Mastery, Perfection, and Grandmaster. Each level is a world of difference. The gap is immense. But if I eat them now, once I'm done with these smiling moon dogs, just how powerful will my nose become? Inside the command center, Jiangnan frowns. Director Chen, 10 spirit refined smiling moon dogs at once? I'm afraid he won't be able to hold them off. Chen Jungshu gave a cold laugh. You're underestimating him. He caused such a scene in the first round. You think he's just some amateur. Once he deals with this batch, then in the second and third batches immediately. But that's 50 dogs, including a half-step spirit realm alpha. If he can't win, he can run. If we don't humble him a bit, he'll think he's untouchable. Jiang Nan went silent. This Ping kid really was a bit too much. Facing the 10 laughing moon dogs, I smirked. Here they come. Hey there, beauties. I leaped up, landing on a tree branch 5 meters high. I swung my long blade. The next second, the blood-red sharp claws condensed into a giant hand. It gripped the hilt firmly and swept outward. The 3 leading laughing moon dogs were slaughtered on the spot. Jiang Nan and the others gasped. Holy crap, he's insane. Everyone crowded around the screen. Their faces were full of shock. This is the kid who was causing trouble everywhere in the first round. God, how old is he? He's just a high school senior. He actually managed to train his skill to the perfected level. Is he a genius or just a glutton for punishment? No wonder. No wonder he dared to mess around so much in the first round. Turns out he actually has the skills to back it up. To be able to reach perfected level in a skill while still in high school, that's an automatic ticket into any academy. But because of that, they were curious why I even bothered with the Spark competition. When they opened my file, everyone went silent. Some even felt a bit ashamed. My God, this kid actually grew up in a crematorium. What were his parents thinking? That's just ruining his potential. Jiang Nan already knew the story. He looked at the confident Chen Jungshu. Director Chen, did you already know about Jiang Ping's strength? Chen Jungshu smiled slightly. He is one of our own, after all. Everyone was stunned. After I finished off the first 3 dogs and took a defensive stance, the remaining 7 dogs were enraged. They swarmed me all at once. Glowing orbs began to form in their mouths. My heart tightened. I knew this was the laughing moon dog's greatest trick, their ranged moon disc attack. I dodged and wove through the air. A concentrated burst of fire. The giant tree behind me was blown to splinters. But I wasn't backing down. I swung my blade, and the fierce battle began. 10 minutes later, I stood tall with a smirk. I sheathed my blade after wiping the blood off the edge. Is that all? To be able to take on 10 same-level laughing moon dogs at this age, I was definitely among the elite. Just as I was about to collect the bodies, my eyes nearly popped out of my head. Are you kidding me? Did I just stumble into a whole nest? 50 laughing moon dogs were charging toward me. I didn't have time for the bodies. I turned tail and ran for my life. I didn't have a motorcycle this time. I had to rely on my own 2 legs. Even at top speed, I was barely staying ahead. The human was flying in front, and the dogs were chasing behind. It was a pathetic sight. This had everyone in the command center roaring with laughter. Ha ha ha. This is killing me. The kid looked like he was invincible just a second ago. Now he's running like a stray dog. Ha ha ha. Let's see how he handles this. But he won't actually be in danger, right? Someone looked at Chen Jungshu. Chen Jungshu was also curious. Just where did Jiang Ping's potential end? He watched closely. Everyone, back to your posts. Don't we have other candidates to watch? He then returned to his private office and made a phone call. Hello? Senior brother, there's something I need to tell you. I was in a real bind now. The nearest dog was less than 5 meters away. I could feel their skills whistling past my ears. I kept thinking, I can't take much more of this. If I wasn't carrying this camera, I'd have hidden in the heaven-swallowing secret realm long ago. I instinctively blocked the camera lens. The closest dog had already lunged at me. I cursed under my breath. Screw it, let's do this. The moment we made contact, I pulled the laughing moon dog into the heaven-swallowing secret realm. But I didn't expect the others to get even more frenzied. They chased me even harder. He ran. They chased. Whenever I got the chance, I'd snatch one away, and occasionally strike back. Eventually, the number of dogs began to dwindle. But I was reaching my limit too. I'd run dozens of miles on foot. If it weren't for the chi strengthening my body, I would have collapsed long ago, when there were only 6 or 7 left. A dog with half-red eyes let out a piercing howl. My heart jolted. I'd realized a long time ago that this one was the leader. Feeling its aura, I knew I couldn't win. This thing was at least in the spirit realm. I ran even faster. I didn't even dare to look back. I don't know how many hours I ran, but but I suddenly realized the dogs had stopped chasing. That half-step spirit realm alpha was pacing back and forth. It didn't dare to come any closer. Its eyes were fixed on my direction, but it wouldn't take another step. Seeing they'd given up the chase, I let out a sigh of relief and ran for another 5 or 6 minutes. Then I climbed up a tree. I exhaled sharply. Those bastards are relentless, and their noses are too good. I couldn't shake them off. It's true. Laughing moon dogs have an incredible sense of smell. I couldn't escape. I heard there's a powder to counter it, but I didn't have any. Who would have equipped me with that stuff? But when I looked at the map, I frowned slightly. I stared at it, feeling annoyed. Where the hell am I? The landmarks didn't match anymore. I had no idea where I'd run off to. Suddenly, a earth-shattering roar erupted. The shockwave made my head ring. I instinctively curled up against the tree trunk. My eyes were glued to the source of the sound. I was stunned. 5 people in black uniforms. Military men. They had tiger insignias on their sleeves. They were clashing with a 10-meter-tall giant beast. The 5 of them held their positions, surrounding it. They were all using ranged skills. I was so shocked, my jaw hit the floor. Holy crap. The giant wind beast's scale? Isn't that the giant wind beast's signature move? God, what is that? Flame burst? The molten giant beast's specialty. All 5 of them were using techniques from the cultivator's handbook with total ease. Their proficiency was incredibly high. Most importantly, that giant beast was actually dodging. Skills missed and hit the ground, starting fires. The wind fanned the flames, making them roar even higher. I was too scared to move. I gripped my wrist tightly, ready to jump into the heaven-swallowing secret realm at any moment. The battle was at least a mile away, but I could still feel the scorching heat and the pressure waves. My eyes gleamed with excitement. This is what a real cultivator looks like. Could this be the spirit realm? But a second later, I realized I was wrong. The giant beast went berserk. The aura it released made it impossible for me to even stand. This definitely isn't the spirit realm. The spirit realm couldn't possibly be this powerful. Then it must be the profound realm. I was guessing, but a second later, I was wrong again. As the giant beast resisted, the 5 of them unleashed their ultimate moves. The leader released a suppressive force. Boom. Even from a mile away, I felt like I'd entered a special domain. An indescribable emotion washed over me. Surrender? Obedience? I couldn't tell. Sweat poured down my forehead. My jaw was clenched so tight that my teeth were grinding. A king's domain? I'm going crazy. The king realm. That's the absolute peak. The king realm is something ordinary people never get to see in their entire lives. Now he's standing right in front of me, clear as day. If I weren't struggling to even stand up straight, I'd definitely be beyond excited. The man also frowns slightly. He glances in my direction. Then he goes back to focusing on the giant beast. The pressure on me suddenly lessens. I've really had my eyes open today. I've witnessed a high-level battle. A king-grade battle might not destroy the world, but it's certainly enough to shatter mountains. Just to watch this spectacle, I forced myself to endure the pressure and didn't run. I'm already here. It would be a waste not to see it through to the end. A king-grade battle isn't something you see every day. That giant beast is naturally king-grade too. Otherwise, how could there be 1 king grade and 4 profound grade powerhouses surrounding it? After half an hour, the battle ends. The weapons are lowered. The demon beast is dead. The king grade man breathes a sigh of relief and begins clearing the battlefield. Extract the essence in the inner core. He shifts his body and appears in an instant. He's standing right in front of me. Kid, where did you come from? What are you doing here? I wipe the camera lens. I wipe away my sweat. Big shot. I'm a contestant participating in the assessment. I explain how I ended up running here while being chased by moon-howling dogs. He laughs. You little brat. Is this a place you should be? Your exam is in the outer circle. This is already the inner circle. You're lucky. The king-grade beast's presence scared everything else away. Otherwise, the moment you stepped in, even a rat could have killed you. The weakest things here are all at the fusion grade. I'm stunned. I really was too arrogant, relying on my swallowing heaven's secret realm. I thought if I couldn't win, I could always run. But what if the opponent just stands their ground? They could kill me in a heartbeat. Fear finally starts to sink in. So you finally know how to be afraid. His smile becomes more obvious, especially after he hears my name. Fine. Nothing will be coming back here for the next half day. The demon beasts are gone. We need to go to the inner territory for backup. Here's a map. Get out of here on your own. I take the map. A real strategic map is so much better than mine. Big shot. If I take this, what will you use? Do I look like I need a thing like that? Stop yapping. Get moving. Quickly. I want to leave, and I know it's dangerous, but I can't bear to. I keep looking back with every step. He sees right through me. What? Never seen a king-grade beast before. Want a closer look? I give an embarrassed smile. I really haven't. Curious. He actually picks me up and walks back. Standing beside the beast's corpse, my breathing quickens. Take your look, then get lost. He turns to a man in black. Shunzi, leave a finger for this kid and drill a hole in it. Shunzi chops off a half-meter-long claw. He tosses it over. The man hands it to me. If you want to live, hang this around your neck. It'll at least protect you until you get out. I'm stunned. The half-meter claw is polished and gleaming. Hanging it around my neck, it fits just right. He holds back a laugh and nods. I grip my teeth and put it on. The pressure it gives off is intense. I have to hold it carefully. All right, go ahead and look. We're leaving. Get back to the outer perimeter within 2. He and his men leap away and vanish. I look at the giant beast, practically drooling. I shout, Big shot, what's your name? A voice drifts back from the distance. Surname is Mo. Mo? The old principal's surname is Mo. His son is very successful. Could this be the old principal? Son? But if the son is this powerful, how can the father be so ordinary? I can't figure it out, so I just shake it off. I hold the camera and pretend to examine the beast. 10 minutes later, I turn to block the lens. Whoosh! I pull the corpse into the swallowing heaven's secret realm. My heart is pounding like a drum. A king grade. How powerful will I become after eating this? It was skilled in wind, rain, and sonic waves. It was fast. Even those experts almost couldn't stop its sonic attack. I experienced it too. If I eat this, I'll be unstoppable. No risk, no reward. You can't get rich without a stroke of luck. With this step, I'm going to soar. Others risk their lives just for one king grade inner core to awaken a high-quality ability. But I got the entire corpse. Of course, only I can use it. But that doesn't stop me from knowing I'm about to become a beast. The meat will rot. Only the claws and teeth are useful to others. The third realm isn't afraid of contamination. As usual, I'll take the essence. They aren't worried about me doing anything. What could I possibly do with something this big? Besides, the rule that demon beasts can't be eaten is absolute. I can't wait to enter the secret realm and make a shield, or a king-grade pancake wrap, but I hold back. It's too unsafe here. Old Mo said I must be out within 2 hours. Half an hour has already passed. I retreat quickly. My walking posture is bizarre, with a half-meter claw hanging from my neck. I have to dodge the sharp points. With the map, I finally realize this is the boundary line. No wonder the moon-howling dogs stopped chasing. Those dogs are smart. The moment I step out of the circle, the command center's signal is restored. Jiang Nan is pleasantly surprised. Jiangping has appeared. Chen Zhongshu, calm quickly. My disappearance earlier had scared him half to death. The screen shakes. Once connected, the recording is transmitted back. Everyone falls silent. Jiang Nan mutters, Chen Zhu, this kid is way too bold. If he keeps this up, he's going to get himself killed. That was the inner circle. How did a spirit realm kid dare to go there? Chen Zhongshu remains silent. The footage is intermittent, but clearly shows 50 moon-howling dogs chasing me. That's no small amount of pressure. Staying conscious under a king grade's domain is extremely rare. The idea in his mind begins to take root. Jiang Nan asks, Mo Dui. It seems they know each other. Hasn't Jiang Ping been away for years? Chen Zhongshu's lips curl slightly. Maybe he's seen a photo? Jiang Nan slaps his forehead. That's true. But this kid is lucky. A blessing in disguise. He got to see a great battle. He even took a king grade beast's finger back to forge a profound grade weapon. He won't have to worry about money for weapons anymore. He can't help but feel envious. Weapons made from king grade claws are hard to find even for millions. And he just got it like that. There's even a bit of skin on the finger. With a little work, it could be a pair of gauntlets. The defense would be top-notch. How could anyone not be envious? It's not just Jiang Nan. Everyone else is green with envy too. I've delayed for too long. The sun is almost down. I must find the squad. Otherwise, I'll lose my qualification. Even though I've already secured an entry ticket. Who doesn't want to perform better? The king grade core is useless to me. But I can bring honor to the old principal. He cast aside his pride to beg for this opportunity. I can't let him down. I decided before I came here that even if I'm a connected student, I'll be the toughest one there is. I switch back to the map. I look for the squad's direction, somewhere outside the circle. A 3-man squad is fanning themselves. Boss, why did this crappy job fall on us again? You're not doing so well, are you? Exactly. These young masters are hard to please. If something happens, we're the ones who take the fall. The black-faced leader says coldly. Do you call the shots? Or do I? The two of them immediately fall silent. The one on the left, Shouhao, sighs. Fine, just our luck. I just hope this one isn't a handful. But the black-faced boss doesn't believe it. Experience tells him that the one coming will definitely not be obedient. Rustle, he sees the branches shaking. He's here. Get ready. The two of them immediately scramble up. They pull out their weapons. They're actually using firearms. Old Hay stares at the person carrying that strange object. He frowns and even rubs his eyes. Shouhao, does that thing look like a demon beast's finger? Shouhao looks through the scope. His jaw drops in shock. Boss. It really looks like one. Where did he get a finger that big? Can a spirit realm kid handle a beast like that? Old Hay is speechless. Finally, he grits his teeth. Forget it. Let's test him first. If he really got that himself, the three of us combined won't be a match for him. He can already imagine the scene of them getting beaten up. Aim. I'm walking while supporting the king-grade beast's finger. Every now and then, I swing it around. This finger is useful. No beasts have come near me the whole way, until I catch the scent of humans. Just as I'm about to head over, I suddenly feel a cold wind. Holy crap. I dive out of the way. Damn it, an ambush. Bullets rain down like a storm. Firearms are useless against demon beasts, but they're lethal to someone at the spirit realm like me. After diving behind a thick tree, I almost lost my life. My adrenaline is surging. Thrilling. This is way too thrilling. I realize it instantly. The assessment is to find the squad, but they aren't helpers. They're opponents. This is the test. Heh. Jiangping, right? Hand over your contestant card and we won't hurt you. Hand over the card? I sneer. If I hand it over, I'm out of the race. There's no way I'm accepting that. The command center is also watching me. What do you think this kid will do? I don't think he's afraid. He'll give us a surprise. Stop bragging. This is the real deal. Before the words even finish, a mortar shell drops. My pupils shrink. Holy shit, you're playing for keeps? Fine. I dash out from behind the small tree. My mind is racing. The three men on the high ground are frustrated. That son of a bitch. Don't let me catch you. He's so good at running away, but the second round of clues is on them. If I don't hand over the card and can't beat them, we're at a stalemate. I stare at them. My gaze is firm. You want me to quit? Not a chance. I adjust the camera. I take a deep breath. I set the king grade finger on the ground. It's affecting my performance. I can't put it in the swallowing heaven's secret realm. That thing is on the record. If it disappears, I'm exposed. The high ground is over 10 meters up. There are trees around. It'll be safe once I get to the base. 1 against 3 shouldn't be a problem. The trees are 8 meters apart. The trees in the middle have been cleared. I see. My lips curl slightly. Courage. The courage to face fear. This was designed this way. Either charge through or surrender. But I, Jiang Ping, come from a line of warriors. I charge toward the thicket on the flank. Bullets whiz past my scalp. Thud. I leap past a tree. Jiang Nan's palms are sweating. His face is flushed. Haha, that's the spirit. Life or death. Who cares? If you're not happy, just fight. How can a spark lack the resolve to die? Chen Jungshu smiles. He observes silently. One tree, then another. Every leap is a psychological challenge. Getting hit means disqualification at best, and being crippled at worst. But the more I run, the more excited I get. From being anxious to looking forward to it, I lick my lips. I think I'm starting to like this feeling. Finally, with one last leap, I reach the base of the high ground. The bullets are no longer a threat. I laugh loudly. You bastards, just wait until I get up there. Old Hay and the other two look helpless. They wipe their sweat and rub their wrists. It's over. We can't stop him now. I catch my breath and curse. I throw out a grappling claw. It hooks onto the edge of the high ground. I pull hard. I leap up. No one expected the claw to be used like that. I'm ready for revenge. Damn it. Was all that necessary? You were really trying to kill me. I'm cursing and about to charge, but I see the three of them sitting on ammo crates, smoking. With weary faces, they say to me, "Brother, come on." They quickly put their hands behind their heads and squat. The movement is so synchronized, it looks rehearsed. I'm dumbfounded and furious. I point at them and roar. Get up and fight me. They shake their heads, like rattle drums. We can't fight at all. We're only at the spirit realm at best. We can't compare to a genius like you. I laugh from anger. How can you be so shamelessly honest? I'm so mad I want to beat them up, but they won't even fight back. How am I supposed to hit them? It's like punching a bale of cotton. I'm fuming, but the command center is having a blast. Ha ha ha. This is killing me. These old soldiers really know how to handle a youngster. Someone covers their mouth and laughs. No kidding. These guys are all slick as eels. They're good at everything except cultivation. What can I do? I point at old Hay and the others. Stand up straight. 2 slaps each and we'll call it even. Seeing them look so pitiful, I actually start to feel like I'm being too much. Damn it. I almost got killed by them. And now I feel guilty for wanting to slap them. This is so frustrating. Old Hay gives a sneaky grin. He was right. They obediently give me the information for the second round. It's another map. Start, finish, and one more marker in the middle. He sees my confusion. He whispers. This is the intersection point. You'll meet other contestants there, but only one can continue. He's doing me a favor. Now I feel even worse about hitting them. I wave my hand irritably. Fine, I get it. It's a good thing I have a nice temper. The three of them snicker as they watch me walk away. I take my gear, including that king grade finger. Old Hay asks curiously, what kind of beast finger is that? I huff. It's king grade. Never seen one? Have you? I walk away without looking back. Time is tight. It's late. The starlight is thick over the dense forest. I use the moonlight to find my way, but the piece has vanished. It makes me wonder if the finger is a fake. Then again, it makes sense. No wonder old Mo said I had to be out in 2 hours. A severed finger can't provide deterrence forever. If it worked indefinitely, wouldn't I be invincible? What would be the point of training? If it doesn't work, then so be it. I can clearly feel the level of the demon beast rising. I even catch a whiff of a fusion-grade aura. If I hadn't run fast, I would have been in for a tough fight. Finally, at midnight, I see the intersection point, a marked building. I thought it was a resting place, but I can feel the shockwaves of a battle. Someone's fighting. I cautiously approach. Sure enough, I see someone in a pathetic state. As I watch, I start to enjoy myself. Liu Baichuan. Isn't this the guy who wanted to make me his lackey? He's being besieged by 3 peak spirit realm beasts. He's struggling on his own. I find a tall tree and sit on a branch. I have a clear view, and I'm not drawing any aggro. I'm an expert at this. I smile and pull out some jerky. I start watching with great interest. This absolutely infuriates Liu Baichuan. Normally, he wouldn't be this angry. Encountering beasts during an assessment is normal, but comparison is the thief of joy. He knew he'd meet other contestants here. He purposely took a detour. He was being so careful. But as soon as he arrived, he was surrounded by 3 beasts. Man, he's getting thrashed. Though he's not seriously hurt, it's extremely humiliating. He's a total mess right now. The worst part is, he saw me. From the corner of his eye, he saw me sitting in the tree watching the show, and I'm even eating jerky. He instantly snaps. Damn it, don't just attack me. There's another one up in the tree. I'm not happy about this, Liu Baichuan. We might have our issues, but there's no need to drag me into your mess. I can't help but chuckle after saying that. He's about to blow a fuse. Don't get cocky, Jiang Ping. Wait until I'm done here, then we'll settle this one-on-one. I couldn't care less. I wave him off and take a bite of my jerky. I look completely indifferent. Liu Baichuan, you've got a wicked heart. I want to see how much strength you'll have left in a moment. Oh, right. I heard that on this path, only one person gets to walk out. His heart sinks to his stomach. He's right. He has to be careful. I was so worried about someone stealing my kill that I ended up making the first move myself. After all this exertion, how much energy will I have left? Even if I survive, I'll have no chance against him at full strength. We're both at the threshold stage, but the gap isn't that massive. He gets distracted for a split second. He takes a hit to the shoulder. He grunts in pain. I'm actually a little surprised. Liu Baichuan really does have some skill. I give him a friendly warning. Watch your right. But he's got that stubborn soldier's pride. The moment I say right, he insists on showing off. He doesn't listen and takes another solid hit. Another muffled groan escapes him. I'm just staring in disbelief. I cover my eyes, unable to watch. In the command center, Jiang Nan asks Director Chen, isn't this a bit unfair? Even though he's on my side, he feels like it's just bullying at this point. Chen Jiangshu's brow furrows slightly. Another person laughs. Unfair? This is just the beginning. It's only the appetizer. Jiang Nan's jaw drops. This is just the appetizer? He stares intently at the screen. Just as Liu Baichuan is about to strike down a monster, a high-pitched, piercing beastly howl erupts from behind him. A black-winged eagle, 3 meters long, with an 8-meter wingspan, appears in the sky. Jiang Nan cries out, holy crap. The man from the wrong family laughs. The real show is just getting started. Chen Jiangshu smiles as well. Indeed, the show begins now. The black-winged eagle flaps its wings. A sudden gale surges through the mountains, shattering Liu Baichuan's rhythm. I'm perched in the treetops, equally shocked. What the hell is going on? This is way beyond the expected level. The assessment team usually keeps things within our limits. Something went wrong this time. Below, Liu Baichuan can't handle the pressure. He's swaying, buffeted by the wind. In an instant, tiny lacerations appear all over his body. Blood starts to flow. He screams up at me. Jiangping, stop just watching. Someone's gonna die here. I know I can't just sit back anymore. There's definitely a glitch in this assessment. Jokes aside and bickering aside, I don't drop the ball when things get real. We might have our spats, but we both know we'll likely be teammates in the future. We've never truly crossed the line. Now that his life is on the line, I have to step in. I leap down from the trees. I drop from 4 or 5 meters up, slamming into the ground and leaving a crater. I hold up the king-grade finger and shout to Liu Baichuan. Chuanzi, get over here. I'm hoping to use this to block the wind blades. Liu Baichuan looks at me in utter disbelief. What did he just call me? Chuanzi? Liu Baichuan never expected me to call him that. I see him just standing there frozen. I snap and start cursing. Move it, damn it. You're about to bleed out, you idiot. Only then does Liu Baichuan feel the pain. Blood is pouring from his wounds. He's covered in red in the blink of an eye. He rushes behind me as fast as he can. Together, we hold up that finger bone. The moment he touches it, he realizes something is off. This thing is strange. Wait, don't rush. Stop yapping. Jiangping, you monkey king, think of something. What's this black-winged eagle's secret move? How do we take it down? I know the situation is critical. One wrong move and we're both dead. Think of something? I don't have a damn clue. That thing is at the melding realm. Once you enter the melding realm, it's a whole different world. We're forced back step by step. Before the dust can even settle, the black-winged eagle lunges at us. Its beak snaps down, trying to take a chunk out of us. If it weren't for this finger bone holding it back, we'd be nothing but bloody pulps by now. Damn it. The assessment team went way off script. Is anyone coming to help? But there's no response from the command center. I only hear Chen Jingshu's cold voice. Do they want a future? Or do they want their lives? That's up to them. Since they chose to be fire seeds, they have to make the right choice when it matters most. Anyone without that resolve doesn't deserve the title. They aren't worried about us dying, because we have a way out. Everyone was given a melding realm monster core before the race. You can eat it if you want to live, but who eats it and who doesn't? There's a strategy to it, and it affects the third round scoring. This was never just a simple test of strength. It's a test of character. The assessment team is watching us closely. Some worry that these kids will choose their pride over their lives, but the answer comes quickly. The black-winged eagle seems to be toying with us. It keeps ramping up the pressure, pushing us to our absolute limits. If we weren't somewhat capable, we would have crumbled long ago. Jiangping, you keep this son of a bitch busy. I'm eating the core. Damn it, once I break through to the melding realm, I'll kill him. So what if I lose the king-grade core? I don't give a damn anymore. Suddenly, I realize what's happening. Right? Nobody said we couldn't break through here. The assessment team provided those cores specifically for survival, but no one knows what attribute the core has. If it doesn't match your path, your future prospects will be severely limited. Everyone is aiming for the king grade, but I'm different. I don't rely on that. Instead, I feel like I should be the one to step up. I chuckle. You should save it. You distract him. Wait for me to break through. As I speak, I toss the melding realm monster core straight into my mouth. Liu Baichuan is stunned. Holy crap. Are you throwing your future away? I can afford to swallow it because the Liu family has my back. Worst case, I just start over. It'll just set me back a few years. But you, why? Yet, a wave of warmth surges through his heart. He knows I won't stop now. He stops talking. He can only focus on desperately taunting the beast. Hey, black-winged eagle, look at your grandpa. He picks up a rock and hurls it. The damage is minimal, but the insult is maximum. The eagle is indeed enraged. It lunges toward him. He flees as fast as he can. His vision is getting blurry. He's lost too much blood. Jiangping, Are you done yet? I can't hold on much longer. Right then, I snap my eyes open. Golden light bursts forth. A perfected sharp claw strike flies out. It carves a line through the air, tearing into the beast with a vicious rip. The black-winged eagle shrieks in agony. The strike was incredibly sharp. It's hurting now, and its attention finally shifts to me. I'm shocked myself. The melding realm is too powerful. That claw strike only used 70% of my strength, yet the eagle looks like it took a heavy blow. The sense of connection is even stronger now. Those sharp claws feel like they've become physical. The total amount of chi is staggering. It's like 10 of my past selves combined. Terrifying. No wonder they say the melding realm is transcendent. I mutter to myself. So this is what transcendence feels like. The eagle's hurricane tornado is coming. Before, I could only run. But now, I believe I can split the wind. How? I don't know. I just believe I can. I draw my blade, channeling chi into the cold steel. With a gentle swing, the sky is painted crimson. The tornado is like a physical object, brutally sliced in half like a piece of food. The winds scatter wildly to the sides. Trees are pulverized. He stands there dazed, clutching his wound. How can Jiang Ping's melding realm be this strong? This isn't right. He just entered the melding realm, and he used a profound grade core. How is this possible? In the command center, someone gasps. Shattering Strike. Shattering Strike is an ability only a tiny fraction of people can grasp after reaching the melding realm. There's no pattern to it. It's all down to talent or luck. To be able to break chi with one's own chi. Even those at the king grade can't always achieve it. But he just entered the realm, and he pulled it off on his second move. This defies everything I know. Chen Jungxiu is both shocked and delighted. He actually comprehended Shattering Strike. This means he's already surpassed 90% of those in the same realm. His future is limitless, and his chi is blood red. The volume is incredible. Using a profound grade core to reach king grade levels. He doesn't even want to imagine what a king grade core would have done. Someone sighs. What a waste. This kid is still going to have to take the long way around now. Chen Jungshu just smiles. Jiang Nan asks, "What are you smiling about? This is our own seed. Having to switch paths later is a waste of time." He doesn't answer, instead tossing over a file folder. Everyone rushes to open it. A few words are written on top. Snow Velvet Pill. This. Someone sucks in a breath of cold air. Chen Jungshu finally gives a slight smile. He explains, "This is something that was only recently developed. It allows a person to directly dissolve their original monster core and consume a new one without any side effects. This thing just came out. They're among the first to ever use it. Otherwise, the assessment team wouldn't have set a challenge like this. But that's not even the most impressive part. The most incredible thing is that the potential from the core dissolved by the Snow Velvet Pill doesn't disappear. It stacks. To put it simply, it means the capacity will increase on top of the original foundation rather than just adding the final core's value." As soon as he says this, everyone is stunned. Quite a few people are even secretly regretting their own choices. If only they had waited a bit longer to break through. Maybe they could have caught this wave too. Someone asks, "Elder Chen, do we still have a chance?" Chen Jungshu laughs and scolds them. "Not a damn chance. This thing only works for those who have just entered the melding realm. No luck." Many people are beating their chests in regret. We missed out. They wish they'd been born a few years later. But most people understand. Every generation has its own new systems, and new, better things will always appear. It's precisely because of this that humanity continues to grow stronger. Elder Chen, it's still a pity. If he had swallowed 2 king-grade monster cores, wouldn't he be even more powerful? Even though getting 2 king-grade cores is hard, it's theoretically possible. Chen Jungshu shakes his head slightly. No, the core swallowed afterward must be stronger than the one before it. If your first one is king-grade, then the next one has to be even higher than king-grade. Good heavens. The group can't even fathom it. King grade is already the top tier for the threshold stage. Even the most elite descendants of the great families have to go through hell and back to get something even one level higher. It's practically unthinkable. Everyone looks at Jiang Ping. Knowing this group has truly lucked out with their timing, I'm so envious. After I split the tornado, Liu Beichuan is also shell-shocked. He's speechless. Shattering Strike. I feel like I've just gotten a new toy. I taunt the black-winged eagle. Come on, give me another one. This feeling of absolute suppression is getting a bit addictive. How could the eagle stand for such a provocation? It's reached its limit. Melding realm monsters already possess a certain level of intelligence. It immediately unleashes its ultimate move. But I handle it with ease, almost playing around. Seeing how badass I am, Liu Baichuan is tempted to break through himself. But thinking about his future, he holds back. He's grateful to me, but his teenage pride won't let him apologize just yet. However, it's obvious that the barrier between the two of us has vanished. In the command center, Chen Jungshu decides to turn up the heat. Release 3 more melding realm beasts. The room erupts. People look at Director Chen in disbelief. Don't kill the kid. We finally found such a promising talent. Exactly. They've watched Jiang Ping's journey the whole way. Aside from being a bit mischievous, he's perfect in every other way. More importantly, he's brave enough to make tough calls in a crisis, sacrificing himself to protect his teammates. That's incredibly rare. Only someone like that is fit to be a fire seed. Chen Jungsu speaks again. Proceed. I don't want to repeat myself. 3 more melding realm monsters are released. I was just practicing my moves when I suddenly sense something is wrong. I immediately realize the problem. More enemies. I give a little smile. I was just worrying about having no one to spar with. I actually take the initiative to attack, taking on all 4 monsters at once. My footwork is precise and methodical. I'm moving incredibly fast. I can even hover in midair. At this moment, everyone realizes exactly what kind of core I swallowed. It was a speed-type core. Not only that, but there's a skill involved. Wind-treading steps. Watching me move with such ease, fighting 4 monsters of the same realm, single-handedly, without losing an inch of ground, everyone is completely blown away. Is this really what someone who just entered the melding realm looks like? Chang Luxu breathes a sigh of relief. Jiang Ping really is a genius. He's found a true treasure. No one knows that he was already prepared to send in a rescue team if I couldn't handle it, even if it meant facing criticism. He didn't expect me to hold out, let alone do it so effortlessly. The assessment has actually lost its meaning at this point, because my current strength has already surpassed the other contestants by an entire level. The assessment concludes as I slay the 4 melding realm monsters. I won. Lu Baichuan lost. It ended early. After the monsters are dead, Lu Baichuan clutches his arm and walks over. With a bit of his usual pride, he says, Jiang Ping, thanks. I give a little smile. Am I supposed to say, you're welcome? We both burst out laughing. Though Lu Baichuan's laugh is more of a pained grimace. Jiang Ping, you're good, but I want to know, just how big is the gap between us? God knows how hard it was for someone like Lu Baichuan, who's been pampered and praised since childhood, to say those words. I chuckle. I've seen plenty of people like him. There's no way to compare us right now. I've already entered the melding realm. I'm truly transcendent. You probably couldn't even block one of my moves. That's not a boast. The difference between the melding realm and the threshold stage is night and day. Plus, I can hover in the air now. Lu Baishuan would have a hard time even touching me. Who would have thought? Lu Baishuan makes a move so shocking. It nearly makes my jaw drop. Even the people in the command center are stunned, wondering if the kid has lost his mind. Lu Baishuan suddenly whips out the monster core, provided by the assessment team. He swallows it directly. Then he sits down cross-legged. The last thing he says to me before closing his eyes is, Jiang Ping, don't worry, I'm not competing with you for the spot anymore, but I want to have a real match with you. Otherwise, I'm afraid I'll never get the chance again. He's decisive, bold, and full of courage. I think he's gone crazy. I curse at him. Are you out of your damn mind? The danger is over. Why the hell are you eating the core now? The people in the command center also think Lu Baichuan has lost it. Chen Jingshu, however, looks thoughtful. It seems Lu Baichuan's evaluation needs to be changed again. Lu Baichuan has no idea the snow velvet pill exists. To take such a step, at the very least, his courage is commendable. Of course, it's also a bit impulsive. Others might not understand, but Lu Baichuan knows exactly what he's doing. He's afraid. Truly afraid. He's not afraid of losing to me. He's afraid of losing the chance to ever stand on the same stage and compete with me again. As a genius of the threshold stage, he has his own pride. He's always believed he was a top-tier talent. But after seeing me use shattering strikes so easily, he became lost. His conviction nearly crumbled. A ridiculous thought even crossed his mind. If I don't fight him now, I might never have the chance again. For the first time in his life as a genius, he felt panic. That panic pushed him to make this crazy move. After a long while, Lu Baichuan's aura shifts. He's reached the melding realm. Lu Baichuan experiences this brand new world, feeling the transcendent aura. He finally understands the gap between the threshold and melding realms. He doesn't stop to marvel at it. He stands up and draws his long blade. His eyes are burning as he looks at me. Come on. Let me see what you can really do. Give it everything you've got. Don't hold back. I straighten my posture as well. He's being so solemn that it makes me feel a bit embarrassed about my usual casual attitude. I focus, sensing his aura, but I'm quickly disappointed. Even like this, he doesn't seem all that powerful. I shake my head slightly. Are you sure you want me to go all out? Lu Baichuan's serious face nods firmly. Yes, I want you to treat me as a true opponent. In the command center, everyone is watching this frantic duel between 2 young men, a duel bought at the cost of one's future. But in just a single second, the moment Lu Baichuan makes his move, sighs of disappointment fill the command center. The gap is just too wide. Lu Baichuan is sharp and aggressive. His metal attribute Qi is a lethal weapon, and he's using his best technique. But the very instant he strikes, I move too. I don't even touch my blade. I just give a light flick of my finger. The Qi that belongs solely to Lu Baichuan was suddenly ensnared by a blood-red aura, and then vanished into nothingness. Lu Baichuan stood there, stunned, lost in a daze. Just like that, it was over. In the command room, someone sighed at the massive gap. Barrier breaking is a total cheat code. Qi of the same level simply can't deal any effective damage to me. No. It's hard for them to even get close. It didn't matter how hard Lu Baichuan fought. He was nothing more than a punching bag. I just hope the kid doesn't take it too hard. And that was the reality of it. My barrier breaking ability really is a bug. I can wipe out anyone else's Qi with a wave of my hand, while my own Qi and abilities can run wild without restraint. How is anyone supposed to fight that? They can't, and that's all there is to it. Lu Baichuan stood frozen on the spot. Chen Jingshu gave a slight sigh and said, Go on. The third round is over. Bring them back. Have the counseling office get ready. Give them some comfort. Jiang Nan must have had a brain fart or something, because he blankly asked if Jiang Ping needed counseling too. Chen Jingshu looked at him like he was an idiot. Jiang Ping and Lu Baichuan walked out with the assessment team. Even while sitting on the Black Crimson Eagle, Liu Baichuan didn't utter a single word. He just gripped his blade tightly. I chewed on a blade of wild grass, not daring to say a word. Their assessment was over, but for others, it wasn't finished yet. By the time everything wrapped up, it was already the next day. The fire seed list was finally released. 8 people, including Li Zimu, Xiao Qi, and Shu Tianzhao were both on it. Even the 3 lackeys who wanted to follow me made the cut, but the 8th person's name remained unannounced. Regardless, it was over. Next up is the international competition in December. For now, there are no missions for the winners, aside from me. No one here looked happy. 7 people lay sprawled out on the training grounds. 6 of them were staring at the king grade cores in their hands. Only I sat there chewing grass, thinking, it's just a mysterious grade core. Don't be so depressed. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Xiao Qi chimed in. Yeah, mysterious grade is already pretty good. Li Zimu snorted. What the hell do you know? Mysterious grade is miles away from king grade. He looked at the king grade core, his heart full of despair. He'd fought tooth and nail to get it, but he couldn't even use it. What's the point of having this core? He looked like he wanted to scream it out loud. I let out a cold huff. Li Zimu, if you're not satisfied. He immediately shut his mouth. We all knew the reason why. In the post-assessment sparring, he was the first one I suppressed. The others didn't dare talk back either, simply because they couldn't beat me. Just as the gloom was setting in, Chen Zhengxiu arrived with her team, Fire Seed Squad. Over here, I jogged over. Auntie. I called out, making the others roll their eyes. Others might fear being accused of favoritism, but I made sure to flaunt it. The head of the assessment team, my aunt, she looked both proud and annoyed. She told me to stand aside, while the rest quickly lined up. We were officially the Fire Seed Squad now, likely the weakest generation in history. Others rely on king grade cores to advance, but we only have mysterious grade. She saw right through us and said, I know you're frustrated, but just wait a moment. My heart skipped a beat. Those words sounded like they were going to sting. Sure enough, the others' faces darkened even more. She lightly clapped her hands. A person carrying a silver case stepped forward. Inside, 8 small bottles lay quietly. They had a very traditional, ancient look. This is the latest result of the snow velvet pill. It will allow you to absorb energy without any loss. She explained the effects. The 7 of them were shocked. There's actually a way to do that. Their eyes went wide, like they'd just seen a goddess in the flesh. Only I spoke up to ask, Auntie, there are 8 bottles. So the 8th person has been decided. She nodded with satisfaction. Liu Baichuan made the cut by a narrow margin. Liu Baichuan stepped forward. Everyone turned to look. He walked out with a flushed face. Clearly, his pride had taken a hit. He couldn't beat me, and even Li Zimu had bested him. Li Zimu sneered. Commander Chen, did the Liu family pay for his spot? Liu Baichuan instantly flared up. Li Zimu, are you sick? You want to go? Like I'd be afraid of a loser like you. Chen Zhongshu's face darkened. Li Zimu, watch your attitude. Doubting the fairness of the assessment is a good way to get a beating. Li Zimu snorted coldly. He knew there was no foul play. He just wanted to get under Liu Baichuan's skin. He was sent away, making things easier for Liu Baichuan. How do we use the snow velvet pill? I interrupted him, and he glared at me. You're everywhere, aren't you? The snow velvet pill is a reward and a stroke of luck. You are the very first batch to receive them, so train hard. Her words got everyone's blood pumping. They couldn't wait to rush onto the field and bring glory to the 13 cities. Go to the training rooms. There are guards there. Each person received 1 snow velvet pill and 1 king grade core. Hearts were racing with excitement. Will we be the strongest generation? Everyone was full of hope, and so was I. Who would complain about having too many perks? But just as we got excited, were we being cleared out? The assessment is over. The 3rd session is now closed. Liu Baichuan had just gotten stronger, but he still couldn't even beat Li Zimu. The assessment team announced we'd assemble before December. In the meantime, we could continue our schooling normally and accept invitations from academies. Hearing this was when I truly got excited. This is exactly what I came here for. I clenched my fists tight. Old principal, Mom, Dad, I didn't let you down. My status at the burial ground is finally settled. Before I left, Chen Zhongshu met with me privately. Jiang Ping. Do you want to live a mediocre life, or one that is grand and magnificent? She looked at me and asked seriously. I scratched my head, thinking this question felt like a trap, but I answered anyway. I have one wish, a world without monsters, she shouted. Well said, Jiang Ping. Making that wish come true will be incredibly difficult. Monsters are one side of the coin. People are the other. The 13 cities selection will begin in a year. Do you want to represent South City? Huh? I was completely stunned. I pointed at myself. Auntie, you're not joking with me, are you? I'm only in the harmonious realm. Isn't the selection only for committee members? The highest level of training. She's gone crazy. I'm just a little nobody who can barely afford to eat. A rookie who just started cultivating. Going to the selection. That's strictly for the big shots. Am I even worthy? I really don't know. How could Chen Zhongshu even have such an idea? Chen Zhongshu had long expected me to react this way. She smiled and said, Don't doubt yourself. It's you. I hadn't thought about it before either, but after seeing your performance, I know you have a chance. Jiangping South City has been suppressed for too long, and we are desperately lacking a genius. Someone to let everyone know that the 13 cities still include South City. Are you, Jiangping, willing to become that genius? To the 13 cities, to all of humanity, will you let South City's voice be heard? Do you have the guts? Those words struck right at my heart, but I still couldn't believe it. I asked with difficulty, Auntie, where exactly do you see this potential in me? South City has been suppressed for years. I know it's not intentional bullying. It's just that no one has stepped up. Being marginalized is only natural. We're still part of the 13 cities, but our strength and influence have long since withered. She didn't answer. Instead, she asked, do you know South City's original name? Of course I do. South City is just the common name. The official name is Lihuo City. She nodded with satisfaction. That's right. Lihuo City symbolizes the unyielding flame, the rebirth of the phoenix, existing forever. That is the true South City. But now, that name is almost forgotten. Will it even remain among the 13 cities in the future? Jiangping, think carefully about your answer. There's no rush. We'll talk again after the Fire Seed competition results are out, she said before leaving me there in a daze. Today was just too much of a shock. It's like in a time of peace. Someone suddenly asks if you want to be the president. I suddenly remembered a certain actor who actually became president. Thinking of that, I laughed to myself. Forget it. That's too far off. I should just focus on myself for now. Thinking about stuff like that right after finally getting a full meal is a bit much. Jiang Nan dropped me off back at school. After we parted, I quietly headed home. My parents weren't there. I went into my bedroom and opened the heaven-swallowing secret realm. Right now, the most urgent thing isn't making a choice. It's something else entirely. Ever since I got that king-grade meat, I haven't dared to enter the secret realm recklessly. I don't know if the headquarters has some way of tracking me, so I had to hold back. But I really can't wait any longer. This is my biggest trump card. After entering, I walked over to that mountain of flesh and blood. It was still fresh. I couldn't help but marvel at how well king-grade monsters stay preserved. I gave it a sniff. No smell at all. That's when I opened the food and medicine manual. It suddenly erupted with a brilliant light. My heart jolted. This had never happened before. Yellow-spined earth-rending tiger. The loin meat is tender and soft. Plenty of meat, few bones. The entire body can be utilized. The heart and liver should be braised. The tiger's penis should be soaked in wine. The meat can be fried, sautéed, or roasted. With the perfect ingredients, it can drastically enhance the constitution. Low-level recipes will diminish the effects. Rating: acceptable. I was stunned. Before, for minor monsters, the manual was incredibly stingy with words. But this time, it seriously listed out the cooking methods. It even wrote down all the necessary ingredients. The treatment was completely different, but once I looked at the materials, I got a massive headache. Mysterious grade, heavenly blessing, Saorongji, Han Di Kong. All of them are things I can't afford. Forget it. I'll just stew a pot first and see if I can get a skill from it. I boiled the water and sliced the meat. I cut off a huge chunk, but what was I supposed to do with the rest? The meat hadn't spoiled yet, but who knows how long it would last. Just as I was worrying, the food and medicine manual suddenly gave a prompt. Share half of the earth-rending tiger meat to obtain 10 cubic meters of cold storage space. There's a feature like that? This is perfect. Losing half is better than letting it all go bad. The choice wasn't hard. I decided right then and there. I pointed the manual at half of the tiger meat, and it vanished instantly. Amazing. I put away the rest, and the meat in the pot slowly began to soften. Even though I was using the recipe for iron-tailed eagle, the aroma still made my mouth water. I wondered what the effect would be. I picked up a piece. It went down smooth. Delicious. And then, a thought popped into my head. A golden halo began to break apart, reorganizing, breaking down again, and recombining until I saw it clearly. Then it vanished. The moment I opened my eyes, I understood this was the earth-rending tiger's skill, but I hadn't even used it before. Whatever. I tried to arrange my chi according to the memory. The halo suddenly appeared, and the moment it did, I felt a change. My skin felt tighter, and my chi was flowing much faster. What exactly does this halo do? King-grade monsters. They don't teach this at school, and I've never seen it. I could only experiment. My defense has tripled. From 1 to 3, a threefold increase. Are you kidding me? Combined with my barrier-breaking ability, who could possibly be my match at the same level? The speed of my chi mobilization has also doubled. It's like a phone with more RAM. The whole system just runs smoother. This skill directly raises my ceiling. Stability and reaction speed. This is practically a god-tier skill. I couldn't help but think, if one piece makes me this strong, what if I eat more? However, I didn't notice that my halo was blood red. While the earth-rending tigers had been golden, the moment the halo lit up, a crack appeared on the crystal coffin in the scripture library's catacombs. The lips of the woman in red moved slightly. Having eaten and drunk my fill, I didn't gain any more new skills. But I wasn't disappointed at all. This one alone is enough to keep me going for a while. There's still half a tiger left, plus the heart, liver, and intestines. I'll get more out of it sooner or later. After eating, I felt my RAM increase again, merging into my cultivation. Solid as a rock. My current method isn't quite right. If I did it properly, I can't even imagine the results. I'm desperate to find those supplementary ingredients now. I lay on my bed feeling great, and before I knew it, I fell asleep. When I woke up, it was to my mother's voice, seeing me back. They hugged me excitedly. Son, is it settled? There was a hint of anxiety hidden in their excitement. I become the captain of the 13 cities Fire Seed squad. Jiang Ping looked at Yao Yujing and said nonchalantly, Who do you think my parents are? Of course, it was a piece of cake. The academy's admission notice should arrive in a couple of days. Right now, my only worry is which one to choose. Yao Yujing immediately hugged me, but Jiang Wanli looked a bit confused. Admission notice. Weren't you just going to get a qualification? Where is an admission notice coming from? Standing before you is the captain of the 13 cities Fire Seed Squad, Jiang Ping. If even I don't have the right to get a direct admission, then which student in this generation does? Their eyes went wide. Son, what are you saying? You don't have a fever, do you? Why are you talking nonsense? I was so frustrated. I've been waiting to show off for so long. What's with that reaction? It's true. Everything I said is true. If you don't believe me, you can ask Auntie Shang Shang. You mean Jiangxiu? Jiang Wanli touched my forehead. Where am I supposed to ask her? We haven't been in touch for so many years. Oh, right, son. Did Jungshu take care of you? Even though they were skeptical, they knew I wouldn't lie about something serious. I pulled out my special phone. I have her number right here. I'll call her and you can ask for yourselves. Hello. Is this little Ping? Is something wrong? I gave her a wry smile. Auntie, I told my parents I became the Fire Seed Squad captain, but they don't believe me. Can you vouch for me? Okay, I'll vouch for you. I handed the phone over. Yao Yujing took it. Her voice became very soft, with a polite smile. Hello, is this Jungshu? I watched this scene unfold. Seeing my parents bow their heads to others for my sake, it didn't feel good. Even if the person on the other end was family, it wasn't right. If I really am chosen, can they finally stand tall and speak with their backs straight? Will people point at them and say, oh, that's Jiang Ping's mother. You really know how to raise a child. Until Yao Yujing hung up the phone. She looked at me with a complex expression. Ping, you really did become the captain of the Fire Seed Squad. Jiang Wanli also looked at me expectantly. Yeah, I'm the captain. Though the others don't really respect me yet, but I'll make them respect me later on. Aren't you proud of your son? He patted my head. He didn't ask how I got the position. He knew without asking that it couldn't have been easy. That's the Fire Seed Squad, after all. Only then did he realize I had already reached the harmonious realm. In such a short time, from no cultivation to harmonious realm to captain, how much effort must have been put in behind the scenes. Jiang Wanli turned his back to us. His whole body was trembling. Mom, what's wrong with him? Your dad participated in the selection back then too. He was sent back after just one round. Seeing you succeed, he's just having a moment. I nodded, feeling a bit awkward. Then I got curious. Mom, is there some special history between you guys and Auntie Jungshu? The atmosphere suddenly shifted. I felt a chill down my spine. Even in the harmonious realm, I'm still afraid of her feathered duster. That's ancient history. Ask your father about it later. Her tone was flat. Son, what do you want to eat? You must not have eaten or slept well. Being away for so many days. I'm starving. She gave a faint smile, and we had a happy meal together. I didn't mention the future, and they didn't ask. After eating, I called out, Mom, I'm going to wait for Lanlin to get out of school. I'll eat at the meeting place tonight. Got it. I'm already in the harmonious realm, and with the wind step boost, I reached the school in just 3 minutes, thinking to myself, hey, if I learn chi shield and levitation, I'll really turn heads walking down the street. But just as I was daydreaming, I was intercepted. A man in a half-black, half-blue uniform stood before me with 2 others. Looking grim. Little Ping, you just got back and you're already causing trouble. I turned around and immediately flashed a smile. Oh, if it isn't my Uncle Me. Are you on patrol today? I've been on my best behavior. No fighting, no trouble. You little brat, even lying to kids. Lily said you tricked him. He's been crying for days. If you don't make it up to him, see how I deal with you. I felt a headache coming and slapped my forehead. I did find that book Lele wanted, but I haven't delivered it yet. I already took the money. It's a surprise. He's my buddy from elementary school, and the man in front of me is his dad, the head of security for this area. I quickly apologized. Uncle Me. I promise. I definitely won't let Lily cry tomorrow. Then I hurriedly shouted, oh man, I'm going to be late. Can't talk now, Uncle Me. And I bolted. That's the one bad thing about South City. I'm just too famous. If I don't do something perfectly, parents come looking for me. Uncle Me watched my retreating figure. He cursed with a laugh, calling him a little rascal. Only the 2 men following behind were a bit curious. Boss, didn't we come here to investigate the disturbance? The one who showed off such high-level cultivation. Why didn't you arrest him when you saw him? How old is that kid? 17 or 18? Maybe 20? The secretary flicked his forehead. You already know, so why ask? He's reached the fusion stage at such a young age. Do you have any idea what his future holds? And let me tell you something else. That kid couldn't even cultivate before. Besides, we're all acquaintances. He left it at that and turned to walk away, leaving the young man standing there in a daze. I strolled over to the school gate. I gave the security guard a nod, and then I headed right in. If it were anyone else, they'd definitely be interrogated. But for this guy, please, everyone knows the deal. I checked the time. There was still a while before school let out. I headed straight for the old principal's office. I had to check in first and let him know my results, compared to Jiang Wanli and the other guy. The old principal was surprisingly quick to accept it. He just casually asked if I had anything else to say. I got the hint immediately he was kicking me out. He's so calm about this. Chen Jungshu must have tipped him off already. I got the hell out of there. Before I left, I handed him Wang Ji's finger. I asked him to take care of it for me. I can't handle something like this on my own. I didn't go to class. I just hung out at the school gate. I sat in the security room, shooting the breeze with the guard. Finally, the school bell rang. I saw Dongfang Lan coming out the gate with her weapon on her back. Figure it out yourself, Lan. He was beaming with joy. She had been so worried lately. Not for herself, but for my future. If I hadn't qualified, she wouldn't have known how to comfort me. But seeing my smug expression, she knew. It must have been a success. Just as I was about to walk over, I was pushed aside by a crowd. Xiao Huang and the others stared at me, eyes wide. Holy crap, Brother Ping, you're back. Sister Lan said you went to forge your own future. How'd it go? Brother Ping, life without you has been so dull. Teacher Bai has been focusing all her energy on us. We're suffering. Yeah, thank goodness you're back. Finally, someone to share the burden. I was actually touched for a second. My face instantly soured. Get lost. Beat it, all of you. Expecting me to share your burden. Keep dreaming. Let me tell you, standing before you is Jiang Ping, a prospective academy student. From now on, I'm done with classes. Ha ha ha. Everyone stared at me in shock. Xiao Huang leaned in and asked seriously, Brother Ping, you really made it? I nodded coolly, looking like a total boss. The next second, they erupted in cheers. Awesome. So cool. Brother Ping, which academy? Quick. Tell us everything. The group of teenagers chattered away. They followed me out of the school like I was a superstar. Dongfang Lan followed slowly behind. A smile played on her lips. Once the crowd dispersed, everyone headed home. Only the two of us heading the same way were left to talk. You really did it? I gave a smug grin. You bet. I used to be the one protecting you. But once you're at the academy, forget it. I'm afraid I won't be able to write your name on the bulletin board anymore. It's for real. Just watch me. We'd grown up together since we were kids. We spoke to each other without any filters. He smiled faintly. The academy is full of geniuses who will become elites. Once you're there, stay out of trouble and focus on cultivation. You finally have the chance to cultivate. Don't waste it. I felt like he was underestimating me. I didn't say anything. Just you wait. When the day comes for me to enter the academy, and countless geniuses welcome their captain back, you'll see exactly what level Jiang Ping is at. If I don't blow your mind, I'll write my name backward. We chatted and laughed. Suddenly, he asked, by the way, Li Zimu left right after you did. You didn't run into him, did you? He looked at me with a knowing smile. I held up my hand. I pinched my thumb and forefinger together. I've got him right here. He remembered the past. He huffed playfully. You're such a brat. I quickly explained that he really didn't need to worry about me. After walking him home, I didn't stay for dinner. I had other things to take care of. The only reason I told my parents I was eating there was to put their minds at ease. If you know, you know. I turned and headed to Old John's Chinese medicine shop. As soon as I walked in, I saw him seeing a patient. Old John, with his mixed-race features, was seriously taking the patient's pulse. I had to admit, he looked the part. I didn't disturb him. Instead, I wandered around the shop. After a while, he handed the patient their medicine and sat down for a drink of water. Only then did he look at me. Haven't seen you in a while, kid. I thought you'd gotten yourself arrested or something. Uncle John, what kind of thing is that to say? Do I look like that kind of person? I'm actually here to ask you about something today. I heard that back in the day. You were a Taj student in pharmacy at the academy. His eyes widened, showing the whites. He reached out and patted my shoulder. I was, but I didn't graduate. I dropped out. Otherwise, why would I be stuck here wasting my life? I didn't really care whether he graduated or not. Uncle John, you should know about cloud mist grass, right? I asked tentatively. Cloud mist grass was an ingredient for stewing tiger meat. It was also the most accessible material for me right now. Looking at those high-level materials, there was just no way I could get my hands on them. And high school textbooks didn't cover this kind of knowledge at all. Surprise flashed in Old John's eyes. Cloud mist grass. That's a material for the fusion realm. Where did a kid like you hear about that? I have my ways, I said with a chuckle. Don't worry about that. It looks like you do know about it. Quick, tell me where I can find it. And how do I harvest it? Is there anything I should watch out for? The field of pharmacy emerged along with the rifts. It started when a cultivator saw a spirit beast eating grass and discovered it could speed up the flow of qi. Once that went public, it caused a massive stir. Slowly, it evolved into the study of pharmacy. Every herb has a specific harvesting method to preserve its medicinal properties to the fullest. I couldn't access any of that yet. I had a clear plan. There was less than a month until the academy entrance exams. I couldn't keep wasting my days at school. So, what should I do? Get the ingredients for that stew. Of course, the academy exams are held every July. It's similar to the old society, except there are no summer or winter breaks. 7 days after the exam, once the results are out, students prepare for enrollment based on the distance. Sometimes, I really envy the students from the old days. It must be nice to have summer and winter breaks. That's something I've never experienced in my life. I can't even imagine what it would feel like to just play for 2 whole months. Seeing my nonchalant attitude, Old John studied me carefully. He looked me up and down. His eyes grew wider the more he looked. Finally, he circled around me and looked at me in shock. Kid, you can cultivate now? I was a bit speechless. I'm practically a celebrity around here. How are you just finding out? But I knew. My fame was mostly limited to parents who had kids in school. I nodded. Yeah, I can cultivate. You've got a good eye. He even put on his reading glasses. Finally, he made a startling discovery. The chi surrounding you is incredibly dense. You don't look like a beginner at all. No. How is this possible? I didn't let him keep staring. I was afraid his worldview might collapse. Besides, my realm wasn't a secret anyway. I'm in the fusion realm, Uncle John. Those words were like a critical hit. He trembled as he spoke. How old are you again? Fusion realm? Stop bullshitting me. He completely lost his cool. Not everyone can just sense someone else's realm. I could tell back then, because once someone uses their skills in battle, it becomes obvious. But if they don't make a move, only someone at a much higher realm can get a general sense of it. I finally managed to show off successfully. I just didn't expect it to be with old John. I said nonchalantly, you know how it is. Don't go prying into the business of geniuses. Let's get back to the cloud mist grass. For once, he didn't snap back at me. Instead, he gave me a serious look. Fine. Old John pulled out a book. It was an old, dusty volume. When he tossed it to me, the dust made me cough. I quickly activated my chi shield to swat the dust away. He rolled his eyes at me. This book has the info on cloud mist grass you're looking for. Give it back when you're done. I can't believe you still keep this stuff. He glared at me. Don't you dare throw it away. Open your eyes and look closely. I wiped the cover clean. A few words were revealed. Cultivator. Academy General Textbook. 3rd edition. The 9th edition is already out. Why is he still keeping this piece of junk? But I knew if I actually threw it away, I'd be in trouble. The version might be old, but the location and harvesting methods for cloud mist grass haven't changed. I nodded. Thanks, Uncle John. I turned to leave. I didn't feel like begging the principal anymore. Why waste my breath? I went home, hopped over the wall, and locked the front door. I pulled the curtains back just enough to let a sliver of light in. Then I quickly closed them again. I went to my room and turned on the light. I went straight to the end of the book. I searched through the pages. Cloud mist grass grows abundantly in stable rift spaces. Recommended. Charming City, Rift 883. Must search manually. Guardian spirit beasts will be present. The instructions were clear and easy to understand. As expected of an official textbook. Satisfied, I closed the book. School was useless to me now. I want to head over to Charming City for a bit. Can I get some travel money? Early the next morning, I spoke to my mom. Where are you going? Yao Yujing looked up at me. You made a little friend there? Eating and drinking on someone else's dime in Charming City. Don't you feel embarrassed? She frowned. I muttered to myself, I saved his life. What's wrong with a few meals? All our family's money was drained because of my previous illness. I need to make money and gather cloud mist grass. This 10,000 was meant for your essence blood. Consider it a reward now. She put down her bowl and handed me a stack of cash. I took it, my heart full of mixed emotions. Thanks, Mom. I'll pack your things for you. She smiled, tucking a strand of hair back. I quickly refused. With the heaven-devouring secret realm in hand, if I let her pack, she'd probably try to pack the whole house. I called Dongfang Lan. It was an 800-kilometer trip. Those in the fusion realm can fly, but the rifts outside are too chaotic and dangerous. Without a flying mount, I had to take the intercity rail. It's the official line for the 13 cities, used by ordinary people. Driving myself was too expensive. I couldn't afford it. The station was packed with people. I used my student ID to get a half-price ticket. Actually, I could have gotten a free pass, but my fire seed card was just gathering dust in my secret realm. I haven't even done anything yet. How could I have the nerve to use the VIP lane? Less than 400 credits to get to Charming City. I sat down for a nap. The lady sitting opposite me smiled and asked, Going to school, little brother? Who goes to school at a time like this? I just nodded. Whatever you say. 7 hours later I arrived. I headed straight for Rift 883. I was so eager, but the quota is full, the registration desk told me. What? I need an appointment just to enter a rift, and this is supposed to be a zero-risk one. It's normal for old rifts to be popular. The staff member smiled. The earliest opening is in 7 days. I froze. I sat in the lobby, debating whether to pull out my fire seed card. Suddenly, I heard a surprised voice. Jiang Ping? I looked up. It was Shu Tianzhao. Short hair, sharp look. She had an intimidating aura. 2 bodyguards in black followed behind her. Tianzhao. What a coincidence. I nodded awkwardly. You didn't go home? What are you doing in Charming City? I heard Rift 883 is safe. I came to broaden my horizons. I was just repeating what I'd heard. I even used the same words. Then why are you sitting here? I came too late to get in. The next opening is a week away. It was a wasted trip. I gave a bitter smile. What's going on? Miss, the priority slots for ordinary rifts are only for the children of great families. It's to honor their ancestors' contributions. Ordinary people have to sign up, pay, and wait in line. My name is Jiang Ping. It's normal that no one in the 13 cities has heard of it. I'm just an ordinary guy. You wait out here today. Jiang Ping will take your place and come in with me. Miss, I'm supposed to. Shu Tianzhao suddenly spoke up. Miss, I need to protect you. With him around, I'm safer than with you. I looked at her. She'd solved the problem so effortlessly. My heart sank a little. So power really can make things happen instantly. But then I thought about it. The old principal's phone call, Chen Jungshu's help. Those were privileges too. Back then, I was actually quite happy about it. I suddenly realized I didn't hate privilege. I just hated that I didn't have it. In that moment, I saw the world for what it was. She didn't want to repeat herself. What's wrong? Nothing. Thank you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to get in. See you later. If you need anything, just say the word. The savior of South City made another promise. She gave a soft, maybe she really would need it. I set off toward the valley. It was about a dozen miles away. I circulated my chi. I activated wind walking and hovered 10 meters in the air. Someone scoffed. Young people love to show off. He'll regret it once his chi runs out. You guys don't know Jack. With a light grade inner core and a mysterious grade technique, I can easily go for 100 miles. After eating so much high-quality food, traveling like this is a breeze. With 2 layers of chi shields protecting me, I vanished in a flash. 20 minutes later, I reached the valley. It was lush and green, but my nose twitched. There were 7 or 8 fusion realm spirit beasts within 500 meters. I drew my blade. I was short on cash. A bottle of fusion realm essence blood starts at 100,000 credits. I threw a stone to lure them out, and a spotted leopard pounced. My eyes lit up. Come to Papa, little kitty. It roared, and its spots flew out like projectiles. It gave me a start, but I didn't panic. I sidestepped and swung my blade, breaking its momentum. Its power dissipated instantly. Heh, my turn. I charged forward with a lethal strike, aiming straight for the head. One move. It was dazed. I was too fast. It didn't even have time to block. It raised its right front paw. It was as hard as crystal. The next second, the paw was severed. Its pride was shattered. A flash of blade light, and its head split open. One less arrogant leopard in the world. I let out a long howl to the sky. Took down a fusion realm beast in 2 moves. My weakness has become my strength. Wind walking is truly incredible. This battle scared off the surrounding beasts. But how could I let them go? They're all walking piles of cash. The tables have turned. I became a butcher. One strike after another. I slaughtered all 10 or so spirit beasts. I stood there, hands on my hips, laughing. I pulled out 10 bottles. The Jiang family's secret specially for essence blood. I hung them from the trees and sliced open their chests. The essence blood gushed out. Drip. Drip. I didn't waste a single drop. My technique was practiced. I'd learned this during the hard times. 10 carcasses hung from the trees like skewers. To an outsider, it would look bizarre. This wasn't a standard procedure. It was a secret technique from the crematorium lineage. Haha. The last drop of essence blood was bottled. I capped it and put it away. I looked at the pile of carcasses and grinned. The claws are worth money too. Iron-footed centipedes. Even the lions can be sold. Not to mention the meat. I'll just eat it myself. I muttered to myself as I worked. I don't have time to process them all now. I'll just store them for now. Even a scavenger would have to say. You're one ruthless guy. Not wasting a single bit. I continued my search. Suddenly, a half-meter tall plant stood out among the weeds. It was so prominent. Cloud mist grass. I was overjoyed. I actually found it. Just as I was about to dig it up, I heard a laugh. Kid. You've got some nerve, trying to steal from us. I turned around to see several burly men approaching. The one with the horse face was wearing black leather armor. A dagger was tucked into his waist. The others were dressed similarly. They looked professional. A typical setup for a freelance team. There are too many spirit beasts. Graduates have to make a living somehow. That's how this profession was born. They were likely hunters. The kind who live life on the edge. But I just looked at them. Does it have your name on it? This vibe was very familiar. All thugs are the same. Listen to what I say, and that's that. This cloud mist grass is ours. Now beat it. Getting beaten up isn't worth it. I laughed in spite of myself. Wow, you're robbing me and I'm supposed to thank you? And if I don't leave, I guess I won't be able to avoid that beating. That's for damn sure. You look like a student. It's our duty to show you how cruel the world can be. Now move it. I breathed a sigh of relief. These guys only rob, they don't kill. My lips curled into a smirk. Well, thanks for that. As I spoke, I activated my chi shield and wind walking. I drew my blade. I swung, unleashing a blood-red light. They were all stunned. They didn't expect me to be so decisive. Kneel. Let's see how much power this brat actually has. Before he could finish, boom, he was gone. His lackeys were terrified. Boss. Holy crap. Where'd my big boss go? They glared at me. Horseface was pinned against a tree. Ugh. Don't move. The lackeys finally noticed him. They were shocked by the human-shaped dent in the tree. Boss, are you okay? He wanted to slap himself. He thought I was just some naive student. He didn't expect a monster. Kid, I was wrong. He shouted, his face dark. I was a bit taken aback. I've been in plenty of fights, but I've never seen someone give up so fast. You're not even going to try and fight back. He shook his head like a rattle. Fight back? Hell no. We're not even in the same league. Better to just give up early. You have to be flexible to survive on the streets. He was the only one from his group who was still alive. His philosophy was to surrender quickly. Even if he could win, he didn't look for trouble. He was only in it for the money. Kid, I was wrong. Really wrong. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. People are so complicated. I hadn't planned on killing them anyway. He didn't have any killing intent toward me either. But while I'd spare his life, he still had to pay. I'll let you go, but hand over everything valuable, and harvest that cloud mist grass for me. He immediately dropped to his knees. You got it, we understand. They threw down their leather armor and everything of value. I sorted through the pile. I took their loot. There were already 3 or 5 stalks of cloud mist grass. What a coincidence. I took the harvested grass. I waved them off. Now get lost. He and his lackeys scrambled away. I whistled. I packed my things and continued searching for more grass. By the end of the day, I'd gathered quite a lot. A large amount of cloud mist grass was now in the heaven-devouring secret realm. This rift is a gold mine. It's been so good to me. When I got hungry, I went into the realm to eat meat. I had more meat than I could finish. I drove all the live spirit beasts I'd caught to the back mountain to save for later. I was going for a sustainable approach. Looking at the bundles of cloud mist grass, an idea struck me. With this much, could I transplant it? It can't be grown in the normal world. But the heaven-devouring secret realm is a rift space. I felt a surge of excitement. If this actually works, I'll never run out of cloud mist grass for my stew. I used a pen and paper to start planning inside the realm. A plan to enrich my food supply. I'll call it the one basket plan. I just need to clear some land. I'd already learned about planting. There aren't many rules in the wild. I'd planted garlic bulbs before. Clearing the land was the most painful part. It was so easy when I was burning it all down. Now it's just exhausting. With the triple time flow, I'm not worried about the delay. I only cleared enough space to plant what I had. I took my shovel and planted them one by one. Finished in 3 hours. Only an hour has passed in the outside world. Looking at this lush green field, I feel a real sense of accomplishment. As long as I can keep this up, I'll finally have all the cloud mist grass I could ever want. Time to look for the next opportunity. I wonder when I'll get to hunt live spirit beasts for more cloud mist grass. I was completely absorbed in my work, until it was almost dark. Suddenly I heard a piercing scream. I looked up and levitated into the air. Gazing into the distance, I saw a scene that made my blood boil. Shu Tianzhao and her bodyguards were being surrounded by over a dozen people. It was a chaotic, blinding mess. I couldn't believe my eyes. Isn't she from a powerful family? Who would dare lay a finger on her? Young mistress of the Su family, give up your resistance. It'll make things easier for you. You better prepare yourself. The Su family's wrath is not something you can handle. He wasn't bluffing. If she dies here, a lot of people are going to the grave with her. I'm going to kill you. I heard you're the most promising talent in the Shu family. How about a prodigy like you bears my child? Her face was filled with horror. These people are absolutely insane. It would be better to just kill her. If the Shu family's eldest daughter bore a child for some nobody, he didn't dare imagine how furious the Shu family would be. She wouldn't even be the family's pride anymore. Stop fighting. I'll take real good care of you. Ning Xiao sneered. Haha. Boss, I'm second in line. No, I'm second. You're nothing. Shu Tianzhao was consumed by rage. Her expression turned grim. These thugs want to destroy her. They want to bring shame upon the entire Shu family. Who would have thought that Shu Tianzhao, out for a simple training session, would be targeted like this? Glory level rifts are strictly regulated. Anyone above the glory realm isn't allowed to enter, but there are always smugglers who find a way in. Shu Tianzhao's long blade flashed. A head rolled onto the ground. Immediately after, the boost from Wang Ji and the profound core took effect. Shu Tianzhao shouted as her green steel wheel blades spun wildly. Her aura tore through the encirclement. Anyone who got close was instantly killed. She cut down 4 people in a row. Exhausted, her blade fell to the ground. Shu Tianzhao gasped for air. That last strike took everything she had. The leader was livid. Shu Tianzhao, you killed my brothers. Fine, fine. For a girl who just entered the glory realm, to kill 5 of my men, who were all half-step profound realm. You should be proud. He finally began to take her seriously. It was unexpected that she could kill half-step profound realm experts so easily. It was truly beyond his calculations. If he hadn't come prepared with backup, he might not have been able to keep her here. The bodyguard shouted, well done, young mistress. Get back. I'll self-detonate to hold them off. Shu Tianzhao didn't move. Abandoning a comrade was something she could never do. She forced herself to stay upright, refusing to collapse. Shu Tianzhao cursed her own weakness, wishing she had trained harder. If only she were a bit stronger. Haha. Shu Tianzhao. That strike. The backlash must be severe. The leader decided to step in personally. Let's end this quickly. A golden light shielded his body. He gripped his blade with both hands and dropped into a low stance. Shu Tianzhao laughed. I was wondering who it was. Turns out it's just a brat from the Sakura Alliance. I'm exhausted, but just seeing your face makes me want to kill you. I can still fight. He's acting so damn high and mighty. Ning Xiao, is it? Then witness the power of my heavenly war one-sword style. Go! Shu Tianzhao charged forward. She had no blade in hand. She was channeling her energy into her bare fist. Right at that moment, a voice echoed calmly through the air. Let me see. Which bastard is it this time? Bullying my subordinate? The barrier was torn open. A figure landed steadily in front of me. He brushed off his sleeve. Glancing at the enemy with a cool, cocky tilt of his head, it was Jiang Ping. A flash of joy crossed her eyes. He's here. I'm saved. But she immediately shouted, run. You can't beat them. They're all half-step profound realm. I only managed to kill a few by using a forbidden technique. Go back and tell my father that the Sakura Alliance killed me. I closed my eyes in frustration. Seriously, lady, can you at least let me finish my cool line? I sighed. Don't you want to tell your father yourself? She froze. Is that even possible? The odds were completely against them. She knew I could break barriers. But what could I do against such a calculated ambush? My smile vanished. I barked out a question. Shu Tianzhao, who are you? She was startled, then it clicked. The words left her lips instinctively. The kindling stands firm. The kindling shall never be extinguished. It was their mission and their faith. That's right. As long as the kindling remains, how could I ever give up hope? Her fighting spirit reignited. She snatched a blade from the ground. She stood tall. Captain. Kindling member Shu Tianzhao is ready for battle. Her eyes burned with determination. Exhausted but unyielding. In this moment, she truly accepted me as her captain. I was about to respond, when the man interrupted us, his face darkening. Are you two just going to act like I'm not here? I didn't answer. I just gave him a look that cut him off mid-sentence. Unforgivable. Bob and Erlang was furious. What's with that look? Is he looking down on me? I'm going to teach this brat a lesson. Combat is about strength, not faith, and certainly not bragging. My aura flared up. A crimson mist spread. The sky itself seemed to change color. My face twisted into a grin. I lunged with my claws. Blood claws met the blade. Who gave you permission to interrupt me? The blade shattered, but the claws remained, guided by blood-red threads as if they were alive. Who gave you permission to bully my subordinate? Humph. I grabbed his arm. Flesh and blood sprayed everywhere. He didn't even have time to scream. Where did you get the nerve to act so arrogant in the 13 cities? He shrieked in pain, his arms useless, his eyes filled with terror. How is this possible? How can a boy this young have such power? Profound realm? He was losing his mind. This was supposed to be an easy job. How did it turn into this nightmare? Shu Tianzhao watched as I used a few simple claw strikes to effortlessly wipe out the people she couldn't even touch. This was the first time I'd gone all out. Even I didn't realize I was this powerful. I hovered in midair. The blood ring glowed intensely. Threads connected to my claws. I said coldly, "Do you want to be crushed to death? Or are you going to surrender quietly?" The crowd backed away. They exchanged glances, but then they braced themselves to fight. I smirked. "So you've chosen death. Get back." Only now did she realize just how terrifying this commoner captain really was. Could an ordinary person truly reach this level? The bodyguard rushed over. He looked at me in utter disbelief. So this is the young mistress's captain. How ridiculous that I thought he was just a social climber. My previous mockery feels so pathetic now. The only one worth laughing at was myself. I saw Shu Tianzhao retreat to the back. I finally drew the long blade from my back. I wiped the blade on my sleeve with my right hand. Let's see. What exactly makes you think you can still resist? Before the words even landed, I had already vanished. I was fast, impossibly fast. They couldn't even track my movements. By the time they saw me, their hands were already clutching their throats. Their eyes were wide with shock. They were completely powerless. Can someone in the glory realm really have this kind of speed? Profound realm assassins are nothing special. No one answered. I wiped my blade again. I slowly sheathed it. I smiled slightly. What are you staring at? Go on. Interrogate him. Su Tianzhao stood there dazed, her face flushed like a schoolgirl's. Right. Okay. I understand. Her expression turned icy again. She slammed the tip of her blade into Babin Erlang. Who sent you? And how did you know my location? I didn't care about the rest. I just searched the bodies. Unfortunately, besides weapons and armor, they had nothing. I curled my lip. Cheapskates. I didn't want to get involved. This clearly sounded like a family feud. After a while, Su Tianzhao regained her strength. She walked over, her face splattered with blood. Captain, thank you. Today, she was truly, completely impressed. Clean yourself up. And don't call me Captain. Just call me Brother Ping. Brother Ping? She didn't quite get it. Jiang Ping didn't explain. You'll understand later. Let's go. You probably have things to take care of. Yes, Brother Ping. Please come home with me. I want to properly thank you. I didn't save you for a reward. I have my own business. If you want to help me find a certain herb. Jiang Ping smiled. A profound grade herb called Wind Thunder Root. If you can find it, great. If not, just keep an ear out for me. I need this herb for stewing meat. The Shu family might have the right connection. I also knew that a life-saving debt couldn't be left unaddressed. Otherwise, the other party would just get suspicious. Sure enough, she looked relieved. All right, I'll tell my family to start looking for it immediately. Brother Ping, take this card. You'll get everything for free at any of my family's businesses. You can't refuse. Fine. I headed toward the exit. We ran into people on the way, but the three of us looked so terrifying that no one dared to stop us. After leaving the rift, I made a quiet exit. The three of us went our separate ways. I went to a Shu family hotel and showed the card. The staff immediately swarmed me. Their attitude was incredibly respectful. Man, it's nice to finally experience the luxury of a great family. However, things were not peaceful at the Shu residence. Shu Tianzhao returned covered in blood. The entire family was outraged. Her father, Shu Lei, glared with eyes wide with fury. He smashed a solid wood table with a single palm strike. Those bastards. How dare they?